哦，地位。
phải
Sai. Sai.
呢個 game 有一樣嘢講呢，譬如講 super 乜咧，什麼字啊？
那你啦？
對，trophy 嘅嚟拾一得嚟啦，大個啲。
哦
追嚟咗你啊！追嚟咗，追嚟咗。追嚟吧，追嚟。
In the ESL Pro Tour has culminated now.
Paule.
16 teams were given the privilege of competing here at Dota 2 at the Esports World Cup 2025 here in Riyadh. Many dreams and keys have been crushed to get to this point, and now only 2 teams remain.
As always, the cream of the crop, it always rises to the top through these best of 2s, 3s, and now on to our final matchup, a best of 5. Only one team will seal their key in our Esports World Cup Championship and walk away with $1 million and 1,000 club championship points.
They are seeking immortality and all of the glory to finally get their name on that totem. So, please, Riyadh, help me in welcoming our first grand finalist to the stage. It's Team Spirit! They've already got 2 Aegises to their name, and now they're looking for an opportunity to win a second time here in Riyadh. They're hitting their stride at the perfect time. And Miposhka's holding that key up tall and proud, for he's hoping that it'll remain intact after this best of 5 finishes off.
What an incredible walk-in. Who would have thought we'd have such a crowd with Team Spirit cheering for them? But I think we're going to have an equal amount on the other side as it's time to bring out their opponents, the hometown heroes, Team Falcon! Change is nothing that impacts this roster. Hell, they said Liquid was free in quarters. They were right. They said that Tundra would be free in semis, and by God, they were right. Now, can they hit that trifecta in the grand final against Team Spirit now that they've soared into position? I think we're on the cusp of an epic conclusion of our Dota 2 finals here at the Esports World Cup.
I think they're ready! ATF, Miposhka, for the very last time, can you please place your keys and take your seats as we get the grand final of Dota 2 at the Esports World Cup 2025 underway.
Thank you very much, Milos and Tsunami, and welcome on stage Team Spirit and Falcons. We are ready for our first match in this best of 5 grand finals, and it's time to get to the specifics of things, Fear, because we have a draft to get to in just a moment, and there's not that much data to go off of, and it is single elimination, so a lot of teams have been cooking. What do you wish they cooked?
Well, the thing is for the Falcons, right? I thought I had them figured out. but after their game yesterday against Tundra, I don't know anymore. Like, I thought they were going to be this team that's going to just steamroll you, and if they have this 25-minute timing, they're going to always beat you, and if they get behind, they're going to lose. But they lost the early game twice, horribly, against Tundra, and they became a comeback team, which is scary to see, but they are playing in Spirit, and everyone regards them as the best comeback team of all time, so if you are Falcons, you're kind of scared by that, right? Because, like, even if you do snowball, you have to be afraid one bad high ground, all of a sudden they're going to come back. But at the same time, if you're playing comeback versus one of the best late game teams in the game, you're at a clear disadvantage at both points here. So I'm very curious to see what Falcons is going to bring to the table.
I think Falcons found their mojo, playing their old heroes, pretty much playing it in this meta.
You like it, Raider?
Other teams, they don't want to do it. Like, they're playing their Mirana 5, they're playing their Dragon Knight, they're playing their Razor off lane, Dragon Knight rushing the Blink Dagger 10 minutes in. Pretty much the same thing that they've been doing, playing their Primal Beast, playing Timbersaw as well. Pango, so not much has changed, and I also think in this BO5 we're going to be seeing some of the more old school classics as well, potentially, you know, some Enchantress coming out from Miposhka, potentially Enchantress for snaking as well, because if you remember that they had this amazing streak, they were like on 27 or 28th win streak with the Enchantress. I could definitely see this hero coming back, because I think in game one especially there's going to be a lot of you know, they're going to need to feel how both teams are doing in terms of like how willing they want to go and how deep they're willing to go in terms of some of the weird hero picks.
Yeah, what I'm going to be looking for in this series is, so we've been talking about both these teams making comebacks, but when we were going over the clips of Falcons yesterday, every time they made a comeback play against Tundra is because they immediately spotted that one of Tundra's heroes was not going to be able to be at the fight because they TP'd somewhere else, and then instantly took a 5v4 despite being down a massive margin. And then on the side of Team Spirit, they play it with more of a pick-off oriented style rather than taking the 5v4, they're taking in 2v1s on the map. My point is, rather than highlighting the comeback potential for both teams, I'm curious what the team who's ahead is going to do. Like, are these two teams at a different caliber where that sort of play style of coming back won't work as well? Or is this a situation where it just could be anyone's game at any given moment because, yeah, these players, they're not absolutely perfect and it just comes down to who executes better?
Yeah, and if they're both comeback teams and therefore need to come back, aka they were behind, then they're both maybe not the greatest at the first 15 to 20 minutes. And that begs the question, like, we know both of these teams then can come back when they're behind, but what do indeed they do when they're ahead? Because that's a whole different way of playing.
I will say that rather than highlight it as maybe these two teams aren't the best at the early game, I would like to reframe what we heard from Aoi at the post-game interview yesterday, which was that they elected to pick Crit AA and then put the Tusk top lane with Skeeter, because they basically said we needed a way to deal with Dazzle later on, but we knew that this screwed our lanes because we left Amar with like a pretty weak 4 position that couldn't lane very well against Monkey King Dazzle. So I think it's not as much a skill issue as it is like these two teams, I guess, like have faith in their ability to execute at a certain threshold past 30 minutes or so, that they know if they give themselves the tools, the abilities to bring down like the saves and the toolkits of the opponent heroes, that they'll be able to execute. So I think that's more the reason why. I don't know what you guys think.
Yeah, I mean, I think Falcons, yes, they won their game versus Tundra. They probably didn't want to win in that manner. Like, you're definitely at the edge of your seat if you're a Falcons fan in both of those games, because it was really shaky and some really key moments had to happen for you to win that series, which is good. But mainly when they do win is through early game snowballing. And I think if I want to take a look at supports, where oftentimes I'm more core-centric and looking at how the core players are doing, but there's one support player at this tournament that's caught my eye, and it is Miposhka. Like, his hero choices have been super good. Like, he's playing Silencer to counter Dawnbreakers or other heroes like that. He's playing Winter Wyverns to counter Dawnbreakers. These Banes as well. Like, he's having very high impact picks on his position 5.
I would say that they had a formula, like Team Spirit, even before, like if we go back 1-2 years ago, there was always the formula, you know, your position 4, it's going to be played some ranged position 4 with the melee offlaner. I think they are sticking to that formula as well, because Miposhka is exclusively playing position 5. Bounty Hunter when paired up with the Darkseer, with the exception of Tusk, because this is one of the best position 4s in the game. If you can't play the lane, you can always drag the creep wave. One of the best overall position 4 heroes because of the toolkit that he does provide. And then you have Collapse pretty much playing 10 different heroes, as we said, in 10 different matches, but also exclusive exclusively playing melee heroes. There was one game of QoP as well, which they need to flex because they wanted to have a better overall matchup for the mid lane or the safe lane, because this hero can be played across two different roles.
Yeah, I think what's really interesting about the fact that Collapse has played 10 different heroes, it's not like they're giving him overall last pick and just counter picking. They're also, a lot of the times, drafting his hero either super early on or in the middle of the draft. Basically, they have a new game plan for each team, and they know they're probably going to pick his hero regardless of like what exactly plays out throughout the rest of the draft. So I just think that's a very unique way, because with Falcons, oddly enough, like I've seen a lot of overall last picks go to Skeeter, who has a bit of a limited hero pool. So I'm more so favoring every time Team Spirit has second pick, I think they'll be able to utilize it better than Falcons because of the fact that Collapse is able to be so fluid with his hero pool while also being picked early.
I love to see this as well. Like coming into this best of 5, you have 2 best Mars players in the world in this game, and it's gonna get contested. We're definitely gonna be seeing this hero also picked, because yesterday he showed that with different itemization he can also win the game. He had a bit of a slower start. He was not making like any moves, like he was walking from one lane to the other, being the lowest net worth core in the game, but still managing to do a lot, picking up a blink dagger, picking up Crimson Guard as well. And ever since he picked up that Crimson Guard, he pretty much did not die. The Crimson Guard plus the shield plus the bulwark makes him extremely difficult. And I'll just throw it out there, Amar is the best player in the world playing Mars and Bristleback in terms of turning, because he just does it so well. Every single time you're going to see him hitting them from behind or from the front, depending which hero he's playing.
I think what's going to be really interesting here is
Oh, my lord,
Collapse
no,
is still in the pool, and I know Collapse really likes the hero and is very good against Nature's Prophet, especially in the laning stage. So I'm curious if Falcons are going to prioritize that and pick it early. If not, I would be a little concerned, just because this is one of your heroes that Falcons is owning on. Malreen's been great on it, but Collapse has been great on it too. And this is a Nature's Prophet carry counter in the laning stage. So that hero's like on my mind right now. What are they going to do about it?
Falcons didn't play Nature's Prophet at all, but I guess seeing the win rate of the hero throughout the tournament, and also seeing the previous series where Satanic had like 1150 GPM, I would not be surprised.
They played it Liquid, actually.
Yeah, they played it on Skeeter, right?
Yeah, Skeeter played it first.
I like this a lot. Protecting their NP, taking Primal Beast for themselves. This is pretty similar for you having that puck opener, and then also having a bit of a protection in the second phase, picking up a Shadow Shaman as a counter. So now you have like 2 heroes who can play really well with each other, and this combination really worked out well for them, because it was them who just Primal Beast gets the Blink Dagger, and then with the MP as well. Oh, they played it once, never mind. So yeah, this was the combo that they did run, and basically with these 2 heroes they were able to kill any hero on the map.
What I was saying off panel, it's so interesting to me hearing KP's perspective on Primal Beast being countered by heroes like Willow. Control. My thought when I watch Malreen's Primal Beast, maybe it's just a skewed sample size, is I need to be able to kill this guy when he's BKB.
Yo, chat.
Because this guy goes like BKB, maybe one other item, and then just straight refresher. And so I see the co-op come out. I like that because the pure BKB piercing damage from her ulti. I was wondering if they were going to go something like the Beastmaster. I know it's taken out, but something.
But Rider ရှင်းမယ်လေတော့လို့ရသေးလို့
I think Malreen's going to hit his timings no matter what.
အဲ့တိုင်း formula မသိ
Laning stage will be
ရတယ်ရလားအဲ့ဒါရ
play against like a Timber Saw, and he goes boots first and cuts creeps from the mid lane.
Rider နဲ့ရှင်းမယ်လေ
to play the matchup, but I love this from Team Spirit as a conceptual way to deal with the Primal specifically. I'm not sure.
မို့လေရှင်းမယ်ရှက်ကဲထုတ်ထားလို့ရှ
I
ရင်
think it's a good approach.
0-1 တိထိရ
Malreen was successful throughout these playoffs with this hero.
I did mention prior to this that Spirit, they love to have these BKB piercing tools. Probably coming into the series, they needed to figure it out because of the itemization that he is going for. On the Primal Beast, Blink, BKB, into Refresher.
ဟုတ်ပါရှင်းမယ်ပြကြအဲ့ဒါမဟုတ်ရှင်းမယ်ပြကြရှက်ဟောလောက်ထားလို့ရှရင် level တိတိ
Buff immunity.
ဒီချုပ်ထားရှင် level 1 တီတုံး
Counter this unless you have some BKB piercing.
အမို့ဒီတိုင်းကိုပဲသုံးလို့ရမှာပေါ့
Whenever they play it,
Naflan တင်ထား Naflan တင်ထားတဲ့ကောင် level 3 တင်လုပ်လိုက်လို့ရှရင် timing ထက်ထိရတယ်
clear those stacks. So it might be something that Team Spirit would try to
Alright.
maybe go into the enemy triangle and try to contest it.
We got the Pugnet coming out.
maybe
That doesn't really save you much versus the 3 heroes that are on the
You'd be
screen right now.
surprised.
It's a strong hero.
Yeah.
A lot of mana cost on those
Yes.
spells.
Okay, okay.
We've been seeing Falcons playing this hero a lot, and they pretty much, I want to say, got maybe 3 of their 5 favorite heroes already in the draft.
ปากกันนันแต่วีลู
a lot of teams don't like to give him this.
ประกันมาแต่
So
ไม่รู้
they're pretty happy about that for sure. And they're
Does
gonna
it
bring up
save
the Dark
against
Willow.
the bat?
I mean, it's not a save necessarily, but like what he does offer in this game is like if you are manage to play against anyone, he's just incredibly tanky. You can get a Glimmer Cape. You manage to get all this spell damage on you. So if you have the
How
War
we-
you're also healing. You become
น้อง
very
เนี่ย
very
น้องเนี่ย
tanky.
เชิงช่วยส่ง
And at some point
เก
you're
ม
going to
จี
be
แล้ว
doing a lot
เก
of
มเรียบ
damage in these fights as
เก
well.
มเรียบปาทุก
So it's just a very powerful tool that a lot of teams aren't utilizing, but I
Very
think
powerful
Falcons is the
tool.
best team so
Very
far
Toby.
to use this Pugna, and that just goes to their
Very
early game too. Like
Toby.
they have very low cooldown abilities. This is the Falcons that I see where
Very
you
bad.
have to be afraid at like 10-15 minutes in the game
Fight
that
Navy
you're not
as
just
well.
getting completely ran over, because this Primal's going in, Dark Willow doesn't mind going in as well, NP's TPing in as well, so that can be very difficult to deal with. So they're going to bring some more early game laning stage with the Templar Assassin for Yatoro
Templar.
most likely here, which is
Okay.
going to help a little bit, but the lane stage could still be a
เต็ม
little
รอน
bit
นี้
dicey
ชอบ
if
โร
you're
แฟร์
not
เต็มรอน
careful.
นี้ชอบ
What
โรแฟ
about
ร์
that
ติด
Razor
น้า
that
เต็มรอน
they
บุเจ
did run against Team Liquid? They did have a bit of a stronger
Templar
lane with
Bull
Tusk
Jack
Razor against
is-
Templar Assassin,
oh.
where they completely shut down Mickey. Mickey was level 3, while Razor was level
Good
5.
shot.
Razor had
Ban.
probably a good ban. Yeah, he was popping off
Viper
completely.
Razor, let's
And
go.
this one as well. Like, you need to target him
Good
pretty
shot,
heavily.
Alan.
Some of his favorite heroes that he's going to be playing. But also, this Pugna that you talked about, I think this hero is heavily underrated, even though it has 80% win rate for Falcons in the tournament, 4 out of 5 games. It does look extremely good every single game, and it's going to be sneaking playing it. It is Pugna with NA at the end, so he's still representing that region as well. I think that's the whole point of the hero.
That's
Yeah.
why he picked it, yeah.
Exactly.
Definitely Lacoste. No doubt in my mind. How much are we keeping the flex of the Nature's Prophet open? I'm kinda slotting it in for Skeeter at the moment, but is it fair to say we're looking for both teams offlaner right now, or what kind of flex are we looking at?
This might be the most confident I've been all tournament that the role that's going to be picked last is off, like one role specifically. Like, I don't feel like there's too much flex here. Both teams are showing their cards willingly. They are getting a lot of the heroes that they want. I like the TA because it also threatens the BKBs, as I mentioned. Like, you have the Melt Strike, you have the physical damage. So now it's just a matter of protecting their picks. You know, Falcons has overall last pick, but at the same time, like, I'd be much more comfortable after you ban the Viper Razor. If we're looking at the heroes that Amar has played so far this event, none of them are particularly good versus TA other than those two. So
The
Amar's either
Bristleback is still in the pool.
that's not a good
Ryan.
that's not a good matchup for Bristleback.
I don't think he might care.
That's what I'm saying. So I think Amar is just going to be slamming like Timberstar or Bristleback anyways.
Okay, fair.
โยไล่เดอะ
Collapse
จุ
is
ก
gonna
ไล่
be
เดอะ
picking perhaps his
จุกไล่
11th
เดอะ
different hero of the tournament.
Okay.
เพื่อนดิจุกไล่เดอะ
Yeah, the only other hero I could see them pick would be
จุกไล่เดอะจุกไล่เดอะ
maybe if you're a little experimental as Miposhka's hero and do bad off lane,
Mhm.
maybe, but even then that's a little bit of a stretch, so
Well,
likely collapse.
They leave the Razor in though.
That's
Well,
interesting.
they're gonna be prepared to play against
เดี๋ยว
Sig,
ก็เริ่ม
'cause
ใส่
most
ออฟ
likely
ไม่ใช่
that will be the hero
ก็
that
เริ่ม
they
ใส่
will
ฮิว
play
แบน
against. And I think they
Go,
set up
go,
very
wave.
nicely, and I think did they run this almost
หน่วย
exact
เยียใต้ในอะไรดีเป็นโซเลยวะ
versus the TA with the Razor? I'm gonna check real quick. It's like Falcons. Yeah, when they had the Razor, no, they had a
That's
lot of
got bad.
different heroes.
Web
It was
Legend.
not the Primal, but
เออ
the
เฟิร์
same
มมี
type
สา
of
มีโช
strategy
ว์
where
ยา
you
อยู่
just play very quickly.
I'll be down for some beefy boys, some Centaur, Tide Hunter for Team Spirit here.
Hadi
Just
bir
something
stream
that
oldu.
can build into
Stream
Aura.
oldu.
There's a lot of magic damage. NP
Ah,
also
ben
builds
de
in
gaz stream
magic
uyarlar.
damage,
Vay vay
dealing
vay.
items with
Ben
the
de gaz
Maelstrom,
Tony
with
stream
maybe
uyarlar.
Revenant's Brooch if it's a good game for it.
Vay vay
I
vay.
also like Centaur because it's
İnşallah
very
PC
good
daha
against
iyi
both of the
oynayın
supports.
dedim.
You need to bring so many heroes on
İyi,
top of
güzel
him to
geliyor
be
böyle
able to
ha.
kill him. And also you can
I
this
can.
also works. It's not the greatest against Pugna, but we've also seen Lycans, especially 33. He had Helm of the
Wonka,
Dominator,
Wonka.
and he had Nullifier 21 minutes into the game. So it sounds like it's a counter, but it's also very good if you want to pick it up relatively early, which makes it impossible for supports to play the game. Dark
Kill
Willow
Machara.
is
Cha.
in a better state because she
Okay.
does have this get out the jail card with the Shadow Realm
Kill
easily, but it's a lot of momentum
Oh.
with this Lycan pick.
I
มา
also
ส
don't
ติ
think
ฉา
you can bring Razor into a
ไก่
hero
มาไล่
like
ตุก
Lycan
มาไล่
right now. They don't
Don't
really
lie.
have a wall type hero on the side of
This
Falcons
loud
that
yeah,
can effectively say, yeah, go on me with your Lycan. It doesn't matter. Like, you know, these heroes like
Happy
Tidehunter are not only
stream
hard to
up.
kill because of the damage block, but they also have that area of control for the
Oh, he's
Lycan.
got
โอ้ย
Bristleback.
ไฟเนี่ยมึง
Yeah, there's
โอ้ย
always
เฮ้ยคุ้ม
Bristleback.
จีอ๋ออย่าง
I mean,
โอ้ยเฮ้ย
man, I would hate if they pick Bristleback here. I understand that it's a Mars hero. His replays
for
they're down to
CIS,
1,800
okay,
apiece
no.
now. They need to get that stocks up, but
A win here would bring the stock up.
That's true.
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
The win
Yeah.
here would do
What
it.
better chance? They got 20 seconds left to
It's
decide.
one of the two. It's either they care about like the overall state of the game, or they want to snowball the game. I think Eraser could work. Sure, it's not good for Lycan, but you have to pick and choose your battles here. I think this Lycan TA does present an interesting problem that's very hard to solve, because both of the ways to solve either of these heroes is not going to be through the same hero.
แต่ว่าพารานี่ไก่หน้าให้
Hybrid
ผมเนี่ย
answer, I want to say. I'm curious on who's going to play what. So it's just going to be a Mar playing it, but Pango,
ไม่
same
ได้
issue
เกิด
with
ที่เฟ
kind
กู
of
ไหน
like
นะผม
picking
เราตัว
Bristleback
ไอ้เหี้ย
versus
เฟกู
TA.
จะยิงกัน
It's not good in lane. Like, you try shield crash, he just pops refraction, and that's not going to do much damage there. And plus your range.
อร่อยแบบนี้นี่ก็ยังไง
But they felt like they needed something.
ช่วยในกูก่อนได้เลย
Game, and this hero can do it.
啊，不是按理由，真是要的。
Minus armor
Gene,
coming out from Temple
most of you
Assassin, Howl
Grenade,
as well.
Grenade,
Queen of
you need
Pain
it.
loves to deal right click damage as well. Then you have
Well,
Miposh,
that's it.
Shadow Shaman. We saw if he's going to be going for the Giga Ward
ทา
function
ไทย
as
แน่น
well.
อน
เหงื่อเตี้ยนิดเดียว
ตัวนี้เนี่ย
And this Pango
เหงื่อ
pick
ไอ้นี่ไว้
doesn't
จ้าจ้ามาไปวะเดี๋ยวตูเจ้าในเดียวโอ้เนี่ย
into
Yeah,
Shadow
yeah.
Shaman. He
Noise
doesn't like to play
cancellation.
the sound
Why
from the
not?
traps. Queen of Pain,
Dota.
BKB piercing tools as well. I think they need to
这样按一个，
啊，我另外在这里看啥？
24 pick, not really, you know, you see the pick and you don't know,
SOD,
okay,
SOD,
this is it, this is how they're going to be winning the game. It's not your like.
你都弄个点จ้ามาก่อนกูดีอยู่เนี่ยกูดี
It's just pretty much stable.
我嚟講
something
你
the Falcons have been
塞翻
doing
住嚟
throughout
啲
the
嘢好
year.
㗎，S O D 咁樣 on
Not sure if it's going to work in this one.
Yeah, my concern is I don't know who goes first on Falcons.
Oh,
Like, if
Boba
Mario
Fett
goes
is
in
all-
first and tries to ulti, excuse me, Rue can just lasso.
ก็ได้มันก็ได้
and on the
หรื
other
อเกม
side,
ก็
it's
ได้
like they don't have any save for the Shadow
มันก็
Shaman
ห้าอู
against the Shadow Shaman or against the Bat Rider. So I think point click spells from
ဟိုအရင်တော့မှလည်းဝေးလေးရပါသေးတာဟိုဘညာဘက်နဲ့ပဲပဲကွာဟာလား
a lot of
နှစ်ခုကြည့်အောင်နည်းနည်းသင်းမှန်ထားတာ
the BKBs.
နောက်တော့ဘေးချင်းခံရပါဘေးချင်းထိုင်ရပါဆော့
Not snaking, I think. Is he
You
gonna get
got
some
to
boosted
be
traps? Are they gonna be able to force fights around his wall? If that's the case, then maybe. But I'm also, I really feel like Team Spirit's got their number with this one.
Yeah, a lot of
Okay,
game plan
well,
here
now
being
let's do it,
discussed
buddy.
as
Don't
we
be
saw
like-
on screen. I wonder what is being
Thank
said.
you,
From the
Gio.
sounds of it, though, we're all kind of on board that this draft for both teams.
ငယ်တော့ဂိမ်းဆိုင်မှာပုံစံမျိုး
I think it's going to be very much so lane.
Then they're doing like what?
See on the lanes. I'm
Sorry,
looking
sorry,
at
that
Mar
boy.
mainly.
Okay, let's see how Amar will do on that lane, and let's see how all the other lanes and how the game will play itself out. Before we do that, though, we are gonna hear some more from Coach AUI 2000.
嚟晒啦
We，certainly are, Shiva.
分明反
Both of these teams undefeated at the point of playoffs here. Aoi, is this the draft to bring down Team Spirit?
I hope so.
Get that.
Honestly, Spirit are sort of a hard team to
Yeah,
prepare
get
for.
that.
Like, they have so many different strategies, they play so many different heroes, so hopefully.
All right.
But
Well,
down here,
certainly, if
Arnie,
it's a last
yeah.
pick Lycan, is that something you'd plan for? And do you think you have the answers for it?
We didn't plan for last pick Lycan, but I think our line is fine versus it. They picked it because it's good versus supports. Maybe versus Furin, I'm not too sure, but I think it should be fine for us.
All right, Aoi, thank you very much. Good luck here. Yeah. It is time. Make some
History, yeah,
noise
that is,
for your grand finals. Team Spirit versus Falcons. Despite being the most dominant team of the previous year, Team Falcons fell short at the biggest events. Looking to fix past mistakes, Falcons have made quite the run in this year's EWC, first sweeping reigning TI champs Team Liquid, then beating one of the most consistent teams in Tundra. But now, standing in their way is the final boss of Dota, the two-time TI champs, Team Spirit.
What a final boss to go up against, too. I mean, these are guys who are looking to make history, win a second EWC to add to their two aegis, become perhaps the undisputed most dominant team of all time in the big clutch events. Their shadow
some
looms
question, yeah,
large, and if you
yeah.
take a swing at the Kings, you better not miss.
Yeah.
This is the greatest
我
comeback
希望把
of
gas
all
嘛你
time.
加点路
Falcons have a very
係都
tough
先食藥
time
嚟
here in this grand final.
係咯，
There's been few teams that have gone up against Spirit in a grand final and come out the better
都
for
嚟
it.
到都嚟到
Oh,
先
very
食
few
藥啊！
indeed. And if you're thinking you're going to take those 80-minute games against a Team Spirit team, I don't know, man. I just feel like these guys, they're too
แต่ว่า
scary.
ดีกว่านี้
It
นี่
feels
สัป
like
ดาห์
this is
นี้
going
นะ
to be a
พี่โด
matchup that Falcons
Yes,
are
yeah,
going to
it's
be
not the
relying on some earlier
พี่
timings
พูดอะไร
than
สู้
what
ๆกัน
we've
เขาอี
seen
กนะ
from them. I love that Amar
Yeah,
in a little bit of in-game chat. Good luck.
เนี่ยไปมาเส้นหา
Winner.
เฟรชมา
ช่วยพี่สู้
You know, the
YouTube
response, good luck, Fisher Playground champion.
That
From Team Spirit, which doesn't sound as great. I don't even
It
think they won that
ဟုတ်တယ်
tournament.
ယူကတက်အောင်တော့ကြည့်ရ
What can you do?
ဟုတ်တယ်ဟုတ်တယ်
You
ต้อง
gotta
ကြည့်တယ်
play with
ဘယ်
what
လို
you
ကြည့်
got, and if Falcons can win this event, that's a huge milestone.
Yeah,
for them.
yeah,
Huge
yeah.
milestone.
No,
for
no.
our in his home region.
ပြောလိုက်ရင်တွေ့ရှိပါ
Amar said, we
ငါ
didn't win
ဝင်
that.
ထားလိုက်မယ်ဒါပေမဲ့ငါ Discord ပဲကြည့်
Corrected
ငါ Facebook
himself.
ကောက်
He
မှာ
said,
ငါ
sorry,
Facebook ကောက်မှာ
blast.
ဟိုရှိ
Amar
တိုက်ဆွေး
said,
နွေးနေအဲ့
"We
ငါ
didn't
Facebook မသုံး
lose
ဘူး
either."
I think this point is just playing.
အဲ့
him
နေ
or what?
YouTube ကြည့်လိုက်နေ
And that is the crux of the problem.
Can't
here.
stop
Falcons,
it.
as good
Come on.
as they are, as good as they
ငါမှ
were,
YouTube မရှိဘူး
last
ကော
night in
Facebook မရှိ
particular,
ဘူးအော်
with
ပြောမှရ
going down to the biggest events
YouTube
of the seasons,
သိပြောမှရမယ်တကယ်
clutch it.
အဲ့ပို့
And
လိုက်
you're
ပို့လိုက်
facing against the clutchest team that Dota perhaps has ever had.
သူများစကားတွေတုံးနေတာထိုးတယ်
Tough ask. That said, you want to be the best in the world. You want to bring home those big championships. You got to beat the best.
Mr.
And for the
PS9
Falcons, I see this as an opportunity. If you win this, there's no asterisk on this victory. You know, when you go up against Spirit and you beat them in a grand final, there's no what ifs or lucky road or anything. That's an opportunity to prove it to all the haters,
Must be a
prove
toughie,
it to
yeah.
all
Gee,
the
I am,
disbelievers here. Really
Probably
have a
it's
chance
Japan.
to close
Oh, yeah,
out
but-
on all the what ifs
Oh, yeah,
of
but-
these big event finals.
Japan မှာရုံတင်နေ
Maybe they can finally finish it off here. This
Oh,
should
yeah,
be a
yeah,
good
Japan.
series. I want this to go deep. Game 4, Game 5. Give it all to us because
ကြည့်ပါမယ်ကောင်းကောင်းပဲကြည့်
there
တော့
should be some games that go deep and go late. I don't think either of these teams have a preferred playstyle that is, I want to run the opponent over in the first 10 minutes. I think it used to be for Falcons back in the day when they were dominating lane so hard the game ended, but that shifted, right? They've become a little bit slower. They go still for that mid game. We've seen it this tournament time and time again. The triple BKB timings at the 30 to 40 minute mark. Can you end the game against Spirit though, even if you get that lead?
အော်
It's
ပိုး
been
ဆက်
really
ဖိုက်ပါ
tough for teams to close out against both these teams. We've seen decent comebacks from Falcons as well. I mean, both teams cannot come back in the same game. So somebody has to fall. And this game 1 could decide a lot of the momentum for the series because, of course, you gave away what has become the hero
Yeah,
of the
but Papi
tournament in
está
my
ligada.
eyes, the Nature's Prophet. You gave it to Falcons. You dared them to take it. They scooped it up. You took that rider instead. Decent hero around the map. You have some BKB pairs to lock him down, but this is just a terrifying
Yeah,
game to
but
play
don't
against.
get
The
it.
win rate is insane.
ကောင်းနေ
And of course, we have a lot of games going on here. We're going to have.
အဲ့ဒါပြန်ငါးတန်မှာကြာ
We also had some matches.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, solid.
MLB,
Hold it,
the
Fighter
MLB
Lady Nine
Women's
આવે
tournament just wrapped up, and
အပိုင်းတယ်ဝိုင်းနေကြလား
congratulations to Team
ဟုတ်တယ်ဝိုင်းနေကြ
Vitality.
ဝိုင်းနေကြတော့မဟုတ်ပါဘူး
Managed to win that
Okay.
one,
ဟုတ်လားဝိုင်းနေတယ်လား
ဝိုင်းနေကြတယ်နော်
lifting their key.
SPN
Dota key soon to follow on that totem, right?
Yeah, somebody's key is going to get crushed, and somebody's key is
ဟုတ်
going
တယ်
to be
ဝိုင်းနေကြ
put up
ဝ
there.
ဟုတ်တယ်
နော်
ဝိုင်းနေတယ်အချမ်းလိုက်ဖိုက်တာလက်တယောက်ဝိုင်းနေတဲ့တေးမှာရှိတယ်
ရှိရှိလေ
what the
သူဝယ်ထားတယ်
See, if Soxa had been in this
Well,
grand final,
middle.
wouldn't have needed the crane.
That's true. That's true.
Hey,
Just
e-sport
steal the
worker
crane to the side,
way
I'll
high.
put it in there, nice and easy.
It's like grandmother telling her grandson to put the star on the top of the Christmas tree, you know?
Sometimes you are.
ဝယ်ခိုင်းတာတော့
Facebook ရောကကတော့ဝေခိုင်း
အဲ့လိုပါကြည့်အဲ့လို
Get this
ဟို
grand
လက်ကိုယ်
finals
တော့လည်းအတိုင်းပဲ
underway
လေ
very soon.
အဲ့လိုမျိုးဝင်
We can
ဝင်ကြ
talk
လို့ဆို
about
တော့အဲ့ on နဲ့လို့
matchups,
ပါမယ်
though.
စာချုပ်တော့ချုပ်ရတယ်
You say the hero
Who's he,
of
Owen?
the tournament for you is perhaps Nature's
Yes,
Prophet.
really,
We'll see
yeah.
what the case is at the end of the finals. But
ကြည့်ရအများကြီး
what
ပဲ
about
ဝေါကမှာ
you
ပတ်ကြည့်
guys?
ရွာ
We were discussing
ဟောရ
backstage,
ဟိုဟာရ
you know, the
ဝိုင်းနေ
matchups
ဝိုင်းနေ
between
နဲ့ဝိုင်း
players.
နေနဲ့
Which
လာ
of the roles do you
ဝိုင်းနေ
feel
ရ
like is going to be most
ပြ
important?
မာပါ
You.
ပြမာပါ
I
Okay,
mean,
then I
it's
buy
hard
it.
to pick it
Buy
in
it.
this
Buy
match
this.
because both
Buy
teams
it.
have such
Buy
strong
it.
roles, but
မသိဘာတင်းနေတော့မသိ
between the
But
two
this is
players.
bad.
ကြောင်ကြောင်
Maybe I'm a little biased because I think all players kind of decide how a team plays and in terms of how
Hmm.
fast or slow they're
အေးဝေါကငါလည်းအခုနှစ်မှကြာဘူးอ่ะ
That's what it looks like.
ပြောတာငါမသိခဲ့
Collapse
ဘော
has
တော့ဗာ
been
လဲ
at least
free
my MVP
ဗာ
of
လဲ
this
အားနေ
tournament
စား
so
တယ်အဲ့ဒီ
far.
ကပထ
I
မ
think
ဆုံး
he's
က
absolutely stepped up when Spirit need him to.
Yes.
As solid as Yatoro's
Okay.
been, as solid
အဲ့
as the
ဝေါ
rest
က
of
ကို
Team
ပဲလေ
Spirit
သူတို့ဗာ
always
လဲ
are.
အားနေစားအဲ့
Collapse,
ဒါ
I
ပဲ
think, has looked incredibly good in the moments where he
Okay.
needs someone to step up and
ဝေါ
win
က
you
မဟုတ်
that
အရင်
game
ဝေါ
and
က
make
နာ
it
မည်နဲ့ဆို
look
တော့
like, right?
အားနေ
I mean,
စား
the man got. He's still not just one
And
hit
he's
killer,
still
too.
2.
ဘာအခုမှဝေါကနာမည်နဲ့ပေါ့
ဟုတ်တယ်ဟုတ်တယ်ဝေါကနာမည်
On the flip side, if you're
အဲ့
looking
မ
at
နစ်ကလည်းဝေါကနာမည်
I
နဲ့ဆို
think
တော့
Maureen has had the standout tournament for them. Like he's
Yeah,
really
really
looking at, particularly that game yesterday where he got completely decimated on that number.
e-sport တွေကချက်စီအောင်ပုံထည့်ထားပါလေ
ပါအကုန်ပါ
ချက်စ
But I'm
e-sport
still
တွေ
looking strategically
ပါ
towards
အော်
ATF.
မနစ်ကမဟုတ်
အဲ့ဒါ
ဒီ
digital
နေ့
ဟိုပါလေ
ဒီ
ကွာ
နေ့မှဝေါကတာဟိုကပါလေ
digitalချက်စီပါလေ
We saw a
ပုံကြီးနဲ့ပုံကြီးနဲ့
Maureen
ထူ
in
တာ
this
ပါ
game. That's because of him, right?
ပါလေ
He-
riot
this is
riot
not a
မြန်မာ
hero
လား
that
အော်
has
riot
been
master လား
this
right
event at all.
free
That's his
free
influence. He
Riot
needs to find a way
master
to
ဆိုတဲ့ဟာ
continue to influence the draft, the bans, the pressure that is
Yeah.
on Spirit,
Yeah,
and make
okay.
them
ဟုတ်တယ်
respond
အဲ့ဒါ
to his
အဲ့
heroes and his
EWC က
hero
လုပ်ပြရ
instead of
ပါ
the
သေး
other way
တယ်
around. That's when this
ကျွန်
guy
တော်
shines.
ဗာလေ
That's when he
ကလ
becomes
စ်
the
တွေရ
best
နိုင်
ball
သွားတယ်
player in the world. Do not want to get shut down early in this series. and have some weak performances where Spirit can go, oh, like, we'll give you the Pango again. You know, we'll give you, maybe we'll let the Mars through or like put them on some weird hero, right? Put a threat in them early so that you get to play your game, and that's why I'm looking at these two offenses to strategically set the tone here.
And I love that you went that direction because it was the heroes I wanted to talk about first and foremost. I feel like when it comes to our offlaner players, incredibly good. The heroes that they're playing right now. We've got some atypical heroes for both of them, right? A Collapse Lycan, that's out of left field. And Amar's Pango, frankly, there are better heroes for him. He's good Pango, but it's not the, you know, the Mars, Razor, etc. Timbersaw that we saw in the run-up to the finals.
The panel was alluding to, and the Lycan pick just dissuaded it too much. There's too much single target control. Too much kiting mechanisms. You would have had to steamroll that lane. We've seen that once before. That helps them be prepared for it. I think they would have gobbled up the Mars. That was a very good ban by Spirit. Pango's like at the same time, like you said, for Spirit,
nothing is trended. Everything is on.
Blink, make a play with Lycan. Maybe he will. I don't know, but it is a hero that's very good for this game, and it is a hero that Collapse has had some success on. You look at how he plays all these summons heroes. The two I go to are the Beastmaster and the Lycan. He played Viscera. That one was an odd one out for me in particular. And the offlane Furion was never a big thing. Hasn't been a big thing in the meta for some time. But it does provide a lack of that playmaking in the late game. Right, if this game chaotic ultra late game Dota where Spirit make those big comebacks, Lycan is not a hero that's going to go in and get some crazy arena spear, some crazy RP, and drag you back. It's a hero that generally wants to get ahead, have the net worth advantage, and pummel the backline supports with the early helm, with the early nullifier, just eliminate heroes from the team fight, get a numbers advantage, and steamroll that way. You do lose a bit of that comeback playmaking that Spirit are known for.
If you had to guess, how many times would you say Collapse has played Lycan in a professional match?
10 or less, probably.
Yeah, you would be pretty much on the money there. He's played it 10 times for this match. Now, he has only lost with it once.
Really? He is 9-1?
He is 9-1.
Well, he should be playing it more than that's all I'm learning.
Maybe this is going to be a signature hero for Collapse by the time this finals is done.
What is happening bottom? Maureen is killing bottom wave with an early trample while this fight is going on.
He's going to get the fast level 2. Dude, that's so unfair. It's bad enough when you give up like first blood or extra bounty roads in this 1v1 mid matchup.
No, they're just putting ATF mid. This is completely out of left field. There is no way Spirit expect this. This is the kind of strat you pull off in a grand final. Maybe you scrim with it once before and then you hide it.
He's trying to catch the courier. But it looks like Laurel knows about this. Is he actually going to cut it?
He's going to steal this one.
Is he?
He killed bottom wave. He's killing the mid wave. I guess crits. Ready for it. Pull that one. We'll put it under the tower. Send the Pango bottom now. You just bypass the early waves of the primal matchup, which was the hardest part here.
Yeah.
And you got ATF as well. He doesn't have to play the TA level 1. This is really smart if you get away with it.
Is he going to continue to back lane here? Does he want to keep this going? He is, yeah. Punish him because he's got his own wave to deal with.
Pretty sick, to be honest. I mean, this is...
It's
gonna be better than the default outcome, and it's just gonna throw Spirit off in this game. Like, the upside for Spirit is they did control the wave bottom a little bit here. It's not gonna fully swing back out, and of course, Laurel. I say that he is suffering a little bit, but he will free farm here, and he's gonna have a bottle untested resources. In the end, worth it for Mauri. For sure.
Oh yeah, 100%. I guess the question is like, how much did Amar suffer from? You know, he scooped up that lane mid. And there goes the bottle.
Maureen might have to TP. He is.
Yeah.
He's
Oh.
actually going to TP
Why?
all the way back to base here, where he's got his own bottle.
Yeah,
Coming back on the courier, so he gets there before the.
Yeah.
I mean, normally a huge loss for Laurel, but to be honest, he
Why?
has
But
resources
QB
because he doesn't
way
have
for the
to
power.
do anything to anybody in lane. So
That's true.
it's not as if he needs the bottle, but that's a big courier snipe. More
那
gold.
出了这个黄金雷变小的呀，
Yes,
啊，
it's
我
really
们
great for this primal beast in a matchup that otherwise was going to be really difficult. As you said, the other downside though is you stole away from this off lane.
Carrier tất cả đấy.
Did get picked up mid from the paint. XP wise, it actually evened out.
Yeah, they still went even.
塞了高逼我塞了
Who suffered was, I guess, the Dark Willow. There was a wave
Dark
that
Willow.
just didn't even get
，COC 嘛高逼就真係好啊，唔係有，
Yes, that's who the wave got stolen from.
And
is
then
the shared XP.
reinforce 話打你唔需要，
高
逼我。
Sign on your lane against the double range.
And did Amar miss anything on his rotation back?
Đến là gì?
Right. Don't think so. But then that
Đi
that
học.
wave got delayed.
Quên à?
Interesting.
Yeah,
Puts Falcons up in a nice spot here.
I mean, that
因
feels
為
like
就
some
會比較
AUR 2000 bullshit, you know?
Oh yeah, I mean, I'll tell you where he got that from. That's an old eternal.
會比較啩，其實 UI 嗰啲
There you
嘢
go. It's like an old
先至你會
maneuver
比
right
較，
there.
知下你冇會
Never
比較
worked。for us, but it's working here.
Ski đấy là cái được à?
Good to see it lives on.
Nói ra rồi là cứ là cứ nói chuyện gì cũng được là ở đây chuyện gì là phải chơi.
Đó,我 Twitch 嘅資料，但係我 Twitch 資料。
cái gì vậy? Ý phiếu lưu vào giao này vừa rồi à? Mystery nhà cô cha nào vào được rồi.
Câu này thì
cái OT xe gì?
Power Ranger này, bay Power Ranger mình à?
And that is what Maureen does in
Tùy
these
thôi à?
matchups. We've seen it time and time again.
Cao quý rồi phải không?
Still going to be a rough lane for Amar.
Ama lâu
Yeah,
đi,
it's
ama
double
lâu
shield
đi vậy.
crash, but it's still
Ở lớp A Mystery chắc sẽ lục được à?
What are the like?
Mẹ hoài.
to combat in the laning phase. Swashbuckle
What
away.
are the-
Good enough, I guess, with the full wand charge.
Yeah, massive creep wave pushing in, so he's
Mẹ bà chưa sắp đến đâu vậy?
我呢啊，我呢啊，累咗你啊，你啊，show 啦。
就是因為我咧啱啱係話不如做佢呢個得，
Another good courier snipe. Can't take this.
佢我咧係做嘅，佢話啦，
關你聽咁樣啦啦。
佢哋
He's got a lot
即
of
係
stick
因為
charges. Stick charges to
你
hit
未
loaders, so
你未
Mapochka, okay, well, with the top
拉
coming
比
in
斯基
for
打
Sonic,
拉比，
there's no way.
哇又爆啊又係，就是因為
Wow.
你冇咁樣你
Nothing hits Team Spirit's free. Like every time you think you get something, I guess other than the couriers, they always make you work for it.
Yeah.
但係เราลูกต่อก่อนว่าเรา refresh ลงๆ
Courier snipes getting
係
back.
ที่ใช้ดูอ่ะนี่มาอย่าดูอย่าดู
Ain't Skeeter stuck
我
around.
試過你半飛唔少嘛，玩路行呢行嚟啊，
Toro, he was definitely done for. Maureen was willing to make the full
咁啊
rotation.
，private base 啊，多多嘢。
Level 6, run back to the top.
Private base
Those
啊，多多嘢。
supports up to top is not able to help snaking in time. So the normal quote-unquote
一路
lane
傻啊，
is
又
this
睇
top lane, which
傻嘅啫。
I assume is
邊度啊？
he's doing all right in that work.
He is. I mean, that's the thing.
關
This
你
game's
關
still
你
very
咪
even 'cause
睇睇
Falcons
嗱
are getting more out of these little moves, but a lot of these cores are
Believe in it.
just free farming empty lanes in the case of Laurel or collapse top.
Now snaking's taken over the mid
啲
lane.
啲你又嚟，你會拉完又，數碼比例把你講
He's going to
呢
come back for the power rune. But Mapochka's already here, so
KD
Maureen is just going to have to give way. If it's top,
幾位啊
be grabbed by Rue.
得着吧，啱唔啱？得着吧
I mean,，
跌
you
咗
can
吧
do。this with the primal. There's not a lot of heroes that can just skip the laning phase
Right.
entirely.
啱唔啱哋ခုန背啊嘛 p a r i v i s i o n နဲ့背啊嘛，反正
Very
minute
frustrated.
10 minute ကို
How dare you
10
skip the
အောင်
lane
ကျော်
against
12ကောင်ဟုတ်ပါလေအကောင်20နီးပါးဖြစ်နေပြီဒီပွေးကြောင့်ဝမ်းဝဲချုံမနေ
Man, it's such a Maureen thing too, considering he has taken some of like the worst 1v1 matchups of this year.
He's
Seen
popping
him
in
in
everywhere.
Con thế,
Being
team
some
phải quay
snipers
Ê,
and such.
烏吧真係啊，攞到講啦，
Absolutely owned it here in the early game, and now he's level 6. He's got
Man,
phase
no,
boots.
it
He's
doesn't
looking
know
for
what
the
it
leg
got.
in top, but
The-
collapse sniffs this move out. Not going to work for the primal.
咁啦咧對菜，
It is ATF who's continuing to suffer a little bit here in terms of the experience. Honestly, might even just give him the wisdom shrine. They're probably debating it, but
係啊，
Rick
真
is
係
pretty
嘅，
sacrificial in this as well. He'll go to the Pango as well. He's actually lower level than the Pug. So he got it in the end anyway.
Well,
That's
Puck has
fine.
been
yeah.
soloing half the lanes with the
That's true.
Furion teleporting away from the
The
safe
rider,
lane and then him
the rider,
collecting
I
the
don't
mid
know.
wave.
this is a core Pugna at this point.
邊個嘢？個黃 Marine 啊！
Pulverize going off in the jungle.
都
Maulering
都
continuing to do some
sneaking
stacks here
they
as
can
Falcons dodge this Queen of Pain match.
你俾爺爺冇必要
there.
I mean, if you're not getting killed in lanes, this is so much more efficient for Falcons.
Look at this creep swing. This is from the light at top.
做得做得，
Just put
我又兜我都要嘛。
numbers, bodies on this tower. If you're not going to lane anyone here,
yeah.
I'll get some extra pressure.
No,
He
they
does
do.
need the
Really
creep
great
swing,
idea.
though.
He does. 100 gold going to Malrine, but
This is a one laning phase for Falcons.
agreed.
Like, they have the top 3 net worth off of the extra couriers, the creep here.
Spirit simply don't really have like, the best chance to punish that. I mean, they're offlaners alike, and it's not really a good kill hero in the first place. Almost got his hands on Laurel there. It could have led into a bramble and some hefty damage, but no.
Think about Pulverize in
我頂下我停咗啊！因為你鋪咗四個都是把都揾佢。
係啦，講俾我睇。
Of course, you have Rolling Thunder to go in these fights.
Yes,
Control mechanism for Falcons.
講俾我，係啊。
Whereas if you're Spirit, I mean, you're gonna have to put this Lycan ult and the Sonic Wave to use here. Those are your 2 big tickets in this early game. The more you can use them, the more they're on cooldown in exchange for kills, the better you're gonna feel here.
係啦，講俾我，係啦，講俾我。
呢位冇啦。
出俾我，出俾我。
You try and push these towers, they TP the primal in, the Furion can TP in on the backside of that fight.
我收你呢個，我收你幾集先？
Need information to
係
啦，OP 會面啊。
Rue, right here, but he's gonna have to go up to the high ground here to deal with this war. And Malrine is. We'll catch him on the Everybody wants to join in on this kill on Rue.
This primal is cooking.
This thing no job.
And honestly, it's a lot of experience for this Pugna because of all the lane swap.
俾你生人又嚟。係啊，仲有依嚟啊，我實拿同你啊。好啦，買撈緊嘢。好啦，買中緊嘢，俾中緊嘢。如果唔掉啦，喂，喂，講呢啲啦。哦，速度係識嘅。
仲有睇見你有啲鬼咁嘅。
而家你知你啊你。
Nice little flame.
Yeah, good time.
專門做下知你。
It's a TA under the tower, but
嗱，假數啦，你會有啊？
講數啦，你會。
Collapse his helm, not doing a lot for him.
我咧嘛都講。
Keeps on dying. But
喂，
Falcons
邊有會令我哋啦？好不㗎。
That was a move that they wanted to
get the kills off the
I feel like it becomes more and more entrenched, right? The Templar Assassin gets level 6, she starts laying out all these traps out, and the Lycan, I mean, he's inevitably going to take this tower, and then he's free to start making rotations. Another move like that from Falcons, even if it succeeds, maybe you lose mid to the Lycan.
They lost net worth off that play, as a result of the Lycan just free farming top. Queen of Pain getting involved, whereas the Pango dies, of course, helps, but going into him. He's gonna have a very helm, and you got here between the Lycan and the TA. Like, it's scary if it ramps up pretty fast here. It's a lot of physical damage with the minus armor synergy. You can easily go into the Roshan. You can easily flank the tier 1s that are still up and get a good fight out of them. And if you're not prepared, your supports are just gonna feed you. Snake can be very aggressive on this mid lane, just trying to force somebody to show, get some information on the map. Everybody's jungling right now for Falcons. It's kind of a bluff of a play. Like, if you come here and kill him, you'll kill him, but he's getting decent value out of this level.
咩問題？
It's difficult to kill him since he's such a high level. He's got that.
我有咩把到即係估不晒。
Team Spirit
trying to trade out top.
Yeah. They simply do not have an answer to this. Kill the creep wave where they can, but snaking just keep going to work.
差啲
We bring Yatoro in
大
here.
幾呢？
Yeah, they're gonna drop some traps. I mean, these traps would make it a lot more annoying. Bring some sentries to run up the hill now against the Queen of Pain. Another power rune coming out as well. Really important power runes here.
จำละแต่สู้เท่าไหร่แต่สู้อันตะการ
He would have liked that amp damage here.
That's so valuable for both of these mid laners. Such high damage heroes as is. Amp damage only increasing that.
Oh yeah.
I just think Primal's one of those mids that power runes change his entire early presence in the fights. Yeah. Like the haste is insane on this hero. His amp damage is insane. Even the invis just running around the map setup to play can be good.
What don't
Meanwhile, he's been sitting down here for at least 3 or 4 minutes.
Thay tham này, đúng lại. That's it.
Will get dropped by 3 heroes of team.
Này mà thích. Này đúng lại.
Will be the ones take the mid tower first.
Hey, I don't know if you needed to drop it there.
Thay tham này.
Job done. I mean,
Mùi đánh nó nhá rồi, tươi phèn, tao vào tươi phèn thấy đâu vậy? Ê, Chris sao bị chỗ này bí đi vậy? Mùi đánh không bị vậy?
Ý tông ra rồi thì là biết ta mà là đấy gì nhỉ?
Không phải cao được nhiều vậy. I거 들어, 또 외로 방어로 돼. 쿵마도 후 biết rồi.
Falcons need to make a move this ball. Root is getting way too much down here right now. He's just got rid of 3 waves, done a little jungling on top of it.
Snaking's on the case. He says you put team traps me to catch me. Okay, I'll just go hit a different tower.
Nó phải này nhanh sẽ tay mình trả lại. Cái này là
seriously. It's some fun watching the PUBG.
Ở nhà phê số như vậy, ý số.
Với số phải thì áo với số
Hey, ngáo quý đâu.
Still kind of tentative to make the committal play down here. Like even Snaking doesn't want to go blast this. They saw the queen lurking down here. These heroes on the map. Kind of an awkward one because they're trying to finish helmet over.
ထိုက်တယ်နေရောကိုယ့်ရဲ့ village ကြီးအတေချခံရသေးတာနေတိုင်းကိုလာချရ
ski down လုပ်လိုက်တော့
legend မတက်နိုင်
Not an insignificant amount of damage. He's gonna find ski.
I'm a hook there. Look like.
Ui, này cái là skip.
Con nè.
Ôi ôi.
It's actually the best creep for that.
Creep nè về. Đè nè, TV lại.
Em nhận về.
thôi tùy rồi
Nó đâu gọi rồi. Dạ nó che lại rồi, ấy ít cái gì đây.
TV biết nhỉ hiểu. Nó gì TV mà. Ông mà bằng TV mà.
It did mean he had to take a range creep for that in order to stop them from getting the gold, but nice smart heads up play.
chắc tu á biểu
I mean, super good use of like he's juggling the whole time. He pops ult.
sẽ bị bao nhiêu
You
rồi
get a Furion kill with a solo smoke shaman. You get the Pugna kill bottom with the Bat Rider, who's still been down here by the way. Falcons move to kick these heroes out of the safe lane, and it's killing their map control. They will finally get Blink on the primal to make some plays of their own. They're going to look for the Lycan.
They're looking for the hardest hero to find, though, because he's rarely showing on map. He's doing the Lycan thing where he's just hitting neutrals and he's controlling his wolves and loading his wolves duel.
Quỷ mà là, quỷ vu là. Quỷ vậy.
Oh, they found him.
Tôi nghĩ vậy.
And he'll die here.
I'm
No
hit,
shape
I'm
shift,
hit,
so
yeah.
certainly no way out, especially against all the
Con-
control that
con-
Falcons
Con-
have.
con- con-
An interesting trade-off here. The other half of Collapse is still with Maposhka, and they're
Mùi đánh đấy.
themselves an early Roshan right under Falcon's nose.
Có sao hôm nay mùi đánh này sau mình này rồi sang gibi rồi.
He's a nice 1-2 punch around the map. You get a
Mùi
kill
làm gì
into a
rồi.
roast.
Đánh lúc đó.
Falcons
Quá
just
loạn,
not
quá nè.
expecting it. They will
Quá
finally
loạn
get
nè.
that tier 1 bottom in exchange that they've been looking for. A nice objective for them, but a super early Aegis.
A nasty surprise, a Queen of Pain with an Aegis at 16 minutes.
This almost reminds me of how people used to play with the
6 minute Aegis blue တော့ပါလေ
you know, you
Sai đó.
swell the wolf in.
Level 6 ရနေဝင်သွားတယ်
Putting him behind a shaman with a shackle.
solo shaman ကအဲ solo လို့sang gibi.
Well, guess what? Now
Không
they're
rồi.
Lycan with Hal and
ချက်
Phải ra lại hả? Quỷ đánh ra rồi. Che.
အေးရတယ်ငါကြည့်နေတယ်ဝယ်
The best of fight between these two teams. We have
Mình
both
có
of them
xem kìa.
laying out some obscure strategies that
ခုတော့နောက်တော့တွေ့ကမနေ့ကမတွေ့တယ်အဲ့ဒီ
you need
Nào
finesse
tiêu
to win a
không làm
championship.
chi vậy.
These little things matter a lot.
La
Put some
bị.
mental pressure on the enemy.
Không mà nói này là ra bị.
Spirit going back into this ward.
Phải chơi. Dạ, tao đi mẹ mày.
Thao bị.
This is going to be a rough one. The Sonic Wave
Chết rồi,
comes
không
in.
chết rồi.
It's
Ôi
over to
con
Malrine.
Chris.
Malrine, he's
Ôi,
done
đây
as
là
much
tèo.
damage as he can to throw out the
Sao
counter.
họ
Gives some
khi
heals, but it's not good
có lại
enough.
lấy cây này có lại quá
Can't
rồi.
heal the damage. Now
Chẳng khai thai đi.
cái đó là
Ski đó. Ôi ông vậy sắp quay được con rồi đi vậy. Ôi cái gì vậy? Ở trong
cái đó phải cái
that's why
hơi nhiều.
TV chắc là queen này vậy đấy ပြေးရောအေးကြီးကောင်ကြီးချပြီးတော့တီးပြီးပြန်ပါ
မှနောက်ဆုံးရာတိုးလာပြီးတော့မှနောက်ဆုံး finish လာပြီ finish လာပြီတော့နောက်တော့
လားတေပါလား
ပုံကောက်ရုံပုံကောက်ရုံပုံကောက်ရုံနဲ့မှာအကောင်လည်းရိုက်မှာ
တော့ရဲ့ကိုရမသိဘူး
စကေတာထပ်ဆဲလာစကေတာထပ်တေရော
အကောင်က TV လည်းမရှိဘူးမဟုတ်လား
အေးလို့အဲ့တော့
ဒါကြီးကတော့
ဟောရောက်ရမိုင်းရရဘာမှမရအောင် TV လည်းမရှိဘူးတယ်လီပေါ့လည်းမရှိအဲ့ထက်ကြလာတမလောက်လာ
ကိုတော့လည်းကားရောတယ်လီပို့ရဲ့နေရာကိုခွင်းရေကွာတယ်လီပို့ရောက်လာဘာလို့လဲကိုအေးကြီးကောင်ကြီးပြစ်ပြီးတော့တီးပြီးပြန်လိုက်ရတယ်ပြီးပြန်လာစေရော
တော်နေရအော်တေးဖိုင်ကဝင်းငါဝဲဆော်ပါလေကောင်
ဟောအနာလောင်းတာတဲ့တဲ့ဟုတ်ပါလို့တော့
ငါကီးဦးပါလေအေးမိပြီအမမိနောက်ချက်
ဟောတော့တူအေးပါဟုတ်တယ်
လေဝဲလေဝဲ
ဘလော့ခရဒီ
တီပါရတီလာ
ဘလော့ပေါ်တော့ဘလော့ခရဒီ
အဲ့တော့ဘလို့တောင်းဟို15ထိတင်တာလဲ
ညဆိုလေးဆွဲလိုက်ဖြတ်ဆွဲပလိုက်
နော်
အဲ
တောင်းဟိုဘလို့15ထိတင်တာလဲ
အမတင်မဲ့ငါဘာလို့မလို့
ဟုတ်လေအဲ့ကျန်တဲ့ဟာအကုန်ရောက်သွားပြီ
ဟိုတင်ရွယ်ဝေါ်ပဲကြတော့ဝေါ်ရဲ့ထူ2ကောင်3ကောင်တော့
မြန်တော့ရောဆိုင်တယ်ဟုတ်တော့
Don't fall too far behind. The Templar Assassin.
He's all right.
Kinda has already happened. Spirit are up by 3k, but the Templar Assassin
ကတူလီalmost ကလာလို့ဒီ on လွယ်ပြစ်ပြီး
well. The Shadow Realm goes off. Glimmer came to tell
ရမယ်အကြီး
ဘာမှ
ဟာဟဲ့ရတယ်ဟာ
condition မပါဘူး
တမလားတစ်ချက်ပြစ်လိုက်ရှိုးလိုက်တကယ်တော့
စကီတာပေါက်တာအကောင်ထုတ်ပြီးပြန်တော့
ချိုးပြီး
TP နဲ့လား teleportation နဲ့
with this Geek Award, it's not just the hero damage, but the tower damage they can put out.
ဒီမတားပါတိရစ္ဆာန်မတားလားခုနကလည်းကောင်းတော့ဝင်ဆော့သွား
တိုင်းဖြည်းဖြည်းချိုးပါ
Need to get to the primal BKB here.
အဲ့ဒိုမနီကမတားလားလို့
Timing fight with that going into that second first spawn. That's the period of the game where you're going to be able to turn it. You can definitely look for some early kills now as well. All the ults are available for Spirit outside of that ward.
Trying to catch Laurel, but he is way
Stuff
too
cool and solve this one break.
Another move, Spirit. Just read.
ကြီးရ duration
He's going to sit in front of this mid tier 2.
ကြီးရ N9
Hoping maybe he can get some initiation.
That's sure, man.
BKB, but as it is, it's being slowed down by the lack of kills for Falcons.
And Spirit are just going to continue taking objectives straight into Tormentor. 20 minutes. No contest.
objective ရောတည်ယူပါနော်
Too easy with the single target burst. A shard from
Yes,
Batrider.
ဟိုဘက်ကရှောင်းပြီးဆော့နေတော့ဖဲကော
Jump, but it's taking so long to just get this kill.
ဟုတ်လည်းဝင်လို့မရဘူး
It hardly feels worth it. You committed 4 heroes, a smoke, and a lot of time, all just to kill Maposhka.
Does swing some of these heroes bottom for Spirit, which is where the good vision is for Falcons right now. So they don't mind if Spirit linger down here. Lets them set up plays. They're trying to do exactly that. Invis on the primal.
Keep the momentum going.
He got scouted on that sentry though.
Yeah, more sentries on the ground too.
Once more, Spirit vacate the premises. I mean, Collapse is pushing in this bottom lane with the Dragon right now. He did not get caught down here. Too hard for Spirit to fight with all the vision for Falcons around this area.
Look at this ward. They have one on. Oh, never mind. Skeeter's already teleporting out.
Yeah, he wants the Dragon. See if there's a resummon here, and there will be.
Collapse is already in the ancient camp. He's got a nullifier, by the way, and is working towards an AC. This is going to be a very hard-hitting Lycan soon.
Dude, AC just makes this lineup go insane. You're not going to have armor fast enough in this game if you're Falcons. Got to continue to find some pickoffs here, and the pickoffs are coming towards you. They're looking for Amar.
Gets grabbed. Crit has to respond here. Can he save Amar with the Glimmer Cape? Not good enough. Damage from Yotoro. The Hurricane Pike, 5 shots coming his way. That's way too many.
Try and get a rebuttal top, but you don't have the same pickoff threat here. Even with the same amount of...
Another fire, I do it. I do it. Oh, yeah, hold on.
Right now. Spirit continue to snowball this game. They get an amp damage for Laurel. They're
Another
swarming
two-man
top.
kill squad coming in. Maposhka and Laurel with the blink.
emoji လုပ်တယ်ရောလာ
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh my god.
နော်တက်ပြီးစုပ်ပြီး
Huh?
လာပြီးဟိုကောင်တွေက
Dak Croker
No,
destroyed.
quick yeah.
Man, the sixth player for Falcons coming out big here. Snakey, he looks impressed with that. It's like, good job, Croker.
Collapse is playing with neutrals, but the neutrals are playing with Maposhka.
Dude, I hate those things. Every Dota player has had this happen.
Chưa quick. Nó còn đâu.
That was a funny game, man. Skeeter just teleported. Yeah, teleported right on top of Collapse. It's not a place he wanted to be. Fortunately, Lasso wasn't up yet. I'm not sure what information he had on the map, but teleporting into the enemy ancients there.
I think he's just trying to farm it, honestly. I don't think he was looking.
No, I think so too. It's just
the wolf's waiting for you.
Yeah.
Still fairly even game for Falcons if they can get a one-team fight into that Roche. They have the BKB on the Primal. Like, these fights can go really well for them if they can start on a core target. If you can get the TA or the Lycan in particular, that would be huge here for Falcons as Roche spawn available in 20 seconds.
It looks like Rue
Ai gã bà phát sinh sort of
maybe the target here. Okay, they spot Maposhka.
Yeah.
The smoke
They-
gets them
they-
another support kill.
佢哋
It's just
特講真特講晒嚟嘅，多
Not
查。
that big core you want, though.
Yeah.
Just 30-second death timer. I mean, Roche could instant spawn here.
Wow. The Templar Assassin knows exactly when it's going to spawn.
Yeah, that's the issue.
Yeah. So you're
那
not
啥把我两个盖住也不会太近啊
Almost level 20, by the way.
誒，
ขนาดนี้不也知唔講係應該佢。
Insane XPM for Yatoro.
我操我那我
Outpace the Furion, even if he's getting
哎呀今年一開到咩？
嘢我玩到咗，知嘢講啲啊，哎呀，
我冇呢個得咗。
Yatoro's just been doing solo ancients this whole time. He will hit that fraction of the spell.
得到晒。
Dark Willow.
Tables he can get rid of, an offensive decrepify maybe.
Good versus
No.
supports for sure. He gets this Daedalus before that Roche fight breaks out, which, you know, Roche is on the map right now, but hard for Falcons to force the issue. Way easier for Spirit to force it with the amount of vision they have off traps and wolves.
我打一點嚟嘅。
Falcons kind of just have to make the smoke plays, utilize the Furion ult, and hope they get the position off the lanes naturally.
乜吉祥我諗咩嚟呀？
一身 U 啥？
The Naga Siren instead of the Furion to give you a bit more
我話咩吉嘢就咩嘢講嚟先，
But of course, that hero is almost never getting
想見你點？
I say that and people let the Furion through, so maybe next game we'll see the Naga Siren. That said, Spirit are dealing with the Furion so far.
Yeah. It always comes down to these best of fives, right? That first game,
Got thrown.
one team is going to take the risk of giving out some crucial hero.
For sure.
And
in a
if they can
BO5.
beat it, it's a huge advantage for the following games.
It's too tempting not
我
to.
未錯未錯未錯，
Toro is
我呢一爛你，不間你爛你，我呢啲不間你，
big
Smoke
mission
ra
for him.
nó nó phải
If this
đó.
fight breaks out right
我呢
now.
特 smoke อยู่ river ထဲမှာထိုင်နေပါသေးလား
So big
我လည်းမရှိ
for Falcons.
黐嘛。
Martin get in there.
ပေါ်ကနေဆိုရင်တွေ့နေပါတွေ့မှာပဲပါသေးလားဟုတ်ကဲ့
You really want to take this fight around your wards.
Yatoro's going to go back.
ရတော့
for
ပြ
it.
သသားနေရ
He's going to call Falcon's bluff. He thinks they're not going to do Roshan right now.
It's a bold call. That said, you do have wolves in the pit right now. Did not get killed by Falcons. This is where not having that early.
ရိုင်းမဲ့ပီးတဲပုံလေးဘာကြီးလဲလား
Even just
ဒီ
set
က
free.
ဘာဖြစ်နေရ
Already
လဲ
in the pit, they have one, but the wolf
တော်တော်
doesn't
ဖြစ်နေ
fly.
ရလား
အေး
I just don't think they can do the road fast enough.
အိုးနဲ့လည်းမပြောဘူးရ
Fight breaking out.
Yeah, I think you're right
Huh?
about that. And if anything, Team
အေးဒီ
Spirit,
အော်နေ
အိုးနဲ့လည်းရိုက်နေပေါ့အလိုက်
Furion, you don't want to be stuck in this face-off around the Roshan pit for forever, because then the Furion just gets all the lanes pushed in, right?
冇，我第一步話變咗步啦。
So you do complete that Daedalus. Is that the AC done for
ဟုတ်ပါဘူးပင်အဲ့လိုမျိုးဟာနဲ့မပေါ်ဘူးလေပင်တာပင်မဲ့ပင်တာ message လိုမျိုး
ဟုတ်
ပေါ့
တယ်ပြင် message ပါလေပေါ်တယ်လုပ်လို့ရတယ်လား
It's done.
Yeah, it's going to be
Yeah.
a little hard
Hold
to
on.
get there. A
Hey.
little treacherous territory, but he's going
ရမရှိဘူးအားနေရှောက်ပြင်အားနေတဲပုံလေးတန်း
Weird. I mean, just as Falcons got that Ags on the Pango,
တတိုင်းကခီးလာ
the damage is going to be met here with 2 big item pickups that just amp this physical through the roof. And that Roche is still not being forced by Falcons. They're kind of in this stalemate. You understand why, but it gave Spirit time to hit the items, and they're just going to go straight into you. They don't care.
Nào mà có Spirit, không có fan của món mà làm lâu.
Send the wolves in, see some heroes.
咦條你都路嚟話啲啦，乜嬲佢好bad 夾啲嚟，啲 bad 夾啲嚟呢？let's play 話邊啊嘛 crit 地標話 crit 到係我啲話邊啊，我邊咪拉比နော်二咧နော်，我上一殺得咧我哋，有 BKB。
I get refire set.
出嚟拉，隻狗位，哎呀，拉嘅，唔係我吉到你。No 啊，我地話呀，唔係我。
哎呀，DB 撇嚟啦嚇。
冇，DB မရှိ啊，大家好啊。大家好啊。
Downside for Falcons might be they lose the Roche here, but they do escape from a bad engagement.
That minus armor was crazy.
Yeah, that was insane. I mean,
ဒီဘက်ဖန်လောရတာများတယ်ကောလိုက်ချလို့လည်းမကောင်းလိုက်လည်းမချလို့များတယ်
And then you've got the AC minus armor aura on you. Then you've got
ရန်ခဏလေးပဲဟာလာပြီနော်လာပြီရာတုံးလို့ဒီလားအမရာတုံးလို့အမနော်တော့စကီတာလိုက်ပွဲလေးလိုက်ပါဦးအေးတော့ရတယ်ဟောလေ
ပြီးတော့တွေ့သွားတယ်
to see if he was in one of those hidden tree lines.
အဲ့တော့မလိုက်တွေ့သွားပြီ
Doesn't pay off here, but you never know. Skeeter will escape.
ပုံစံဆက်တက်လာဒီဖိုက်တိုက်ပြန်တည်နေ
Well, they trade Maposhka for a core Pango. They'll take that every time. Furion does escape. Matt gets pushed out by the rest of Falcons. Continuing to keep this game even, but now you have an Aegis on this Templar Assassin for 4 minutes. Let's see what Spirit can get done.
ဟိုဘကိုရောပင်တယောက်ပဲတင်နေရလား
For some prey right now.
ကျွန်တော်ကပင်တော့တယ်
လုပ်ပြီနော်တကောင်ပြီးတကောင်လောက်ပြီး pick up လုပ်နော်ကောင်းနေမြမကြီး
More Deso charges for Yatoro. And you do have to think about getting the
လာဆိုကဘယ်နဲ့စက္ကန့်လဲရ
if you're Falcons. AC is next for the Pangolier.
He's
going to be the refresher build for the Primal, but he needs
Last one 3.5.
မဟုတ်ပူတော့
The minus armor is through the roof.
ပူတော့
တမိနစ်
60
ဟုတ်တယ်တမိနစ်
60
ဒီလိုက်ချလို့ရတယ်
Desecrate whatever you want to put into these heroes.
၄စိတ်ဆို60
So hit.
3စင်းလေ
if you think about it, Furion,
အော်30
the highest stat hero in Dota, right? He has
30လည်းပဲ18ရအောင်ပါ
if Lycan gets to him, it's minus 15 armor.
အဲ့ဒီကတမိနစ်ကျော်ဆိုတစ်ခါလိုက်ကို6ရရတယ်
He's got 25 armor.
It's all gone.
It's all gone.
That's why
You're in
you
the
need
negatives.
you need the bonus. You need the plus armor in this game, right? That's what you need here.
But like Furion just
Or
doesn't
evasion.
naturally build that.
No. The other answer is evasion here.
Yeah. Could build a butterfly, I guess.
They don't have the best evasion builders, right? Like the only thing I can do is butterfly on the Furion, and that's a very mixed item on this hero.
Yeah.
You don't have a Radiant Spire in this game. That feels a little bad. That's kind of it. I mean, otherwise you just have to build armor and survive.
So it's just AC on Pango, Shiva's on.
I mean, your other option is kill them first. That's always the answer in Dota. Like, if there's some truth in it. If you just get refresher Shiva's on the Primal and you run this guy in and you double pulverize the TA or something, there's no one dealing a huge amount of physical off the bonus armor reduction. The co-op's mainly magical. Something Falcons could think about, though. It is a lot harder with their support duo because they don't have a hero like this Bat Rider that can go in and look for an easy initiation target. They're pretty dependent on this Primal getting pulverizes off in this game, or finding Team Spirit at an objective or a choke point with the Rolling Thunder. Let ATF provide the control. The lane shove is just so annoying right now between the wolves, the traps. You're afraid to show versus the Bat Rider. We're seeing Skeeter get some of the farm off the sides of the map, but these lanes are not easy to get in deep right now for Falcons. It's the reason we're seeing them group up so much.
Yeah. And also, like, Skeeter, what he did there, he scanned before he teleported, right? You're not gonna have a scan
yeah.
to teleport every single. Oh, one shot!
Oh.
Wait, to the neutral.
One hit ပဲလားဟဲ့တကယ်
New friend တေးသွားတယ်လေစကီတာကြီးစကီတာပဲစကီနေကြီး
အော်ရမထွေးနဲ့လားအော် one hit တော့ hit တယ် hit လိုက်တယ်ပါတည်ရတယ်တီသွားတာဟိုကောင်ပြရ queen ခွာကြောင်းတီသွား
That's an amazing death.
ဒီတော့ကော
He took a 1350 single shot by the TA. Or I guess in 2 hits with
ပြင်ဘာလို့ queen ကိုပိနေရလားဟိုဘက်ကတင်းစပ်ဘက်ကကျင်းကောင်မပင်တော့လားပဲ
ဟုတ်တယ်ချက်ကပြမဟုတ်လား
And it was in the same instant. That's crazy. Well, Team Spirit maybe denied the last hit on that snaking kill, but will not be denied Elena Barracks. Falcons can't stop this one. And if Skeeter's not careful,
ပြစ်တာရော
အော်
တေးတော့
ဟာရော
ကျန်တော့
That's not a good sign for Falcons right now, though. This Aegis.
အန်လိုက်တော့
ကြီးခေါ်လိုက်ပါတော့
KO ပါတော့သွားပြီလား
ဟိုရအန်လိုက်တော့
You find another hero with the bat
အန်လိုက်
rider.
တော့
Chain it into a
ကြီးခေါ်လိုက်တော့
that banner.
KO อ่ะဘယ်တော့တော့ထဲရ
51တယ်
44 51တော့မြင်ရတော့မြင်ရတော့ဒီကကျွန်တော်ကမ်းတော့မရ
တမ်ပလာနဲ့တမ်ပလာနီချာ professor ဆိုပြီးထည့်လိုက်တာပါဒီလားဟာလောက်ခွန်း
Nothing is free.
ဒီ professor ကတိုင်းဖြစ်နေရပါ
that's just the Templar assassin. But I want to see Collapse get on top of Skeeter. See what happens there, because he's got that harpoon and all that minus armor too. It's a double damage threat here from Team Spirit.
That's where you can't let these fights develop in a way where the damage is going into you. You have to jump this TA. You have to remove Yatoro's ability.
လူကမ်းပါမှာလည်းမသိဟိုလူကမ်းပါမှာဒီကိုယူ
That means getting Maureen in
ကမ်း
here.
ပတ်နေပါနဲ့တော့
For the Primal Beast. This is your chance to turn this game if you can find some big core pickoffs. No Aegis to deal with. The Furion can help deal with the lane pressure while you make moves. But once again, Spirit,
They always know.
it's just so hard to catch this team. They're incredibly patient. They're incredibly disciplined. They don't mind giving up some net worth to make sure they don't die in the wrong moments.
Tonight regeneration really.
BKB for Rue.
That's
Not much.
overwhelming.
Not much they could do to stop that unless Maureen's willing to use one of his pulverizes to grab that Bat Rider. But as you said, they want to be starting fights, not reacting to them.
Right, if the fight starts on you, it's almost over. If you're Falcons, like it's going to take some insane turnaround with the AoE control they have between the Dark Willow and the Pango. Because the damage is way too quick, and it doesn't commit big ults or anything, right? You're just going in with some Meld Strike, Sonic Wave, or whatever, and well, guess what? You still have a full Lycan to play with. You still have a Lasso to play with. Do have a gem on Falcons. It's a huge thing to play around in this game. They put it on the Pangolier. Gotta get some D-wards going. Gotta kill some of these traps. Deal with the wolves. Give yourself some vision security in this game.
Roach just hunting every corner of the map, making sure there's nobody lurking around these trees.
Level 25 online for Yatoro. On top of that, Swift Blink plus the monocle range, plus Alert for extra attack range. This TA is insane right now.
Oh, Rue tried, but Maureen, he pushes out the wave, just blinks back.
There's a reason we see the blink purchase here for snaking. I mean, that's your best defensive item at this point in this game. This one, they go on you, you somehow blink out. Nothing else saves you at this point.
Well, when Yatoro has the capability to one-shot you, what's going to happen if he has an extra second, thanks to this Meld Bash talent?
Yeah, it's just disgusting. If you look at his attack range, too, that's another problem. He's basically just a straight ranged hero at this point.
Falcons, they'll get their chance to make an initiation, but Team Spirit is not going to give them an easy target. They're slow pushing the waves in with the Siege Dragon and the Dragon and Yatoro. Ultra 4,000 damage, not good enough, but he got down before Thunder, and now he's pushed away with a Sonic Wave. Now he's
ဟောရ
တီး
ဟော
အာမတစ်ဖက်လာကြိုက်
ဟောနောက်တော့ကော
နောက်တော့ပြဝိုက်ရတူရောပြစ်လိုက်ပါဦး
Maureen tries to get the grab on Rue. It's not good enough. Team Spirit now pushing in.
more forward than before. A ward to be dropped. 5 heroes
ဟိုဘက်က PK မရှိပဲရှမိုင်းနေပါလို့ချပါ
They gotta make. Oh, there's another bout bash. Great to Grapify timing there from Snake King, but Laurel still has the finishing blow. It's not all physical damage here as much as we're hyping up the Lycan and the Templar Assassin.
And bro, and 40. Those are cool, man, bro. You know. Oh yeah, idiot has all one there.
And I don't like what I do. Don't like what I do.
And there's still the fact that Yatoro could just.
Idiot someone, I mean.
Oh yeah, I mean half of his game has been side blades.
There's the fact that they don't even have to commit for these pushes. They can just throw.
Shampoo, you know,
If you go up to try and hit.
Not a summer comment channel.
You were the guy. I said not the guy.
Commit your primal.
See.
Hey, probably better time when it is. Oh yeah. I'm in a version now. I'm in it. Không gì nghe không?
They're in trouble. They have been given away a lot, but it's time to make your final stand.
Anh blue tail mà bây giờ.
This is where, you know, we've seen Falcons be in this position.
Mày ấy đâu?
Very similar lineup. But this is just a different.
Không phải có tôi không hiểu vậy.
Yeah.
Dạ bao nhiêu mà. Sẽ cái nó vậy cái này mới nào.
Năm nào tí đó về tí quá đấy cái gì nhiều con nào
Nghĩ gì à?
Con này over lâu nào rồi.
đúng là lý ở chị nhá
Overwhelming net worth advantage. You had a refresher shot on that Queen of Pain, so you have a second round of everything. Studying the primal. TH got way too high level, way too fast. There's an MKB to top it off.
Again, the mail bash. You get half a second.
Oh yeah, not a go.
Collapse before Yatoro. He strikes and he strikes hard.
Cái tí lên rồi đấy.
Commanding game from Spirit here. Didn't feel like they were on the back foot, other than the first 2 minutes where it was what's going on in this laning phase.
Trên số này nhau thì không nhau về trên rồi. Tí
on even footing. They got that. They executed that very well. And they we saw how stalled they were around that Roche pit. They can't commit for that Roche. They can't just do it with 2 heroes. The first Roche goes to the Ross to Giga Ward plus some Lycan summons. The other one
Chắc tôi nghĩ cái sảnh nhá. Người ta người ta lên là cái sáng đi để tiệt.
Too many objectives going Team Spirit's way. This is not a team you're going to be able to come back against in a lot of situations. Like they know how to.
Bảo AGD tới đấy.
I don't think we saw a single smoke move from Falcon's work once they were behind. You just can't find them.
Mira về tụi thật đó. Oh, hold on.
And I like the strategic idea behind.
Japan đi. Japan đâu à đi.
When you have the Lycan shard pushing in waves, you have summons pushing.
Cũng là tụi này đi.
Killing this bottom wave for half that game. You have the TH eliminating every move on the map without getting spotted. It gives people safety push out waves. You have Bat Rider cleaning up some of the zone. That's a lot of
Cô lái cô lái.
push back against on his own. Took away one of the biggest
All that me boy.
and turned it against him. Yeah, Spirit.
Allow me right.
Games to go, but this win from Spirit was so dominant. It's going to have ripple effects for sure.
Thank you very much, Captain SVG. Ripple effects for sure. I think maybe getting rid of the Bat Rider. But there were so many problems that Falcons had in this game that it felt like everything was a problem and they couldn't really do anything to begin.
How do I share?
This is kind of like how Falcons felt in this first game of this.
Time and the father young.
Fear this was
Hỏi ở big hỏi đâu mi Russia đâu mi BKB ở bà or the other đâu lại rồi. Rồi bây giờ cả.
and I'd have to really sit down and break it down on why it ended this way. But it felt like Falcons, they won all 3
ကိုကလည်း
lanes.
ချက်မစားဘူးလား
The primal rotations, or just the way he played the mid lane was good. But what happened at some point was
ဒီရ
they
ပါ
just
မင်း
stopped
မေး
applying pressure.
မေးတိုင်းဒီရပါမချက်ဖြစ်တယ်ဆိုတော့
ဒီ
Then
နာပဲ
after that, it just felt like,
မိုးရွာ
yeah,
နေ
yeah,
တော့
Toro,
မွေး
take all
ပြင်
these
လာတယ်
stacks. Go ahead and continue to farm.
တော့မ
Sammy
ချက်စား
just
တယ်
played on mid lane by himself.
မိုက်
They
ရ
just did
တော့
not group
ချစ်
up
ပြီး
in the
ချစ်ရ
typical fashion that I see Falcon typically do, where we're ahead, we're going to run at you, we're going to contest these stacks, we're going to be super aggressive. They just played incredibly passive.
ဟုတ်ရေငါတို့
for
က
like 10 to
ဟို
15
လေ
minutes.
မြန်မာနိုင်ငံစားစရာကြီး
I
ထိုင်းမှာ
attribute that to
လော
Spirit
လော
just
ဆယ်သူ
locking
များ
those
bread ကို
plays
ပြန်ရ
down,
အောင်လို့မင်း
or
တို့
did Falcon just
ရှင်း
not
မိုင်မှာ
try
ရော
hard
င်းချစ်
enough
တယ်
to
ဆို
make
ရင်
those plays happen?
ပေးလို့ရတယ်ဒီက
Even though they lost this game, there were so many like cool plays that Primal Beast is doing around the map as
ဟဲ့
well.
ကြားလား
He's
ကြားတယ်
cutting the creep wave. He has his
ကြား
Pango
လား
first wave, while Dark Willow
အေး
is
အဲ့
in
မ
the
လို့
bottom
လူ
lane.
ဆက်ထား
3
လိုက်
minutes in, he has
ဝယ်
the
ခြင်းတဲ့
Ah,
လူ
yeah,
ပါရှိတယ်
yeah.
တော့ဘာမှနေ
He's on top of the CS 18
ဘာအောင်လဲဆို
lane,
ပြမယ်
which
ခဏ
is a good
ဆုံး
matchup
ပါ
for
ဆုံး
bot
ပါ
lane, but he breaks this matchup by doing what he's
လက်
doing.
ဖက်တော့ရအောင်
He
လား
kills his courier,
အဓိကအတင်း
tries
တင်း
to
စားရ
creep
ဟာရ
wave again into the one of the camps.
ဝင်းကတော့
Goes
အုံ
to
လို့
the
ဖောက်ဆွဲ
bottom
ဟို
lane, kills Yato as
ဖုံးရ
well
ကြီး
as well. Gets
အ
two
ပီး
camps
ချက်
on that one, then drags into
အ
the
ပြိုင်
bottom
ချက်
camp. This is why
အ
this
ပြို
guy
င်
is
တော့
considered to be the
အဲ
best
ဆုံး
primal
ဆုံး
beast
ရော
in
င်း
the
ပါ
world, but they
73
couldn't
လို့
transition
ပြော
it
တယ်
into anything bigger. Sure, he got the
Hey.
farm, but they also
Yeah,
got
yeah.
shut down post 10
ဒီမှာ
minutes.
ပေါ်
But
တော့
why?
နိုင်
That's the question, right? Because
အဲ့
like
ဒီ
I
အဲ့
feel
ဒါ
like
မင်းတို့ရှူ
they
ကြည့်
played
နေတော့
as
ငါတို့က
aggressive as they
ဒီ
needed to. I feel like
grand
you don't
ကောင်း
give
တဲ့ဟာတွေ
Taylor
ပဲရောင်းပါ
stacks.
တော့
I feel like you need to be more aggressive. I don't know what happened. Maybe it's just, you know, team spirit just being prepared for this. But I think if you want to win with these lineups that Falcons are doing, you have to apply that pressure. This is how they win the games typically. They just missed an opportunity here, I think.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, yesterday we saw Falcons being the comeback team. Maybe they were kind of banking on being the comeback team. I don't even.
ဟိုအန်ရှိုးစပီသွားကြည့်လိုက်တော့ရဘာလို့လဲကြော်ညာကြီးကြည့်နေ
Skeeter's Nature's Prophet, Brian.
Yeah, I mean, it felt like
Oh,
that was
that's
just a
right,
game
I'm
that he
screening
was not going to be able to carry. No, if I'm a carry of that game, I feel like if I'm
My
Skeeter's
anh
position,
shoot me
I
đùa
have
gì vậy?
15
Phải
minutes
không?
in order to kill people and survive.
Like,
Like
we're
we're
even
even
so.
in real life stream in French.
ဒီစတင်မှာ strain တာတော့ကျွန်တော်ကုန်လုပ်ပြီဟိုဒီ cast တာပြော cast တာတော့ကျွန်တော်ကုန်လုပ်
ဒီကောင်းဆိုတာတက်တိရှိလို့ရှိရင်နော်တော့ကောင်းတယ်
Oh my fucking god.
ပေးဆိုပြီး strain တာလား
Oh my fucking god. Wish. Wish. Oh my god. Bro, what the fuck?
သူသူ
Oh. Wish. The best.
Oh, မင်းလက်နေလားမင်းဆွေရလက်ရမင်းဆွေရလက်
Oh my god.
Huh.
Hey! That's good or no? French taco was good as fuck.
You
Hold on.
check.
Hold on. What's your rating? Brother, I get this shit. Right now, it's a 9.5 right here. Right now, it's a 9.5 already.
ဟောရခွေးအောင်စားလိုက်ရကောင်းကြည့်ရ
Oh
ပဲကောင်း
my
ကြီး
god.
အဲ့ယူဘလို့ကုန်နေရရောင်း
ဟုတ်ပါပြီ
Oh my god.
ဒီဘူးမိုင်ဆွင်းကြည့်ရလေ
This shit is good as fuck.
ဟောပါ strain
အန်ရှိုးစပီ
Ah, shit hot.
yes strain အပိုင်တယ်လက်စားညာတော့
Oh my god. Wallahi, this shit is
ကလိုက်ဆုံးစားတယ်
You said what?
Oh my god.
100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. What did you say? Wallahi, this is the best. Wallahi.
ဘလို့ကုန်လဲဟိုအဲ့ဒါရေးကြည့်အောင်ပါလူလီနေ
So, best fast food in your life. You can.
This shit is so good though.
I know.
Dead ass.
I know.
Like I'm not even trolling.
So you can trust me.
These French tacos is dumb good.
Oh.
This is the best that I had. I'm not gonna cap.
Okay.
တက်ကူလားရှေ့ French မှာဒီကောင်ကဘာလို့တက်ကူစားလဲ What the fuck
တက်ကူမဟုတ်လေတက်ကူအဲ့လိုကြီးမှာမဟုတ်လားတက်ကူကတသေးလေး
ခုနတက်ကူလို့ပြောလိုက်တယ်မဟုတ်လား
အမချာ
ပြီလား French taco လေ
ဟုတ်လားတက်ကူကတင်းဟာယူမှာမဟုတ်လားဘာကြီးလဲတက်ကူကအဲ့လိုကြီးမဟုတ်အမေမျိုး
ပြောလိုက်ကွာပြည်သက်ရောက်ပြီးတော့ဘာလို့တက်ကူစားနေတာလဲ
French tacos it's another one.
Oh yeah?
တက်ကူအဲ့လိုဟုတ်လို့လားတက်ကူအဲ့လိုမဟုတ်ပါဘူး
ခဏနေပြန်လာခဲ့မယ်ငါစားကွဲကတ်စားလိုက်ဟုတ်ပြီလားကြီးတော့ရလား
main cast လို့မကတ်ဆိုကြမယ်
Trying to read the play, and this could be another one because they picked up that Aegis relatively early on. He's going with the facet. So he's gonna get the kill, extend his shapeshift for another good 5 seconds. It does allow him to kite the fight for another 5 seconds. Laurel's gonna be dying here, but it also allows them to buy a little bit more time.
တပွဲတခါ live ကရက်နေအဲ့မှာရပါဘူးဒီက
is also pretty impressive. Like the micro that he's doing, it's coming out in a second, but he also dragged the fight a bit more to the left side, trying to bait a couple of spells, and then he's gonna resummon the wolves, which is pretty nice. And also Team Falcons, I think at this point they understand we need to fall back to the gate. We need to be able to get out. So one wolf tanks the Bramble Maze, which does allow Templar Assassin to go through while he's body blocking with the other one, and it gives you just enough time for Shadow Shaman to go through, get the Hex, and they get a big kill out of it.
I mean, that looks really cool and really good. I also think maybe Shadow Shaman seems to be recurring in a lot of these clips, and obviously these moments being able to take that Roshan so early, and that begs the question, Fear, where to take it from here, because Team Spirit on a roll, game 1 in their hands, but Falcons left scrambling a little bit. What do you want to see from them in game number 2?
As we saw through like pretty much every single clip there, it's pretty much just them being on the defensive on Falcons. They were never really playing on the enemy side of the map, so I think going into this next game, yeah, Spirit, they played a very, very clean game. Everything they did looked and made a lot of sense. For Falcons, they need to get more aggressive. I think there all there is to it. Like, not many aggressive plays really stuck this game, and that really put them on the back foot. So I want to see them just believe in themselves a bit more and just go for these plays, because I didn't see enough with a lineup that should have been much more aggressive.
Yeah, there were just so many puzzle pieces that Team Spirit connected in that game. As a Bat Rider first pick, first and foremost, they did ban Abaddon in the first round, and I think going into game 2, Bat Rider's had enough success at this tournament, even though he's been banned most games, that you have to counterpick it at least. You have to have like an Oracle, an Abaddon, an Omni Knight, something that removes that lasso, or like a Shadow Demon. But then at the same time, one thing Bat Rider always does is he doesn't really play the lane very much, and he stacks. And then you want to pick it with an offlaner who takes stacks. That's what most people have been doing. The Bristlebacks, which is what Falcons used yesterday, the Axes. But in this game, they picked a Lycan, but they had the TA from Yatro, who was a level 11 at minute 12. We were talking about this because of the fact that he cleared like a 5 Ancient stack that early in the game. It just feels like somehow they've thought about all of this stuff. They have the team fights, they have the map mobility, they have the playmaking potential as one or two, as an entire team, and also just these little efficiency plays that get them to that point in the first place.
Okay, we want Team Falcons to be maybe playing a little bit more heads up for game number 2 if they want to have a shot here in this best of 5 grand finals. Game number 2 of this finals coming your way after a break.
I'm here with one of the greatest carry players of all time, quite frankly, Yatoro from Team Spirit. How are you doing coming into these grand finals? Are you excited, confident, chill?
I'm excited and confident and chill.
All of the above. Excellent. So how do you feel coming up against Falcons in particular?
They're a good team. They have a very good strategy. They're playing good at macro game. We're gonna try to beat them.
Excellent stuff. Were you surprised to see Falcons just ripping through the other side of the bracket, 2-0s across the board?
I thought they're gonna lose 2-0 to Liquid, but they won.
it means maybe Liquid in not good form, maybe they're in good form, and also they beat Tundra, come back some games, and they're ready to win, of course, and we're gonna try to do not let them do it.
All right, one more question about Falcons. Skitter, as a carry player, what do you think of him, and how would you compare him to yourself?
I don't think what I can compare him to myself. He has a different playstyle. He playing around the team. He playing more for supports, more for other cores. I have different playstyle. He's also a good player who understands like macro game, meta, and blah blah blah. He's a good one.
He is indeed. It's going to be a tough adversary. Well, a little bit more about your own journey then. Which match do you think you learned more from in these playoffs, Gaming or P-Vision?
I think Gaming Gladiators first game for sure. Like it was very good comeback from us.
It certainly was. All right, and how are you expecting these games to go? Are we expecting a nice 3-0 or expecting some close games? Are we going to see you guys breaking that 60-minute mark again?
We're going to see.
Play your cards close to your chest. All right, Yatoro, I'm really looking forward to this grand finals. It's going to be awesome. Thanks for coming to talk to me.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Ah. Ah. Ah, here, sorry. Just in the pot.
You are watching Dota 2 at the Esports World Cup, and we are in the middle of our grand finals. It's a best of 5, and Team Spirit is one game up against Team Falcons. We're going to find out if Falcons has a little bit of a better shot
Phim
coming
nhảy
back
phim
in
sốt
game
à
number 2. And
theo sổ mình ngay à
first
chị
game
này
definitely was
Lấy chơi
a
sổ mình đi
warm-up
rồi.
game for them. We know they sometimes need
Mình sốt đầu
those.
vậy
They have proven so in the tournament.
hai ảnh nó khá chi mà biểu thế như này
Incredibly strong.
Cảm giá này là những cái địa chỉ.
That's a whole
Rồi
different
chắc xong rồi
they have not played each other on a LAN
Sao mà
final
thua đầu
stage like this at all. And Team Falcons needs maybe a little bit extra help in this one. And I've got 3
Sáng bao rồi
smart brains
thì
next
có
to me.
xong.
They're going to give them
Cái
a
nào
lot
là
of
cũng có
extra
xong.
help potentially. Brian, what should they do? We're about to head into that draft. We saw them first pick the Nature's Prophet in the previous game, giving away the Bat Rider. I would imagine the draft order, it might be reversed in this case. But what do you want them to do?
quá xong rồi chắc xong rồi hay
Nature's Prophet is pretty hard countered by Bat Rider. At every stage of the game, you have a BKB piercing single
thấy nó
target
này
spell.
chắc xong
My idea of what they need to do is that they can pick their own stuff, but what Team Spirit showed is
chắc xong chắc
picking heroes with a lot of synergy. And I'm just thinking about Skeeter's hero. There needs to be some way to enable him to not just die to what is there's no amount of items that you can buy as a carry where I'm not going to die to lasso plus shadow shaman plus physical damage. So I'd like to see something in their draft where if they're going to prioritize Skeeter's hero so early, that just allows him to effectively skip an item or two, because that's just something as a carry you need to consider when you have all these single target destroy you heroes.
Yeah, I mean that game left a little bit of a bad taste in my mouth.
Yeah, 哇，哇，啲人哋一般般晒嚟。 ကစား
Did
ပါ
not
ပါ
look like grand final like championship material that I think
က
Falcons
စား
can
မှု
show.
တော့မှာဆိုလားဟာဆိုလားမသိပါဘူး
For me to talk about the draft here, just because I feel like they did not execute the way that they've been executing to get here, right? With the heroes that they have had. So we'll see what happens here. We do see a Huskar first phase ban, which is very interesting to see. I wonder what Spirit's planning to do with that one, but we don't see it very often. And then the respect of the Primal Beast is there, because they realized Team Spirit's a smart team. They won that game, but they were definitely outplayed for the first 7 minutes of that game. Or maybe 10 minutes, but after that they brought it in, and Falcons, they didn't know what to do past that 10-minute marker.
One thing that I like to see for Falcons coming into this series is playing much better early game, and that's exactly what they did, because when they played against Thundra, they lost the laning
Where
stage
is
pretty
Kasata?
badly. Those are two very strong comeback games that they did have, but in this one they had the good start, but they haven't managed to transition that into anything better. So I want to see slightly more aggression, and this is going to be the hero that's going to allow them to do so, because what Spirit did with Batrider in the previous one, you have this Batrider +1 combo where you're always going to be getting the kill, BKB piercing tool, and then on the other side you have your Shadow Shaman position 5. Once he gets to his Blink Dagger, he can also just be paired up with +1 to be able to get a kill anywhere on the map.
It's the debate here. They banned the Huskar to force out the Ember ban.
Yeah.
Now Abaddon's in the pool versus Batrider.
Yep, and another hero that's left in the pool that we see banned almost every time is Beastmaster, something to consider there as well. Ooh, but they opened with the Storm Spirit, so that's a little bit different.
Yeah, I was going to wonder if they had a backup to the Ember. I was thinking they might go Queen of Pain, but what's always really good against Bat are these mobile mids that can threaten you, because you play off of the free pathing from Firefly, and you also... You want to be able to blink on somebody, know that they're going to stay there, and that you lasso them effectively. And heroes like Ember and Storm are super annoying, because they might just be ready to ball lightning. They might have something like a Linken's, where even though Batrider uses a Force Staff to break it, that short window is enough for them to cast their spells. And then anytime that you actually jump in on Batrider, the concern you have is potentially before your BKB, you can just get counter-jumped by Storm, or Storm can disrupt your backlines and effectively block the follow-up. So these are the archetype of heroes that that Batrider is usually weak against. And so on paper, I think Team Spirit's addressing of the Batrider is better, but I also still think Batrider is just a really good hero, so I like Falcon's draft a bit better already.
Yeah, and seeing this Bane banned, it does mean that most likely they want to get the hands on Puck, but most likely they're not going to be able to do so, because there's Storm Spirit on the other side, and Bane is, I would say, one of the best counters to Puck. Like one Nightmare, one Fiend's Grip can do a lot in terms of locking you down, or just buying a little bit more time, but they're not going to ban it because they have the answer, and that's going to be Mipushka's Silencer that did shine when they played it yesterday. He had a 30-minute refresher on that Silencer, which looked insanely good. Basically Solar Crest into Refresher Rush, and there was also one of the games earlier in the tournament, or the previous tournament, I watched too much Dota, where he had like 15, 16 brain drain at 12 minutes into the game. So if he's paired up with another good support like Rue, who loves to play these position 4s that get very active early on, we're talking about, these Dark Willows, these Tusks that can rotate on the map and put a lot of pressure onto enemy mid laners 6-8 minutes into the game, maybe even earlier. It could be very deadly.
Yeah, Mipushka is the best silencer at this tournament by far that I've seen. They ran this against Gaming Riders when they did the first pick bat as well. It was pretty effective, even though Silent gave that draft a 0 out of 10. They still won the game, which is nice. But I think later on is where they'll make some adjustments, especially for Yatoro. I think he played CK in that game.
Do you think Silent calls for these Silencer picks?
I mean, it works so far. Mipushka plays it really well for him. But I think just the fact that you're able to, not only in lane, can you kind of like bully him a little bit. He can't commit with Sticky. Chase you in those early on fights. But later on, just the lasso counter initiation is always going to be very useful. And again, like his Silencer ultimate usage has been so good. He never wastes them defensively. There's never an oops one. It's always right on point, and they're probably expecting Puck to come out. They have Silencer available for that one. Now, likely we're probably looking at some Rue Lion or something coming out, but that's why the Pugnus out as well. I've been saying, Lion's the squishiest hero in Dota right now. I don't think there's a squishier hero. And Pugna, you'll probably just kill yourself on that ward if you ever try to use your ultimate.
I just think it's great that, we have basically a whole hype up Mipushka Silencer spiel. But then on the other side, Falcons, they have banned out his Shadow Shaman that we saw in the previous game, and his Bane that has been basically a staple to be banned.
He's been good. There's a reason why they're in the grand finals.
He's been exceptional, yeah, absolutely.
I think it shows that Team Spirit, they knew this puck was coming because those hard disables that Falcons banned are like that. It's a good matchup against the Storm, so I imagine the Silencer was anticipating this, effectively block picking and saying, we dare you to pick it anyways. We saw Pugna be super impactful against Storm because Pugna's facet makes it so his ward heals him based on the damage done to the opponents from mana. Now, Storm Spirit doesn't take damage when he's in Ball Lightning, but he does use a ton of mana, and that mana is still registered as heal for Pugna. So what's really important to note is that this is a backline support that does save, that does not die to Storm as long as he's used his ward. So it's going to really come down to who pushes their buttons first on the side of Maposhka or Snaking, and it could have a pivotal role in these fights.
I'd like to see some tanky guy. Again, I'm down for Centaur or maybe even Darkseer. Most likely Centaur if you want to be able to tank up. Because right now, they have very squishy lineup on side of Falcons. These heroes relatively easy die. And if you get an aura from the offlane, never mind. I don't think this guy is going to be building an aura considering how Collapse is playing. But Rubik also, he doesn't have too many good spells to steal in this game. It's more about him having that instant lift against Puck. We've seen it a couple of times at EWC where it was super effective, gives you just enough time with Global Silence, maybe with a Rubik lift, Storm Spirit can jump in, or Mars gets close with the Blink Dagger to be able to kill him, because right now there isn't that much protection, and Bloodsport works really, really well against these position 4s and 5s that have a saving toolkit, so Pugna's not gonna be able to do much.
Alright, Skater, you can do it. You haven't played it yet, but it's a really good life stealer game.
It is definitely in his wheelhouse, one of his signature heroes, but he will go for a Sven.
This also works.
What I want to highlight about Rubik, because I wanted to give a shout out to SVG Avery caster for this series, or analyst, I guess you could say, is that he said that people are behind. He thinks people are behind on what he thinks it's no longer about spell steals and more about the fact that this hero, if allowed to survive in the fights and spam whatever spells he does steal, is incredibly annoying. And what his innate does is that he gets magic resistance based on his spell amp, and his third spell gets him spell amp as he levels it up. So basically with a Glimmer Cape, he's around 65% magic resistance. So when they picked Rubik, we saw 2 backline jumpers already, the Puck as well as the Bat, but this is 100% magical damage. So I imagine if he has a Glimmer, he might not even die. So then what I'm looking at is it's on Skeeter now. I like that they countered with a Sven. It's on him to jump this Rubik, but I'm actually thinking this is a really powerful Rubik pick, because if the carry has to focus you and you're also against the likes of heroes like Mars and Storm where you have to BKB the second you go in, it just seems like a tall order. So it's going to boil down to basically Skeeter taking Rubik out of the picture and the rest of his heroes surviving through the global.
Yeah, I mean, Sven is definitely not a support killing type of core because it's so heavy commitment. Sure, if they group up and you can get a freebie, that's fine, but if his job is to kill Rubik, and he's gonna get counterpicked by Yatoro, and you're the win condition, that doesn't feel great necessarily. So, but you do need physical damage to kill this Rubik. We'll see how it plays out with like the magic resist, because it's a very interesting concept. And if it does work that way, and Puck can't actually kill this Rubik, that's really big impact for sure. So we'll see if that ends up happening. But yeah, Skeeter, he's gonna play his Sven. He's been very good on it so far. It is the physical damage they need. It is a BKB buyer, which they also need. Which I was thinking Lifesteer might be better because it's built in, but you do have to build it this game. But you're on a bit of a timer here too, because you're going to get kited out really hard if you don't get a good burst. And then now you have to worry about all the heroes that Yatoro can potentially get on this last pick here that can counter you, like these Ursas and Lifestealer, Troll. He can pick all those himself too at the end of the day. So he's not going to have the carry versus carry matchup. So I think ATF has to think about that and start to try and directly deal with that with his pick coming up.
I do like the Sven pick though. I do feel like this hero is gonna give them explosive damage if they get the first jump, or even if he gets jumped. There isn't like, sure, there is good amount of follow up with the, you know, some spear lift, global silence, but we've seen Svens even like lose the laning stage, go to jungle, and then 17-20 minutes into the game, he's showing up with Blink Dagger, BKB, Mask of Madness, Echo Saber. Pretty much, he's ready to join. And I think with the heroes that they do have, they could make enough space on the map, and this is gonna be anti-hero pretty much, that's saying we don't know what you're gonna pick, but this Doom most likely is gonna be used on Yatoro because we want to have a better carry matchup.
TB, Ursa, Take your
But a
pick.
Life Stealer?
Life Stealer. A lot of good options here. I think Yatoro is not going to get shut down by this pick. Because, I mean, I don't know if he will pick TB, but I still think this is the best hero in the game versus Doom. But it is very, very good in almost all accounts for this game. We just haven't seen a lot of it, and its win rate's been really bad. I still think Lifestealer or Ursa are also really great options too.
Yeah, Ursa's more about killing them, while Lifestealer is more about being very difficult to kill. Just kind of depends on. They are kind of lacking. Probably a better version of Lifestealer in this case, like a hero you just don't want to go on. Doom doesn't counter you because Medusa can still heal her mana.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good pick too. It's just out of the options I mentioned, the greediest of them all. For sure, so it takes much longer to get online. But Yatoro is yet again just saying, well, play your game. We're gonna slow the game down. We're gonna get to my timings, and just like last game, we're gonna have the win condition. And they have more team fight, better late game. So yet again, Falcons, if they want to win, playing very aggressive and very quickly. For their sake, I hope they do it this game.
I'm just thinking, this is a very greedy draft. Like this Medusa, the supports are not going to be having that good of a time on Spirit. This could be a very, very slow start to the game from them. Like Mars not being the strongest laner, even though we're talking about Collapse Mars, ATF Mars, they kind of always do well. But also, I think it's items pretty much because...
A great start for that. However, I do think the Storm, this Mars don't need a lot of net worth.
No.
Eventually, this Medusa can just 1v5 the game if they don't stop Yatoro.
Stream ရအပြည့်ပြနေရဆိုပါ
That's the only hero that I think truly matters the most. Because if you get some Ags on Storm, and Mars just gets Collapse gets like a refresher or something.
အာရမေကိုနာနာပုတ်ပေးရမှာလေ
Game number 2. Can Team Spirit put themselves on match point, or will Falcons even the score with the 1-1? We're going to find out in this game 2. And first, we're going to head over to the stage where we hear some words from Coach Silent.
Thank you, Shiva. Yeah, I mean, Silent, that game number 1, pretty convincing from you guys. Would you put that down to your draft, or was it mostly down to the gameplay?
I think both. We played well, and our draft was okay. Not the best, I'm feeling like, but okay.
Okay, alright, well, you guys played very, very well. This game, you've got the Yatoro Medusa. I mean, how badly did he want to play this hero? Was he asking for it?
Can you repeat again?
Yeah, sure. The Yatoro Medusa in this game number 2. How badly did he want to play it?
Oh, into Doom, we always wanted to play Medusa, so I think it's a very free game for Medusa, honestly.
Free game for Medusa. Love the confidence. Thank you very much, Silent. Good luck here in game number 2 of the grand finals of the Esports World Cup between Falcons and Spirit.
Dangerous fighting words from Silent, coach of Team Spirit. A free Medusa game, especially after the masterclass performance that Team Spirit gave us in game 1. And the Falcons' response, well, in the first game, it was an extremely muted response. They really just did not have much to say there, despite maybe the Falcons fans doing otherwise. Falcons themselves really seemed to struggle in that game 1. Game 2, though, Avery, feel like they've got a better shot at it?
Looks more even to me. They have a decent shot of taking over the mid game against this Medusa. If the Medusa falls behind a little bit, can be a very slow hero, but it is a very good Medusa game. So if this goes late, it's going to be a very tough hard carry to crack here for Falcons. Usually they are good against these super hard carries because ATF's hero pool can be a very pool. Doom is one of those heroes, the Razor, the Viper, you know, the Bristle, whatever, but Medusa kind of just counters a lot of that. This hero ignores a lot of the single target focus. You need overwhelming damage to bring him down, or the mana burn. They don't have the mana burn. Do they have the overwhelming damage? Kind of. But that Sven matchup is really bad. Like, it's one of the worst carry-to-carry matchups in the game for Sven. The other one's like Faceless Void, which we don't see at all. But maybe we'll see it game 3 if Yatoro wins this one. You just jump in, you try and burst this guy. If you don't just completely clear him, you get Stone Gaze, your fight as Sven is over. You're too BKB dependent. He just clears out the fight, resets it. You can't re-all in him again. So this carry matchup's tough. The Doom matchup's tough. It's a very good Dusa pick. But Falcons do have a lot more jump this game. They got the Bat Rider, they have the Puck, they have the Sven who can jump in, they even have a Doom who can maybe go blink build as well. They have way more ways to start fights and look for little plays around the map, and we saw how tough it was for them in that game 1. They're trying to make plays behind a Primal plus supports that's kind of their only initiator, while the map's getting pushed in around them from that Lycan TA. So they should have a better time making fast plays this game, assuming they can control the waves a bit better.
Team Spirit will also have less information compared to game 1, right?
That's another thing. They should be able to control the waves better because they're going to get up against less
有没有稍微表演 stream 过来呀？
in the hands of Team Spirit, right? Spirit have to do a much better job at
That's what.
and who they're showing where, because their support duo is a little clunky. Like that's where the tempo change at least comes in for me. Between
go on.
game 2 here, Rubik's Silencer need levels. They need level 5. They need level 6 in particular to really do anything around the map. And if you have a carry who's also going to AFK farm jungle for a long period of time, this could result in a very slow early to mid game for Team Spirit. Pam talked about the emphasis on the Storm in particular to be the big playmaker here. I agree with that. Like all eyes on Laurel to have a good game, and his game is not the easiest. Into the puck coil, into the Doom, into the last. Some big old second catch all in him here.
Marine bat last song
Need a good performance a bit for Spirit to play this early game.
This laning phase is going to be particularly important then. Storm versus Puck, and already got the early deny and a range creep, so good start for him. And will be the first to fall. Falcons will take first blood.
Super nice pickup for Amar. Trying to get some momentum
不想播你，唔得係會追嚟啲啊，我都飄。
signature heroes. As scary as that collapse Mars is, I feel like Amar
你會追嚟啦。
is really underrated because we just haven't seen it as much recently.
你唔得係會追嚟。
Absolutely dominates on this hero.
I thought it was so funny we were talking about the ban Mars in game 1, and I remember thinking to myself, that ban might return. But on the Falcons side, because Collapse is also, I think, likely to pick up the Mars, and if he wins with the here, we may see the Mars get banned by Falcons as well. There was a bit of a funny interaction. Amar calling out the facet choice of Collapse, saying he should have gone Victory Feast. Why did he go Bloodsport?
I think Bloodsport is a stronger facet when there's saves in the game or turnaround potential. You're trying to get in the arena. Maybe Amar feels like
EDF 我我路上那邊掉過來。
has very good numbers. It's kind of hard to turn that facet down now. Yeah, just based off the numbers. But I do agree in these clutch games, you're at a BO5 grand final. It takes one good jump, one good fight to win you a game and get you to that trophy. Division advantage is pretty hard to turn down in that situation.
Particularly when there is a save here on the other side in the form of the being able to block out that vision, stop that save could be really good. But Amar, maybe he's just pointing out that Collapse is just being a tryhard. As he said, I think he said something like, why do you want to win now, or something like that.
Maybe he's asking for a little mercy. No, I don't think ATF will ever do that.
No, he's certainly not the type to do so. 3-minute Lotuses are coming up soon, so we'll see a bit of aggression here in some of these side lanes.
I will say the one thing about that passive choice, to finish that discussion, is the Victory Feast would have been interesting because of the mana return into the Dusa and the Storm. Like that's the part that would have been interesting to me this game. But again, that is dependent on you like getting kills in that arena and snowballing that way. And Collapse as a player he has a very clear idea of what his job in the game is. He might just feel that that's not going to be a necessary path for them to go down. Like maybe he's just going to go and catch this. Maybe you kill him, maybe you don't. But if you can block out the saves, that could be a way bigger component than trying to restore mana to your early cores.
See Marine trying to play around the tower shots where you phase shift in order to get the extra HP, but a bit of a punish coming out from Laurel as he vortexes him under the tower and gets a bit done.
Outside of that first blood on the silencer, CS is so close across all these cores. Amar may be suffering a little, but he got the first blood, so that boosts him up into the early bracers and sustain, holding his skill points here as well. Seeing what develops on this lane, if he wants Scorched Earth for an all-in kill, maybe you can get a little greedier with some Devour. Maybe you find a good creep on one of those camps too that can push you in that direction.
If the Satyrs spawn in the hard camp, right, you want to get that mana burn creep.
I think that's what he was looking for. But the camps haven't blocked out it, but he didn't find anything, so he's just going to take the point and Scorched. continue to try and CS here with the extra stats already online.
Now, you and Kezu were having a conversation. Kezu called out the silencer pickup, and I actually didn't hear. You seemed hesitant about the silencer for sure. Why was that?
I think the silencer makes sense. It's a very good hero for Spirit here, and I think Kezu was feeling it because it's a hero that they will play as opposed to a lot of other teams.
Of course, yeah.
I still feel the hero's a little clunky, and I was trying to think, is there a better saving support or counterplay support first the bat? Like, would Maposhka play Oracle? Probably not, right? We almost never see him play the hero.
Yeah.
But he does bust it out occasionally. The other big one I was thinking is like this Shadow Demon we just haven't seen. Ooh, Spear Clip Snaking brings him down. Nice little pickup for Collapse. I was expecting a Shadow Demon to come out in this series itself. We haven't seen it this tournament.
But like, do you love the Shadow Demon?
That hero has to have a place in this meta with the way some of these picks are going. And if there is a team and player that'll bust it out, it's Maposhka for Team Spirit. So I was kind of debating if he'd go down that route, but Silencer has been the more stable hero here, and it does offer Spirit a lot in this game in terms of counter initiation. Falcons did pick a Pugna into that hero.
Mất tì đã, giá trô rô tì đã, giá trô rô tì đã, mà chả lại bị Rubik. Wow, giá trô rô con mà, xong nhà mới phải mà nó
I actually just noticed he's the one to claim that last hit on crit.
Well, you got to study at the altar of the
Of course, if you're playing the Rubik.
I mean, that's what they both
And he'll still be able to perform his support duties, though, from the opposite side. He'll play for the 6-minute power rune.
Could be a nice rune for Laurel to get a early regen or arcane here. Maureen should get both sides checked, so not the rune he was hoping for, but he will win the rune in the invis. Take it away from the storm. Gonna be a lot of stacking this game. That is something to watch out for. I mean, you have a Medusa on one side, a Sven on the other. Then you have this Bat Rider. You have a Rubik, 2 4s you can easily stack. Look towards those triangles around that 50-minute mark. As Snaking wants to accelerate his opening into the Team Spirit stack. You take down the Villager once, suddenly maybe you can contest those. That would be really juicy here.
Yeah, despite the... Okay, so... Snaking is employing the exact same strategy as we saw in Game 1. It didn't really work for them at all. I mean, they weren't able to take those early towers very quickly. And in general, it did feel like they're limited on map control. Was that just because they lost too much of the early game and it snowballed?
I feel like they just couldn't make concise moves and combine the cores. Like, we never saw the Pango plus the Primal combine in that bottom lane, for example.
Yeah, okay.
To kick the TA out and take that tower. And I think if you're trying to play with pace in this meta, the core combining has to happen somewhere around that like 8 to 12 minute mark. Like, you're not going to break the lane super early unless you're like Monkey King mid going for Wisdom Shrine or something. But that's the way you can kick these heroes out of the lane. And you have to make that play. It has to be a very quick smoke play, something with a power rune. That just never happened.
But I feel like then that same problem is present here in this lineup. I don't think that Doom and Sven are going to be running around at that 8 to 12 minutes either.
The one lane you'd love to kill is you want to get coils on the storm and bring the weaker support to it, the slower support to it behind the storm and skirmish up that way. I think that is the pressure point for Falcons if they can make it happen. But you also have to get the stacks up. You have to make sure your side laners are doing okay. And ultimately, you have to be able to line that gank up. Power runes help you. That's the big arcane you were looking for here for both mids.
Yeah.
So now this coil
on
the storm, maybe quick smoking Maureen to.
I don't know if you want to go to Snaking, stumbling into Maposhka, sitting on the high ground. Maureen protected, and Maureen, well, he's got the arcane root, so he's just going to drop and try and go for that quick kill. Now he's a bit low on mana. He's got one orb to work with. He jumped to it early. It doesn't land on Maposhka. He's not done yet. Maposhka, oh my, I thought he was going to get another neutral creep deny.
No, he's not that good, you know. He's only a 2-time TI champ here. That arcane rune's just nasty. 6-second orb. You just can't run away.
Yeah.
Just some good harassment. Really efficient damage. Yeah. But this is the lane where Falcons can definitely. Another set of stacks by crit. He will get both. this jungle is.
Sneaky 呢個ပြန်掉啊，唔係
For the Sven.
step 咁樣
Maybe
嘅
you can even go in there
Sven
with like
share
some Doom Puck
Sven
spells
no
if you want
block
to clear some of the
Không
hard
cho
camp
rồi.
out or whatever. I don't think Amar
Medusa
will ever turn down some stacks.
Medusa 都有 game set 嚟唔知㗎。
Strategic differences, I do feel like Falcons in the game one as well, even though they lost, they were doing more stacking than Team Spirit, and I feel like we've seen that through, historically speaking, Falcons is one of the teams that's going to stack the most, but I also feel like Team Spirit doesn't usually rely on stacks nearly as much as many of the Western European teams.
They rather get more done on the lanes, right? They rather enable collapsing your Toro.
你播咩嘢㗎？
And then they can just farm out the jungle.
播咩嘢㗎？
I think they are incredibly consistent at farming that ancient behind.
撈鬧你。
I think the Toro clears that more than any other carry.
Okay, yeah, I can
so
see
that
that.
makes up for it a little bit. He almost always plays an ancient clearing carry, or will just do it with anything. But you're right, like they don't stack as consistent. They rather contest power and go for plays like this.
收水，我都話收水把龍門，Spain 呢出嚟，Spain 呢出嚟，Spain 呢出嚟，好似收波日，收波日，我又沒有。
同埋 Arena 咪有嗎？
那我對你不過烏對你，我問 Spain 收到嘅嘢，呢啲啦，呢度唔諗啦。
Was trying to play aggressive with this.
不知啊，不都嚟啦，地話啊。
Last word and maybe not expecting the Mars to rotate in there.
我話3個上嚟喎。
No one live about. No one live
This
about.
is a catapult wave going in.
No one.
Like you said, Spirit want to get
你都地下就係咯。
and
跟到晒都要贏 V crit 㗎。
hero kills.
哇，山啊。No one 得啦。你都嗌啊。
The silencer, level 6 already online.
跟你嗌沙龍咯。
Falcons just have to fall back.
收出嚟 no one 我咪。
Oh yeah, think
No,
about
no,
it. It feels even better
you
than
guys,
the
you don't
Spirit
share,
playstyle that they have here for the heroes that they have, right? The kills give you more experience for the Rubik, as you said, 6 on him, that's fantastic. But also, it means more galvanized stats for the Storm Spirit. That is also a bit of a snowball.
Oh shit.
I think they're also good at timing when to commit for the stack. Like they recognize there's Deuce that needs stacks in this game, but he doesn't need them very early on. There's no reason to stack super early here. No one can clear.
Cô là cô đang làm theo.
It's inefficient. Whereas for Falcons, they can do it. So you will want stacks here at some point if you're Spirit, but you want them later on when the Dusa can do it a lot more efficiently and when your Toro. Otherwise, you're just setting the objective up for Falcons here. So playing on the worked out better for them. Now they have 6s on both supports. Could have been a liability this game, but they've gotten through the early game really nicely. And now you have global plus spells. Top crit not allowed to sit up here. We saw how long Blue was able to sit in that safety last game as bad. Crit is instantly punished. Notice the difference here.
Yeah, and I also would note some of the similarities to Game 1. Another situation where the Snake Pucknug just can't seem to get this mid-tower. Like, even if it's just the silencer sitting there, it's just early curse last word on him. And then Snaking only gets one blast with the creep wave pushing in. It doesn't really get that much done. And into the pass. Maureen now collapses over the pass, and away he goes.
Yeah, that spear on the Sven, so he can't get the Stormhammer out, leading into that puck teleport really big. Yeah. That's a Coil and a haste rune down. Maureen, he has gotten the power runes. We saw the tips coming out saying, "Nice luck, bro," but he hasn't been able to use them for anything. Now the gank going into him. Global's available.
Oh, but he used the orb.
Wow, the global silent in it. But short. Oh, they were it. The she to be on the wadi. See, get here like
Tommy.
JB. Oh, yeah, do you so weird? Sorry, bien buena mía lo que me han dicho tú lo mismo.
Don't have an amla. Don't be a man amla.
Hola now line. Hola. Đi sao lại so oh đúng rồi này à.
Đúng rồi đi đã.
Đúng mà trốn.
Đúng thế việc cầu trời. Sao phải lấy chui lại bảo là.
Arena 3ပါဆိုလို့နေမယ် Arena လည်းပြီးပါဆို Arena ကျန်လေး
ဟဲ့ AC ဒုံးနဲ့ဟုတ်တယ်နော်ဒုံးဟုတ်တယ်ကောလက်နော်လေးဖြတ်တိုင်အမားလေး You know I can see you right oh ဟုတ်နော်
Mark, is he calling out that the collapse isn't actually laughing?
ကြောတော့မခံ
He was laughing, so...
ကလာပြောမကဲဘူး
ကလားလေးอ่ะ အပိုင်းကအကျော်မခံ
It's just a menace with this sound.
Nah,
There's a reason
ပြီး
why
လို့ဖြစ်သွား
people were calling for it so aggressively.
ပြီးသွားပြီ
We're
ဒုံးခံလိုက်ရ
and he's really good at it.
Really good at these backline kind of
မင်းပြော
supports in
ဘ
the
ယ်လို
fight.
ပြပြမင်း
Like these heroes that can counter initiate or split a fight up. That's why
အဲ့ဆိုင်ဝင်တော့တမပြီးတော့စားပြရင်ဒီရဲ့
similar concept. You need to know when to pull the trigger on that spell in the middle of the engagement.
အဲ့ကောင်းလားထင်တာလည်းမိတ်ဆက်
ဟိုရဲ့မတူသေးရဲ့ free fan ဘယ်သူမှလည်းပါလာမယ်အော်ပြောလာလောက်ပြီအဲ့ဆိုဒီပြေးစားပြီးတာလေနော်စပင်းနေဆွဲနေပြီစပင်းနေဆွဲနေပါရိုက်ဖိုင်နိုင်ရိုက်လို့မရ
The staircase and that
အဲ့ကွိုင်းခီဟိုကနေ global sign နဲ့အခုမှဟိုမှာ
Another move for this puck that does not work.
ဟိုရခုနပြရ
ဘယ်သူမှဘာမှထိလို့မရဘူးဖြစ်နေတာလေလွတ်ထွက်နေတာ
Falcons just can't get moves against Spirit.
ပတ်စလင်းနဲ့မတန်ရတယ်
Didn't have gold for that. Maybe they commit there. But
ဟို
they see the shield.
ကျန်ဆောင်ရကောင်တဲ့တော့ပုံများမလို့က
You're getting a little bit of vision control here. The vision
7
game
ထက်လာ
is working
ပုံ
for
မှန်လေးပဲ
Falcons.
ကန်လေး
they're
ထက်လာ
still
စား
playing for the stack game as
Oh,
well.
delay
That is also working.
Yeah,
အော်ဒီမစောမနဲ့
even if your offensive moves aren't
but-
working, the
လောက်လေ
defensive
9200
plays of
ကန်
stacking and
3
just
ကန်လောက်စား
farming
ဘယ်လောက်ရ
still
9400
working for Falcons.
That said, I feel like we have talked about a lot this game.
9800
But one thing we have not said is
ဒီရလောက်တော့
Medusa. Because
ချမ်းသာ
there is no pressure going into the Medusa. And he
Totally
is
agree.
mega farmed. He's almost 13 and a half already. I've seen this before, Austin. I have seen Yatoro in this position. I'm going to say he tends to carry those games.
He kind
A
of
little
does.
more than he doesn't.
Yeah.
Like, this is a scary
Joey
hero in
laid
this
out.
game to give this kind of start to. This many levels, this much ancient farm early with just
Oh,
doesn't
yeah,
even been
you
an
right.
attempt at a kill on this guy
yeah.
other than that lane.
အပေါ်လန်းလည်းမရသေးအလေကြီးကိုရောက်ချိုးရနော်ဟိုက
So I'm a little
Ooh, that's not number one.
Getting a lot of efficiency for Falcons. You're finding good farm on the Doom and the Sven. You're getting power runes.
အဲ့မတူကြရဲ့လောကနဲ့မလုံးပါရ
triangle တက်လာပြီ
With that mid tower going
ကျုံး
down,
ပြီ
you can
စ
now
နီ
get
ကင်း
aggressive.
စနီကင်းဘာမှန်းတော့မသိလိုက်ဘူးသေတော့မယ်မျောမျောပဲကျန်တော့ရောမစပင်းဆွဲပြီအော်စပင်းတော့မဆွဲကြဘူးချက်ပဲ
And Laurel to
လောကလောက
collect a nice stack.
Dude, Falcons cannot
Cao
get
cả
on the
đây.
Spirit side of the map. You look at where the
Thằng bé lùi xuống
Moose
rồi,
is
Moon à?
in the river and nothing past that. You look
mà
at
tôi
where
là
the
kem
Moose have
sạch
worked.
kìa.
It's been
Stack
going to
bên
these
kìa, kìa,
stairwells
xuống
and nothing
xuống này bắt
past
đầu vậy
that.
xuống này bám thật được đấy
Spirit have a very good idea of how to
xuống
play
thì
this game.
cài
They're just
cài
putting up
PKB
the
thế
wall.
này
They're just playing
cài
defensive,
sành
buying
gì
time for the Medusa, not making too many aggressive plays
cài
of their
sành
own,
này thôi
and maintaining a slight net worth lead.
BKB က
I mean, it's a good thing
မ
Falcons
တန်ဘူး
have the stacks this game because the aggressive potential is
အဲ့
not
မင်းဘာမှလုပ်လို့မရပတ်ပတ် green ကွယ်ခံလိုက်ရတယ်ကွာထိုင်နေရမြင်
The worry here for both sides. If we let this game go late, we go another 20 minutes and net worth is still even. We heard the panel, they seem to be heavily favoring Team Spirit in that regard. It seemed like they felt Falcons,
တခုလုပ်ပေးလိုက်ပါ
the onus was on them to be making plays. Do you agree?
သူ့မှာလိမ့်မှလည်းမသား
in the
ရ
mid game, yes. I do not think you want to give Medusa multiple Aegises in this game. Sure, it's not going to end well for you.
တော့ကူတော့အဲ့ဒါနဲ့
That
ဆော့ကြ
said, I think you have more room to scale here than
ဒါလည်း
just
ကန်
all Medusa auto wins. Like,
ဒီကဖတ်ထောနေတယ်ဒီကဘာတော့နေ
I think you can always win late game with an ATF.
Sure.
His itemization on Zero is usually very good. It's very on point. He knows how to manipulate the timings off the devil's bargain. He's going to go for some early auras here, but he can absolutely trade these in later and scale incredibly hard as well.
So the threat is going to be largely around
လာပြီ
just
လာ
the
ပြီ
entire
အာဘာကြီးလာ
Medusa's
ပြီ
timing.
အာမကလာလီတော့စွန်ကြီးလောင်းခံပြီစပင်းမှာဆိုပိုင်နိုင်ရဲ့ဒုံးထဲလို့မရဘူးဒုံးထဲလို့မရဘူးဒုံးထဲလို့မရဘူးဒါတူလိုပဲဆုံးသက်ပေးထားတယ်အဲ့ဟိုအဲ့ဆိုဒီပြန်လာပြီဘောစထရန်ရှိတယ်စပိတ်မရှိတော့ဘူး
Well, it doesn't connect with the Doom.
စပင်းဆွဲခံရတော့
And if it runs into Yatoro, I can't
ကျိုး
imagine
ဝင်
that
လဲဆုခံရ
working
တော့မယ်
either.
ကျိုးဝင်လဲဆုခံရတော့မယ်ဟောလာပြီးမှဘတူစားဘတူစားအေးထားအေးထား
ဟာခဏနေပါဘာလို့မလိုက်တာရ
ဘရိုက်ရဟိုကလက်ဆိုကြီးလွဲသွားပြီဟောအေးဘာမှမဖြစ်ဘူးဘယ်ရကဘိုးကြီးဟို
လူပစ်ကြီးကိုကောက်ဆွဲလိုက်တယ်
That's all they'll get for now.
ရော7ဖြတ်လို့ရမယ်ထင်တယ်ဟိုကအဒီပွင့်ပါ
Skeeter would have
3ရက်ပွင့်ပါ
guessed the 50-50 there.
တူလူရလွတ်သွားတယ်
I mean, they got him to 0 mana. He had nothing left in the tank.
ဟိုတေချာရကောင်ပါတိလားမဲဒူလာကြီးတေချာနေရအောင်မဲဒူလာကိုပဲတတ်လိုက်တာပေါ့
Global silence never got popped there.
အဆူပြေးဆွဲပေးလိုက်တာဟုတ်
ဟိုဒီကောင်လာဆိုဆွဲလိုက်လို့ရှိရင်2ရက်တက်4ရက်တက်မလားဘာညာဘာညာလုပ်မယ်လို့ထင်သွားတယ်
6-item timing. If we go
လက်ထုတ်ပြန်ကိုးပါဆိုတော့ဒီက
အေးဟုတ်တယ်ပန်းနေပါ ဒီကနေ့မှာ
Yeah, Puck and the Doom can pick up some of the scale where the Sven's going to fall off. And of course, you have Batrider. We've seen Batrider just win some of these late games because it becomes too hard to
Batrider.
against that jump especially with like Ag BKB in this game or something, you can bypass global. You can get in there last on one or two heroes, set that fight up. Get
Đúng rồi, bấy ra sẽ là.
you can play around the Deuce a little bit more by taking all these other heroes out of the fight. So I like
Phải lại là. Ủa, nó chạy nè.
like crazy vision mechanics either. That was just so debilitating game one. Here your best vision mechanic is Deuce on the front line. Like that with Aegis, maybe you give an Aegis the storm if the Deuce is truly invincible. That's
Chị đó phải yêu à, thú biểu ở hòa gì à.
the confidence to go against
Spirit.
objectives. But if you don't get those Roshans in the first place, it becomes a lot harder to just push towers off the Deuce's timing. Like you're a bit scared of this guy getting dragged into just an all-in off dooming him, jumping him with the Sven. Puck is silencing Dream Coin in the back line. That fight becomes really weird.
In this little window, Falcons have the pipe advantage, but it's not going to last long. Collapse almost has his own pipe after the Yule Scepter.
let's go again. Be my watching. Don't leave it heavy. Don't leave it heavy. Maybe you young. We.
Cái sai này. Cái sai này. Cái sai này.
Cái sai này cao à. Cao mà. Không có nè phá mà phá lulu mà phiêu hiểm. Toa lulu mấy chàng này phiêu qua lại. Thế mẹ ủa sai sao vậy? Bao giờ. Bao giờ đi đây đã. Ba đây.
In real life.
Này không bằng là số phó ai vậy?
Attacked by bugs outside of the game, not inside.
Oh.
Don't worry, the admin's here to protect you, Ru. Did he get it?
I mean, he's young, right? He's got good reflexes.
Yeah.
He did.
We see an Obama moment.
Phải biết đấy.
Là chậu. Con đuôi nữa. Can't catch it. Brian.
That takes me back to the ice land.
The cockroach.
Nó rất stable mà bây giờ sẽ giàu. What the fuck?
Cú hơi giàu nè.
Ê, stable mà bù hợp lùi à? Sao?
Speed greater than strength.
Này là nhà vậy.
Có cái lực lượng này nó chạy đi đây chạy đi. Anh đi biển không kịp bạn.
Or whatever bug.
Còn cái gì?
Problem alleviated. Mjolnir is done. I have to say, I am really enjoying this Medusa build that we've been seeing, where the Mjolnir into Aghanim Scepter is just mass lightning.
Ui, tụi đó là đạn này mà. Ủa, nó đạn này.
If you get it all together and then you take a fight,
Ủa, mà đạn này.
insane how much DPS you can put out.
That being said, it does make the hero squishier than the traditional.
Cái gì là cái gì là?
Con đi qua chịu nó. Rồi bên sai nó chịu nó.
And your single target DPS isn't as high.
Chứ, tầm này cho lùi.
Rồi bên sai nó chịu đó chạy nè. Ôi, qua nó chịu. Con lấy quả chịu. Tôi mà là kia bị.
Bị BKB đó bị.
Tôi believe vậy à. Phải có BKB nè.
Ruby vậy đấy.
Allows him to pick up allies, that is.
And Glimmer Cape already online for Rue.
Bữa nó. Cô tôi còn bồi mà. Mà đưa ra được khu mà. Thế bây giờ mà đưa ra được con này thỏ.
This is a 60% magic resist hero with Glimmer Cape active available.
Thì bữa spirit bug à? BKB mà cao vào.
Con mày phải gì nào?
Get the numbers wrong for me. What happened?
Thì bắt được à mày à? Chả nó thua à? Là số mà.
But you're not going to be 100% truthful.
Thì có nhà sinh ở đó cả vậy.
Well, the trick is you can get it up to around 70, close to there, if you buy like a Kaya-based item. So that's why you go the Meteor Hammer, Ruby.
Okay,
I didn't want to propose that to him.
Yeah, Brian's a smart enough analyst. He wouldn't take that.
Go check out my match history, though. That is a pretty successful build. I'll just throw it out there.
Tự có nhiều UV.
Yeah, high ground mà.
I don't think we're going to be seeing Meteor Hammers.
Thì phải nó trở lại tìm hàng ấy.
Blink Dagger is back from Malrine, so Falcons do feel like they've been a bit stymied in their aggressive plays. Maybe the Blink Dagger makes the difference. They've got another Aura Island as well, and because you have a Doom, you're up on Team Spirit, but does that matter if you never get the team fight?
Như AV.
Falcons really want
Hay à, bài theo này nào đi.
Yeah.
You have your auras. You're gonna have your timing. You need one more set of camps here to get it.
Bao giờ ta làm nó?
Ê, làပြောrồi à.ပြောlà bảo. Màပြောlà bảo sử dụng. Train đã rồi.
Dead even game.
Phải đi sai điểm qua.
Down to execution, who can find the better angle.
ရုပ်ကြိတ်ပေါ်လာတော့
အော်အမကောလက်ခံလိုက်ရပြီအောက်မှာပဲခြေပြောင်းနေကြပါဒီဝတင်အော်ဒီ
ဟုတ်တယ်မြောင်းလိုက်ကြတယ်
နေပြီးခဲ့တယ်โอเค
ဟောရောက်ကုန်ပြီလား
ကျစင်ရောက်ရင်ဒုံးလဲဝင်လို့မရလွတ်သွားတယ်လေကော်လက်ပါ
လာဆိုရ dream ကပြီးနေတော့မသိ
အဲ့မှာလာပြီနော်ငါးမြရေချိုးပြန်ပြီ TV ချပြီးရော support နှစ်ကောင်လာကောင်တော်တော်ဖြစ်နေရင် support နှစ်ကောင်လွတ်သွားတယ်တကောင်ဟောရူးယူရပါတန်960
ထင်းလိုက်ဆိုလို့လူပြစ်တာအဲ့လောက်ဈေးကြီးနေပါ
နေလောက်လိုက်မလားရိုရှန်လောက်လို့ရရိုရှန်လောက်လို့ရတယ်ထင်တယ်နော်အားပြန်ပြီဟိုကနေဒုံးထည့်ရတယ်ဒုံးကကိုင်းတာနော်တပွဲတော့မှတစ်ခါပဲထည့်ရတယ်လို့ပဲဒုံးနေရဟုတ်ပါဘူး
တော့မေလူသားကြီးထည့်တယ်မတန်ဘူးပဲဒုံးရက်
ဟေး
ဒီကဆုံးရွှေပဲထည့်လို့ရဟာနော်ဆုံးရွှေပတ်ကြီးနဲ့ထိန်းထားပြီးတော့ဘာဖြစ်လို့ဒုံးနဲ့မှထပ်ထိန်းတာလဲ
ဟိုဒုံးကချိန်ကင်တာလေ
ဟုတ် let's play တော့
ဒီချိန်ကင်လိုက်ရဆင်းတယ်
တော့ဖိုင်နယ်လာထည့်ပါဦးမေ
ကျဲကောင်ထည့်ပြီးရဝီဝါလေးကျဲကောင်ထည့်
ဆက်နေပြီရှိပြီကြေးရနဲလာရ
ရောငါဆိုလဲကွာမင်း arena ထွက်သွားတယ်ဒီကောင်ပြီးသွားပြီကွာတည်တာဒီကောင်ဘာမှတိတ်လုပ်ပြီးစရာမလိုတော့
အဲ့ပြောရတယ်ဒီကောင်ကောင်ရှက်တောင်းချခြင်းလို့ကန်ကိုင်းတာနော်
ဘယ်သူတွေလက်ဆက်ကိုကြည့်ပါကွာတော့60တက်တယ်အဆက်4မိနစ်နော်တီဖာတာညောင်း
ကဲ3-1တော့မယ်ရ
more farm to be had.
Oh yeah, he is.
3 လိုက်မလား3 လိုက်မလား
After this, it'll be
3ပဲမယ်ကောင်လေး3မှာကိုင်းပေါက်ခံတယ်လမ်းမလျှောက်ရင်တော့မသိပါဘူးတမင်ဝင်တိုးလိုက်တယ်လို့ပဲလူရှန်ကြီး
someone your own size
ဘာလို့ဘယ်သူစားအခုမှဟိုင်းသွားနေမချစ်ဝိုင်းပြန်သွားနေ
Mapochka stuck around in this bottom lane. The waves pushing into the tier 2 combined with this high ground ward. They're hoping that somebody from Falcons will return. Nobody has.
These two obs are really good for Spirit right now. We're seeing this one just scout out this Doom around mid. I mean, these are two deep wards around pivotal positions.
Okay, Peteri တပွဲလောက်စပေးတဲ့6ခွက်လုံး10ဝက်10ခွက်လုံးနဲ့အကုန်ရှိရအော်ဒီအကုန်ရှိရ Peteri အဆူဒီလိုက်
You don't make this kind of play without the confidence.
Online new like SOD like
gives you. They really want this tier 2. Would open up the outpost.
And Team Spirit saying you can have the middle of the map. I mean, there were four of us on this right-hand side of the map. And you've got Yutoro still farming on the left-hand side of the map, and he's a hard kill to get.
But you've got Peter.
Roshan Kuki တီးသွားရအောင်ဒီ Spirit ကလာနေပြီဒါပြီ SOD မှာလားစကန်လိုက်ပြီဟုတ်တယ်တီသွားပြီ Mars Arena အော်ဒီ Arena အော်လေးဘကောက်တင်လိုက်တယ်ဟဲ့မရပါဘူးနော်ဟဲ့ Aegis ဘကောက်တယ်အိုးတော်သေးလို့ရောက်ရေး Maria တော်သေးလို့ BKB ပါ
အဖေကလူတော့တင်လိုက်တာရောမြင်တဲ့ပဲရောရှေ့
အဲ့ကိုပေးရ
တီသွားပြီပဲ
နောက်တော့တင်ထောက်နေတာ
ကိုစောက်ရဲ့တော့မန်နာမရှိဘူးစကီဒါတေးသွားပြီပက်ကလွတ်သွားပြီလိုက်
ထပ်ပြေးပါပြီပြောင်း
ဝင်စမန်ရဖက်ဟိုပါအေးပေးလိုက်ရ
နော်မလွတ်ဘူးနော်အကုန်လုံးလိုက်မှာတင်းဆက်ပြတဲ့
They get there just in time. No Aegis snatch available. Though I say that thing sat on the ground.
ဒီဘိုးကြီးချက်တင်တာကောင်းอ่ะကန်ကောင်းလို့ဟိုက handicap ပေးနေတာလားမသိပါဘူး
ကတိပါ Ruby ဟာလား
မဟုတ်မြောက်ဟိုကနဲ့ယူဝဲနဲ့မြောက်လိုက်တာတက်မှာယူဝဲပါ
ဆက်လာဖရိုက်တာလား
Easy clean up.
Where don't bow.
Medusa in the middle of that fight. No Doom goes out. Your auras are okay, but got mana.
အဲ့လိုတင်နေတာဟုတ်ပါ
ဟုတ်ယူဝဲတင်လိုက်ဟိုကောင်တင်လိုက်တာ
Everybody removed all the mana from Falcon. Supposed to be the other way around. You're supposed to be
Bagana.
Medusa.
ဟွာပတ်မှာပါတယ်လို့ပက်ကတင်လိုက်တာ
No, it's not.
Item timings on this Medusa are just way too.
အဲ့တော့they ထောက်ထားနေဟော
When you can go in a fight at 25 minutes.
အမဟုတ်ဘူးဒါပေမဲ့ကိုလက်ဒီတိုင်းဝင်လာကြီး1-3-2-3လုပ်နေပါတော့စစ်တယ်မတော့ဘူး
You're dying first. You're winning that fight.
Yeah, we have all the guarantees.
ဆုတ်ဆန်းလို့ရ
ဒီကောင်
1-3လိုက် TV မှာတို့ထိုင်ကြည့်
收的，收山的呀。
哎，继续快吧了。
好多年有個咁樣。
call 嚟唔啦，自己 call 嚟唔啦。3 day 之內，不錯3，不錯費㗎3之內ပြ邊嘅對嘅。佢講咧乜到，佢講咧乜頭嚟咯。पूरा ले face SFA，နော်လူကောင်းကြီးခေါ်飛နေ。
先俾一飛過埋ရှိရောက်လာ啦。先俾一飛過埋咩來啦？
先俾တော့ငါပဲလိုက်。
非常透要玩冇啦，係嘛？
ခဏရောက်ငါပဲလိုက်。စာချုပ်ကုန်လို့ပြော。
အခုက俾ရောက်သွားရော。
နာပြီးပါပဲ။စာချုပ်ကုန်လို့ပြောပဲ။စာချုပ်ကုန်ချုပ်လာ။
Oh, face ပါမလား။ဟုတ်ပြီ။
So you can play that kind of threat around the map, off the map, pick off threat. You also get the break here against the
ဘာလဲတို့
ဟာနာဗီမာလို့
able to catch this storm in a fight off a storm.
နောက်ပြန်ရောက်သွားတာ What the fuck
ပဲသွားတာလေ
ways to get this venom
တပွဲစားပဲဒီကောင်ခေါ်ရလေ
and not just
အော်တကာတော့တွေ့လိုက်ပါသေးတယ် Hurricane နဲ့ဆော့နေတာ face မှာ
တပွဲစားပဲ
guard pipe blade mail very tough target
တပွဲစားပဲဒီအကောင်
sends a message.
they do
Hmm.
and Falcons do not overreact to this situation
EWC မှာတော့မပါဘူး
they don't pull some of their cores
တို့ကဘာလဲအခုမှ play ပေးသွားတယ်ဘာလဲခိုင်းကြီးလည်းမသိတော့
EWC ပြန်ပွဲမှာမပါဘူး
Scales off in now.
ဟွာ feel ကဟိုဟာနဲ့ break out
A lot of
Bro,
int
you
on
know how to-
Dusa.
ဟိုဟာဗါလဲ
It actually does scale.
ဒီ
It's still kind of
EWC ကမိုက်မှာရောင်
it's an
အဆော
18
လေးနဲ့
second
ပါ
cooldown is what kind of kills it.
yeah Hey, he still has another level to scale up as time goes on. 4x.
Like that level.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to do the quick math. I mean,
စိတ်ကော
this thing can be like a 500-600 mana burn.
Yeah, 600 mana burn just off
ဟုတ်
4x sounds
ဟုတ်
pretty
တုံးရ
Is that worth
အခုမှ
the entire game
သိမ့်မိတယ်
for something like
Why?
Alpha?
အေးအဲ့ဒါပြောတာ
Probably
ခု
is.
play မြေဘာမှ impact မရှိတော့ဘူးလေ
It's close though.
I mean, it's not worth it if you're not, if you go after somebody else that's not the Dusa.
ကလားကောင်းကုန်နေပြီတွေ့တယ်
But if
ကလားလေးကောင်းကုန်နေ
you plan on trying to challenge the Dusa
It's a very
as an
efficient spell.
initiation, and it is going to be crazy
အိမ်
efficient.
ဝဲ
It's
မှာ
also
ခေါ်
going to
ပြီး
be
အိမ်
really
ဝဲမှာ
good for
ခေါ်ပြီး
stalling
ရိုက်
out
မယ်ရှိရ
these
မရှိ
teams
ဘူးအိမ်ဝဲမှာခေါ်
from
ပြီးရိုက်
teams
ခံ
here, right? If they
ဖိုင်
put
နေကြ
Dusa
မှာ
on a high ground push on a tier 3, you just mana burn him once or twice.
ဘယ်
That's
ကောင်
going to hurt.
အမအဆူဒီလိုက်ဘယ်ကောင်လဲ smoke စားပြီ
Big
လေ
smoke for Falcons.
Oh, they try and play
Spirit,
something,
spirit,
but they don't
spirit,
get it.
spirit,
They
spirit.
smoke and he gets out.
Yes, Lincoln's BKB Arcane Rune is such a hard target to
Yeah.
smoke into.
Marlton jump away far. He's daring Falcons. Go ahead, try it.
ဘာလို့ချင်လဲ
Daring
ပြော
Amar to try and get that doom on him.
I mean, I feel like a broken record at this point.
ဘာလို့ချင်လဲဆရာဝန်
It's
ကြီးချင်
not
လား
I don't mean
just
like
the
man.
Falcons that fails in this.
Yeah, no doubt.
They just cannot get an angle.
Yeah.
In this place.
啱啊啱啊
They had a smoke that has killed a
ဆရာဝန်
core.
ဖြစ်ချင်လား engineer ဖြစ်ချင်
In
လား
this
ဆရာဖြစ်လို့ရပြီနော်
I can't remember one.
Plenty of supports, but
I mean, it was supposed to be that play on the Mars.
ကျွန်
but even he
အိတ်ချင်တာပြန်တစ်ချင်းဆိုပြပါ
It's gonna set you back again here. Did get the Daedalus on the Sven. The damage is there.
and look at him going
ဟို
to the other
public
side.
map ဆိုရင်ဒီချိန်ဆိုရင်တယောက်ကိုဘက်30လောက်ရှိနေ
Both sides
Hey. But you-
and Falcons.
ကြည့်ပါခိက22နှစ်
It's like they know they were scanned.
ပြက်ပြီးတော့
အဲ့ရရင်ဘာလို့သိနေတာ
ခဏနေကြជីជីခေါ်တော့မှာခဏနေ
Make the play on them.
ငါတို့7 minutes ဆို7 minutes ဆိုနေတော့9လောက်တည်ပဲကွာ
I mean, what are you supposed to do here if you're Falcons? It's getting really frustrating. You hit these item timings, you make the play.
Dude,
you
when
have
they
some
yell.
okay map control. Yeah, you're just hitting the tower with the
ဒီဘော
pucks.
ဒီက DI မဲ့ကိုမင်းတေချာစိတ်ဆော်မှာပေါ့
Yeah, if you're AUI, you go into this third game. If you go down 0-2, what are you supposed to do?
တီးဆိုတယ်နိုင်ရကြ
Reads without smokes?
လာပြီပြေးတာဟောပြစ်
ဒီ
လိုက်ပြီ
ဟာဒီဟာရပြီ
မတူစာကြီးရတယ်
သူတို့နေ
Plus, disperser for Yatoro. This will be a smoke from Spirit that they'll try and
လာ
get
ပြီ
the lane
ပိတ်
in.
ကိုဘွားကိုတွေကိုဘွားကိုတွေ
Set by him.
ကိုဘွားကိုတွေလွတ်သွားတယ်
Zip
လွတ်
away.
ဘူး
Marines.
အဲ့လိုလွတ်ကြီးတာ
တွေ့ပါဟာဟာလွတ်ကြည့်ပါ
ဆွဲပြီးဖိုင်နိုင်ရ
And he's
ဖိုင်နိုင်ထက်
not going to be enough. He could self
Ah,
fuel.
Leeway
So it's
will
only going
go
to delay the inevitable, which is a spear or a shield.
ကိုလက်ကိုတီး
ဟိုရကောင်းကြပဲရ
So tough to escape.
လာရကောင်းရ
So much
shit
to play with.
တဲတယ်
Still
လိုက်
all those galvanized stacks. And then you can just
အဲ့
hold
ထက်ဆိုင်အောင်ပါ
ဟိုတီးအန်ပါလိမ့်မယ်
self fuels. Just go
သူညီလေးကိုတီးအောင်လိုက်ရမှာလေသူညီလေးကဒီ EWC မှာစံချိန်ချိုးတာလေ network က
Heroes here for a fight. They're not going to find one.
စိတ်တန်းတယ်
GBN ပါလေ GBN တစ်ထောင်လားမသိဘူး
Assume we're just waiting on Roshan for Team Spirit.
1000
Which
နေရ
Toro's also closing in on level 25. He's level 23 right now. Bloodthorn for his next item. Man,
ပြတင်းနေကောင်းလား
အဲ့ဒါအဲ့တော့ညီကိုကြီးလားလာနေဟောနေ
ဒါမဟုတ်ပါဘူးဟိုပြောနေ
Yeah, what happened to Dusa, you know, like tanky
ဟိုဟာဒီ
hero
ဗာလေရတူလူလက်သစ်
battle
ဆို
of
ပြီးတော့ခေါ်
attrition,
မွေးထားတယ် Spirit က
just slowly working him
Sit
down.
down,
This is like a burst damage Dusa.
I mean, the
အတူတူ left take ခါ
လက်သစ်လက်သစ်
he takes the 40 in.
အမတော်ဒီရောက်တူအေးလို့ရ
ဟာတော့မယ်
ဝေးရပြီးတော့မယ်တူတခါပဲတော့ဒီအောက်မှာလေတူပပြေးပြနေကိုဒီခုခက်လုတ်ပြနေနော်ကျုံးကြီးမနှစ်ကောင်အောက်မှာနှစ်ကောင် BAB နဲ့မခံနိုင်ဘူးနော်မခံနိုင်ဘူးနော်အေးနော်အေးမှာဆိုပြီးလိုက်ပြီးနောက်တော့အမှလိုက်ပွဲလေးနောက်တော့ဒုံးမရှိဘူး
ဒီကောစံတက်ကမန်နာမကုန်တော့လားလေလောက်ပြေးနေလေ
အသေးရခနဲ့ရော
Sven Dusa in a nutshell. If you don't jump it all in this
ဆောင်းစရမသိရင်တကယ်ကြရတယ်
ပြီးချင်းရ
ဟိုအင်းနေတော့
he gets initiated on, he takes
လို့ဆိုင်တော့စရိမစောနည်းဆိုရင်ဆမ်းဆမ်းနေမှာတော့
ငါဆော့ရည်ရောတိတိရငါဆော့ရ
ကွာဆိုင်တော့
ငါစိတ်ညလုံးမဆော့
lose the bigger fight. You're about to lose more here.
ခေါ်လိုက်ပါတော့ជីជីခေါ်လိုက်ပါတော့မင်းတို့ကတစ်မန်လို့နောက်တော့ဝက်ဘက်ထဆော့လိုက်တော့နောက်တော့ဝက်ရကောင်းလေးတွေ့နော်
You didn't pressure
မထူး3-0
his timings.
စောစီလဲဆောက်ခွင့်မရဘူးပြီးတော့လေကင်းကြလည်းမနိုင်ဘူး
Crafting of like what would happen. Team Spirit pushing high ground. Maybe this mana burn could dissuade the
အဲ့ဒါပြင်စရတော့အာမတီတီတိုက်မှာလုံလက်တဲ့လူကိုလီတိုက်ရပူပါ
Such a beautiful opening with those 3 kills that it's a full lane of barracks gone without a contest and maybe a second before Falcon.
ဒီလူစားမကျော်နာနဲ့ပြကြောင်းနဲ့တော်တော်ချမ်းသာ
He just hit 25. He has the extra in. Great first mana pool.
မကျော်နိုင်ကြဘူး
ATS mana
ဟာ
burn.
တက်ရှိ
I mean, that thing's
ဒီ
hitting
ဟာ
real hard now.
အကျော်နာမ
သူ့
ကျော်
ပြကြောင်းကအရင်တော့25ဖြစ်သွားတယ်ရော
ညောလေပဲ
modifier အဖက်ပါတဲ့ဟာအပြကြောင်းဖြစ်သွားကွာမကြည့်လားမကျော်နာအတက်ဆွေရယ်တက်တက်လိုက်တဲ့ဟာကွာလေအဲတက်လိုက်တဲ့ဟာ modifier တော့အပြကြောင်းနဲ့လုပ်လို့စောကြ9ရောက်ပြင်မင်းနှစ်ချက်တော့ကနေတော့ထားဟောမေးစောဖက်နှစ်ချက်တော့ထားဟောတစ်ချက်ပြင်မေးစောဖက်နှစ်ချက်ထားဟောမင်းစဉ်းစားကြည့်ပါ
Falcon, they can hardly deal with the creeps, let alone the heroes.
စောကြ
ဒီကဘယ်လိုစားပြန်ရောက်ပါခဲရဟုတ်တယ်မလား
အေးဒီလိုဒုက္ခရခုရမရှိတော့
Game plan
အဲ့
can't
ပြင်
be
ပြင်တက်ချက်တော့
ရင်တော့မင်း25ရောက်တော့မှအေးကျန်တယ်
look for a lasso. Like, that is it.
အဲ
And
တဲလန်
honestly,
ဖု
at
တ်
this
တော့
point, you
တဲလန်
probably
ဟို
have to
ဟို
try and find Yatoro.
တဲ
အဲ့
နေ
ဒါ
ပါ
ငါ
တက်
ဘာ
တာ
ငါဘောဟိုက်ဖြစ်သွားဟို40 intelligence နဲ့ level 3ရယ်ဘာပဲဘာလို့လဲဘာ
One, need big crits. Skeeter, all in this Dusa.
ဘူးမမီတော့ခဲရလုံးဝမရှိတော့ဘူး
And again, Laurel, just right place.
ညဟဲ့
အဲ့
ဟော
သူ
တွေ့
ဆက်
လို့
ပါ
ရ
ရှိသေးတယ်
Oh, he's even gonna
ရှ
go
က်တာ
back.
ရှက်ကဟိုပါပဲ
Toying with
အကောင်မ
Amar
ထွက်
a
တော့
little bit, teasing
Okay,
him.
ကွန်ထရာခဲပါ
ဒါလင်းရင်းပြေဘူးမရှိ
အဲလင်းကြီးကန်လက်ဆိုကြီးကန်ဆယ်သွားပြီ
Absorb just in case. And
အဲ့ဒါဆက်မတီးဘူးဘာလို့လဲ
in the hands of Team Spirit.
ဒုရှိဒုရကိုင်နာရော
Yatoro
ဘယ်ဘယ်ကောင်မှလွယ်လွယ်လို့မရဘူး
for the defense.
လာတော့ခါမသေးသေးဘူးဟောဘာနာရှယ်လောက်မရှိ
You know, they put together
ဟုတ်တယ်ဒီကောင်မန်နာပြန်ဟောဖြစ်သွားတယ်ခုနလေး
ခုန region နဲ့မှာ
Like every play you have is instantly countered. They've already rebuilt for it.
ဒုရဟိုပစ်ထားဘာတော့ပစ်တာလဲလက်ဆွစ်ကြီးယူပြီးတော့
Bloodthorn done.
look at this fast play.
အာလီပိုင်းကောက်ဖို့နေရောကောက်နိုင်ပြင်
အာလီဘိုင်းမှာကောက်
ဒီရင်ကြိုင်ရပါတယ်ဒီကောင်ကောင်လာတော့တာ
They go hunting out on the map.
ကျောင်းဆွဲပါမသိရင်အိမ်ထဲပုံမြင်ရတာတော့
Will still go
ဒီမာနာရီယာများ
They still have that Rubik
ရင်တော့ block zone လိုက်မှာ
So Aegis for Yatoro.
လူတက်လို့ရှိရင် charge တယ်
Everything you could ever dream of.
တင် charge ပြန်ကြ
Down mid, try and end this game. And there is not a lot stopping him. It's going to take a miraculous team fight from Falcons.
ကောက်လိုက်တော့
to
အဲ့
salvage
ဒီ
this
ဟို
game.
လေးကိုရ
The
ဝိုင်း
crazy thing is this isn't even the biggest
Okay.
lead they've been down by, right? Like, they're only down by 16k. And it feels like
ကြီးကြီးနေရောဟုတ်တယ်
ဘိုင်း
ညတူကြီးဖက်ပြဲနေရှူတာ
I remember looking at it and it was like it was only 6
Don't know.
It's like, man, it doesn't feel that way. It
တော့
feels
တော့
like Spirit at this
တမ
insurmountable
နေ့မှာတော့1000ရှိရောတည်
and while it proved to be insurmountable, we'll see if
看看你吧，我看。
ယူလိုက်တော့
မူပိုင်မြက်ကက်စီအောင်ဟောရလားရမင်းရဲ့ YouTube မှာမင်းတယ်မပါဘူးငါတို့တန်နေရွယ်မင်းတယ်မဟုတ်မထွက်ဘူးပါတိလီရတော့တာအချိန်ထားမှမင်းတယ်ထွက်လာမိုက်တယ်ကြားရအောင်ငါတို့တန်နေရွယ်ထွက်နေ
အဲ့ကစတီဝါဘူးလေးဖြစ်ရပါကတ်စာဘူးလေးပါဆိုတော့စတီဝါစီ
ဘာသာရေးကလို့
မင်းတယ်မထွက်လာရတယ်ဘလို့တက်ပူလာတယ်ကြေးလို့ပါလေရငါတို့တန်
YouTube ဟဲ့လေ
ပုံငါဝါငါတို့တန်ပုံပြရလို့မင်းပုံငါတော့ပဲတွေ့တာသုံးတယ်20ပဲရှိရပါလေ
ငါလည်းငါပါကြားပြီလားဟမ်
This guy is unstoppable right now. You're 3.5 minutes on Aegis to just march it up the lane. So much defensive capability behind him.
Not the lane.
Just so disciplined on their
ဟုတ်ကြီးကြီးခေါ်လိုက်ပါတော့မင်းမဖြစ်နိုင်တော့ဘူးဆော့မနေနဲ့တော့
hardly even being the one to hit the tier 3.
ခုမှမင်းတယ်ထွက်လာခုနကကြားပြီဟုတ်ပါရဲ့
အော်တေးပြီသူကဘာမှမလုပ်ရသေး
ဟာအဲ့ဒုံးလားဟမ် overlane ဒုံး
ဖူအောင်ကပြေးတော့ကောတူးမယ်ကွာဟိုတေးဘောကတော့
ဆိုငါးကောင်လို့ရှိတယ်ဘာမှလုပ်လို့မရဘူးကြီးခေါ်လိုက်တော့နော်မဖြစ်နိုင်တော့
ဘူးပဲတော့
မှာ global silent အမရောအမရောဘာမှန်းတော့မသိဘူးစတန်းတော့မပြေဘူးပြန်စပင်ဆွဲလိုက်ပါရိုက်လိုက်နဲ့ဒုထဲလိုက်ပြီလားဒုထဲလိုက်တော့ဒုမန်နာမလောက်ဘူးတဲ့ဒုမန်နာမလောက်ဘူးတဲ့ global silent ဒုတိယ global silent သိပြန်ပြီးရောရင်ဟုတ်တယ်ဘိုင်းဘက်နဲ့ချောက်
ဆော့စစ်ကဘယ်တော့ခုလုံးပြီးတော့ဆော့စစ်ကမာနာပြီးတယ်
လို့ပါတော့ all mega ဝါပြီးရောရင်ဖြစ်နိုင်တော့ပါဘူးတာကြီးတို့ရယ်စူးစားနေဒါပေမဲ့ဘယ်လိုတော့လိုက်တက်လို့ရသေးရဲ့
ဟာရပါလေအထုံးလိုက်တာလားဟုတ်ပါဟုတ်ပါ
ဟုတ်ဗီဂိမ်းဖွင့်ရရတကယ်ခွင့်ဝင်လာ UAT
ရောစပန်လားစပန်လားနော်ဒုံးကဘိုင်မပီးထလာမထည့်ရဘူးလားဘိုင်မပီးနဲ့မထည့်ရဘူးလားဟမ်နှစ်ပွဲမှထည့်လိုက်တော့ဟုတ်တယ်ကြီးပြီးသွားပြီအောင်ရင်နော်တန်းကြီးတော့မပြေဘူးလေ
မထိုးတာရတယ်မှာ
ကျေးဇူးတင်လိုက်တာနော်အခုလိုလာရောက်လှူဒန်းသွားတဲ့အတွက်ကျေးဇူးတင်ပါတယ်နော်ဖယ်ကွန်လေး
Maybe that is one thing that tried to this game in their favor, build some momentum, but after that, it's all downhill. Too easy for Spirit in these end games. I mean, in the middle of that fight, collapses this career to get a refresher, so you can beat this KDA away. It's just brutal out here. You can't blame him. Like, these are lineups for Falcons that need to find more snowball action. They need to get those.
တိုက်တော့အိတ်လိုက်တော့မလားဟမ်အိတ်လိုက်တော့မလားပွဲကြီးဟမ်ကြီးပွဲစားနောက်တစ်ပွဲစားနေကြီးတန်းခေါ်ပြီးအိမ်ပြန်အိတ်လိုက်တော့မင်းတော့မဖြစ်နိုင်တော့
It's impossible. There has to be more momentum. You have to get those Roshans. And they just cannot get a smoke play to work. They cannot get a gank to work. How many ganks did we see this puck? I think he got, what, 7 out of 8 of the first power runes? They tried like 4 or 5 ganks with this puck, and I don't think a single one of them landed on a core target. No.
Hey Siri.
It was the one.
Hey Siri.
That's all they had.
Hey Siri.
Chưa chuẩn à? À dạ, có rồi. Bị thâu thà vào đi con, you said that.
Laurel ends this game 9-0 and 13.
With a score record like that from Laurel on the Storm Spirit, you have to consider this was their overall first game. That was the bad rider on Falcons. But they went for that Storm Spirit so early on.
Yeah, I think they also
well with
the silencer. I had my skepticism about them being able to bring down targets, but it was the complete opposite, as I believe Fear was predicting, is they just can't really kill anybody. Laurel's survival. The Mars, the Global, there's like too many things effectively protecting him, and then Yatoro so timely on every single one of his stone gazes. The one on the lasso before Crit got him, that was just chef's kiss to that one. Overall, this is just a Dota gameplay coming out.
Yeah, not a very back and forth game, but this also says a lot lot about the game, the strategy that has been involved in Team Spirit's draft, because this was an early Storm Spirit pick, and I feel like this has been a very well set trap from Team Spirit. Same thing happened in game number 1, where they had an idea to let this Primal Beast go through. Now they let this Storm Spirit go through from themselves, let the puck for the enemy team as well, and be like, you know what, you can pick it. That Storm Spirit with the silencer that you did mention did a lot of work, and we did say that he needs to pop off. Like, Laurel needs to have a really good game. Didn't die a single time. You didn't kill Yatoro a single time in that game. Overall, very, very difficult game for Falcons. Amar has been shut down completely. Like, I don't think these are the type of games that Amar likes to play. He doesn't just want to be AFK farming. He also want to be doing something on the map. But if you look at his items, this is, BKB, Crimson, drums, and pipe. These are not the items that he usually does love to buy.
I definitely have to agree with that one. I think there's a lot going on what made this game very one-sided. One of them is, Amar's getting shut down. Like, Yatoro's hero pick is specifically built every single game to make his hero pool look very small and insignificant, and it's working. But I thought at some point during this game, you do have a Puck, you do have a Doom, we're gonna kill the Storm at least once this game, right? Like, I thought that was definitely gonna be
right, guys.
Yeah, absolutely. But I think it never happened, right? And I think they were inevitably gonna lose because you are putting Skeeter in a position, as SVG was saying in the cast there, you're not gonna carry this game. Sven isn't that type of hero that can have a blind matchup and out-carry a lot of carries, but they picked it anyway for the tempo, and it didn't really work out. So this is like 2 games in a row where you're putting Yatoro, the best carrier player in the world, on a silver platter to get any hero he wants to carry the game with, and you have no answer for it. And that is when Spirit looks the scariest, and they're not even addressing the layers of this, of like, you're not addressing Collapse, you're definitely not addressing Laurel. What are you addressing in these games? It's a complete outclass so far.
I also think that the Batrider that we saw, I think Rue played a really good bat as well on his Rubik.
Yes, he did.
He had quite a couple of lasso steals there coming out. They did try a couple of smokings for Falcons, but as we heard our commentary team say as well, any moves that Falcons made, it just felt like Team Spirit, they were just able to read where Falcons was coming from. Is that just, like, how are you going to deal with this as Falcons?
I think you just gotta play better. I mean, it sounds stupid, but they need to make these connections that they're doing. They need to get something out of it. Like, we've seen it even.
CSO ကိုခေါ်လိုက်ရပြင်သွား
happened post laning
တ
stage.
ကျူလိုက်အောင်
They were not connecting. In the game number 2, they're losing some of their stacks as well. They recognize that there's going to be a lot of stacks in the triangle, so Laurel comes into the triangle. He steals some of these big stacks as well, and just zips away. Like, they aren't able to kill it. It seems like Falcons, they are, I would say, 5 seconds behind what they need to do. It's not that they're that far away. The problem is also in some of the drafts so far that we've seen in these 2 games where they let Lycan go through. On 23, on 24, Yatoro has a pretty free pick on 24, so he picks the counter as well. And I also like the fact that the way they played out that Roshan fight relatively early on, that's the first Roshan I believe I'm talking about, where they initiate onto Medusa. It was a very risky move from Falcons. They try to go for it, which I really appreciate. But Team Spirit, they are not late. They're not late for those 5 seconds that I mentioned. They come in time. It could have been a disaster as well if they managed to pick up the Aegis, but they don't. It was Puck who picked it up, and in the end, they still get 4 kills out of it. Medusa, very close to dying, but they get the Lotus, they pop the mana boots as well, they keep her alive.
Yeah, it was definitely Falcons that was just lacking behind the entire game. It did feel like Team Spirit was ahead, and we're going to hear maybe a little bit more about that, or rather, we're going to hear one of Brian's binary bangers.
Of course, yes, Shiver, thank you. There are a lot of different types of fans of Dota 2, and this is a shout out to all the engineers like myself and Avery out there who highlighted the impact of Rubik's passive, giving him magic resistance when getting gone on by spell damage heroes. So we're going to see this 10-minute play where Rue's going to contest the rune, and Malrine and Snaking are going to attempt to kill him. So I'm going to log the spells he gets hit by. Coil, the Snap, level 4 Orb, level 3 Pugnablast, a Grenade, and a level 3 Silence coming out for Malrine, and yet Rue is going to live. Now this is important, because right now I'm going to break down all the damage that we just saw. That all added up to 1,225 damage. Rubik's passive removed about 80 damage, and he survived with 108 damage. Now you may say, or 108 HP. Now you may say that that did not effectively save him, guys. But what he also had was a Sister Shroud. which caused 1 Pugna attack and 2 attacks from Puck to miss, saving him another 175 HP considering his armor. So the conclusion of this entire thing is that Sister Shroud is a stupid neutral item and that it should be removed from the game.
That's all I got from that too. Thank you, Brian.
That's quite a banger, actually. Rightfully so. I mean, this was a weird game. I feel like fairly similar to game number 1. I mean, Fear, you already talked about it after game number 1 that you felt like it was a little bit of an outclass. Now, we also heard from KP before the series started that actually for the mid game, that's where Falcons normally were good. He was explaining that in the series that the Falcons played against Liquid, that the mid game, or rather the 15-20 minutes timing for Falcons was really strong. Is that something that we've seen them not do here that we hope to do better, or is that something that actually Team Spirit, compared to all the other teams that Falcons faced, Team Spirit is more prepared for those timings?
Mainly option 1, but option 2 a little bit as well. I feel like a lot of it has to do with draft too. Not so much in game 1, but in game 2, I think draft was a heavy problem with Doom offlane. Like, we don't see this. It's not really good right now. And there's a lot of heroes that Yatoro just is really good at that are good versus Doom. I want to see Amar have a game where he's playing aggressive. He decided to go Pango instead of the Razor in game 1. And this game, sure, it's a blind matchup, but surely he could have picked something that applies more pressure. And I want to see them try and do that and just get the ball rolling and actually try one game of playing their style. I feel like they're a little bit afraid to just, like,
go all in,
press the gas, you know, and just like play.
Yeah, I do agree with that one. Like, we saw them do the best when they kind of felt with no pressure. Even in Tundra series, when they played, they were still playing their own heroes. They were still playing their own style of Dota. They got shut down in some of the early stages, but you could feel like the real Falcons. That's why we said, even in the previous series, prior to that one, we said that Falcons are back. So they were kind of back twice, but we need them to be back here because they're in a really rough situation right now. And I don't think they're utilizing their heroes and utilizing some of the picks that they might have had in the game, especially in this second game as well.
Well, we really do need them to go all in. And there is someone actually that always goes all in. I'm of course talking about our reporter on the map reporter. We got another report from Boog the Boglet.
Guys, there's a wizard turning everyone into money. This is Satan Steve. Why would they do this, man? No cap. He's just gold now. Low-key sad for his family.
Oh shit. I have been known by many names, but my true name of power.
This guy's fucking cooked.
Is Carl. Behold the meatball.
I'm here with Malreen from Falcons. I mean, honestly, a contender for MVP of the tournament so far. You've been looking great. How has it been feeling playing on this stage?
You also telling about yesterday game. It's awesome. I mean, I'm feeling good to play. I don't really feel stressed, but like, I don't think like I'm playing for MVP for now. It's just some games could be not the best that I'm showing my performance.
But even in the games where you get shut down, you still come back so well. It's been great to watch. With the patterns on your face, these temporary tattoos, can you tell us what that's about?
I think people just know about it as like some sort of symbol, you know, like I'm just using for the luck. It's just I'm believing in them, and like they're just bringing me some sort of luck. And I think it's by far it's working.
All right, I might have to get myself some as well. So tell me about Spirit. This is the team you're coming up against in these grand finals. What have you seen from them so far, and what's making them so good that they've 2-0'd their way to the finals just like you have?
I mean, honestly, I don't know. I feel like at this tournament, like including even us, teams just like not showing the best result. Like if you're gonna see this every series, like there's just insane comebacks, even including us. Like there's a lot of series gaming should just win at least one map, maybe even shut down the Team Spirit. There's just like the tournament is just showing the opposite side of Dota, whereas like team that's supposed to not win, they're winning, and like it's just hard to say actually, but.
to go, because I think you're both have had a lot of great comebacks this tournament. Both of you seem to enjoy playing in the late game. How do you think this one's going to go?
I mean, I'm like a fan. I'm just gonna cheer for the long series that's gonna include all fun and a lot of comebacks. So, but I mean, I'm just hoping we're gonna win.
Good stuff. So any feeds? We know you're just playing for the late game, right?
Yeah, I mean, go fun clips,
Brilliant. All right, Maori, thank you very much. Good luck in this series. I'm excited to watch these grand finals.
Welcome back. You are watching Dota 2 at the Esports World Cup, and we are about ready to go for our third game. And it is Team Spirit that is on match point. They are one game away from taking the championship here in Rio.
Poi non direi solo non so
for a way back. And there's
non direi solo non so
when we're looking at the draft,
sto hanging
two games so far, there's
per me non mi sto vincendo.
clearly missing on the side of Falcons. Brian, last year, this year, every time we talk about Falcons, one of their main strengths is that, they have the same hero pools on some of their players, so we have some massive flexibility and really, who knows who's going to which lane. We kind of missed that. Both these drafts have been pretty straightforward.
Yeah, like Fear was saying, just doesn't feel like Falcons is being Falcons today, and I think it was Tundra who reverse sweeped earlier this year, right? Or was it?
Yeah, it was during
and it was. I remember in the post-series interview, they just said what was working or what we planned was not working, and we just had to try something completely new and see what the heck happens. And I think Falcons is in a similar spot here, but it's not a matter of try something new. It's more try what got you here and just hope that it's good enough against Team Spirit, because I don't think you're going to beat them with whatever prep that you had for this.
Yeah, I mean, there's potentially one more game for you, right? So a lot of hard decisions need to be made right now for the side of Falcons, and I'm curious on what they're going to come up with, because there's a lot of conclusions that could be drawn here. Is it draft? Is it play? Both probably, but I think at the end of the day, you need to go all in on one of these ideas and make sure it happens. I hope ATF is one of those players that's stepping up during this time. It's like, hey guys, I didn't get to play a game of Dota for 2 games in a row.
Give me my hero.
Give me my heroes. Let me carry the games for us. And I think that's what they're missing right now in this series.
Yeah, both games so far, they went for his pick last, right?
Yeah, they did. It didn't really work out for them. I want to see, maybe some earlier Timbersaw, maybe some earlier. I mean, there was a good, I would say, argument about him picking the Razor in the first game on their overall last pick. I think that could have worked out for them, but I want to see some more aggressiveness. I just want to see them, get out on the map and try to play some Dota, because what they've been doing against Team Spirit hasn't really been working out. I think also they are falling into these traps Team Spirit is setting up for them.
Yeah, like banning out the Abaddon, so that now Falcons they also ban out the Nature's Prophet. It will be first pick for Team Spirit, and that does mean that Falcons has the overall last pick. Now, the last time they had overall last pick, they weren't able to utilize it as well as Spirit did the game after that. But I have high hopes for them to make good use of it this time around. Let's see where Spirit goes with this draft. Quite a couple of usual suspects still in the pool. Templar Assassin still in.
I mean, Monkey King and Shadow Fiend are the big ones, I think. Because Spirit actually banned Naga, but Falcons decided to ban it instead. And it will be that Shadow Fiend that so far Falcons has not allowed to give them. So they're gonna try a different approach. Inevitably gonna go. The first two things they tried didn't work. For that third option, letting a new hero out, seeing if they can play it. So what this really feels like to me is more of a test on spirits. Like, can you win with all these different openings that Falcons is giving you? But so far they're getting something in their comfort zone every single time.
They haven't played Shadow Fiend from the mid lane, unlike, I don't know, Kiyotaka, who just loves to play it from the mid lane. I think he played it like 4 or 5 times. This is most likely, I'm sure Lau can play it, but most likely this is going to be their safe lane carry. I still remember one of the games from previous Wallachia where he did have like minus 35 armor. They were playing against one of the South American teams, and they were just running around the map, getting the kills. This is also a momentum hero. I like this already. I said I wanted to see this.
I love it. I hate it for the game, but I love it for Falcons. Yeah, Shadow Fiend's like a hard counter.
I
was
gonna
say,
it's not a good matchup.
I like, we all love that they're going back to their roots of the Razor, but I think the best carries in the game are ones that have mixed damage. First of all, like they're not solely clickers, and then also just innate natural Hurricane Pike modifiers. And that's Madness Hurricane Pike is a very common build-up for Shadow Fiend carry. You're also a carry that if you give him a melee 5 like a Marcy, you can easily threaten this Razor. So if it ends up going mid Razor, then I don't know. I actually just think it's bad for Shadow Fiend. So maybe there's something they know that I don't. They're definitely the Razor specialists.
But that's what I love to see from a Falcons draft. Like, the more I dislike their lineup and how it functions in a counter pick situation, the better they typically do, because they will outplay their way out of every situation just by being Grandmaster on their heroes, essentially, and they find a way. And that is what they've done to get here. So I like that they're going back for discomfort. And there is a world in where you play this well that Shadow Fiend will be uncomfortable, but Shadow Fiend definitely is a hero that is not inherently bad against like some troll or something.
Yeah, I like this a lot because of what AUI yesterday said on our panel, where he was very confused how they won those games, even though they got outdrafted. This might be the situation that they're trying to recreate, where it doesn't necessarily need to look stronger on paper. In theory, where our draft is, you know, stronger, and we're going to be playing from that. But also try to create a scenario where Team Spirit doesn't feel too comfortable playing into their heroes, and this is what I want to see. I mean, they're 2 games down, potentially their last game, so they need to cook something really big here.
Yeah, this always reminds me of TI8 OG Game 4, where their draft basically just said, what does everybody want to play this game? We're down 2-1. You know, we're backs against the wall. What's your favorite hero? And then they found themselves down like 20k 30 minutes into the game. And what happens is when you pick your favorite heroes is you just know how to play every single scenario that might come up in the game. And that's what we've kind of been seeing from Falcons, where I'm imagining if you're Aoi and you're seeing how those games play out, that the only reason they know what to do on Falcons is because they've seen this situation some way or another across the hundreds of games that they've played these heroes. So I'm anticipating that Spirit's going to get off to a good start, just given the nature of the lack of counterpicking from Falcons. But I also anticipate that Falcons will try to recreate this whole force of 5v4 scenario that we saw yesterday.
Shaman.
I think Team Spirit will inevitably provide, because no team
got a math lesson, now a history lesson. Thank you, Professor. BSJ.
Where's Sally? What the fuck?
I don't. I think right now, just looking at the eyeballing heroes like Queen of Pain, maybe Mars for the other cores, that could be good just to shut down the tri lane or the tri.
ငါသာအဲ့လိုအတင်းကြီးမှဆိုပြစ်ပန်းနေလို့ရှင်ကအဲ့ညမှာထိုင်နေမှာမဟုတ်ဘူးကွာဘာမှလည်းမလုပ်ရဘူးကွာကြည့်တာမင်းမတင်းဆော့ပဲလားညက်ပဲလားပြော
သူ့လည်းထိုင်နေရပဲလေသူကအဲ့ရတယ်ထွက်သွားလို့မရဘူးအင်းတော့ပေးမတော့ဘူး
ဟုတ်ဘာပေးသွားတွားကျင်နေဘူးလို့
တွားကျင်မသွားခင်ပို့ကျိုးသွားတယ်
And this is one of your favorite heroes, Fear.
Yeah, မတွားကျင်နေဟုတ်ဒီခုနနားနေအချိန်မှာတွားကျင်ဒါပေမဲ့ပြစ်ပန်းနေအချိန်မှာတွားကျင်မှာဘယ်လိုလုပ်
You get more debuff duration or something.
ယူရဲကွာ
More spell damage, exactly.
I mean, that's just name the spell, but I think this hero in general is
You're Sony,တွားကျင်လာလို့
but does a lot of damage. And I think when you are
ပျစ်ပန်းချိန်မှာပေးသွားရတယ်တူတယ်
burst them before you get the
ဟိုအချိန်မှာပဲပေးမရတယ်ပွဲဆော့နေအချိန်ပေးမသွားဘူး
Their supports are going to be packing a lot of initiation power.
ပြစ်ပန်းမှာပေးသွားတယ်
And they give a lot more freedom for either collapse or even
တွေးရပါလေစောင့်နေနေပွားချင်လို့လုပ်လို့
ပြပန်းမှာပြီးသွားပြပန်းမှာပြီးသွားဟိုပြီးသွားဟိုတစ်ခေါက်တော့ဒီဗာလေမေဝမ်ပွဲမဆိုင်ရင်နာပြီးသွားပြီးနောက်တစ်ခေါက်ကျတော့ဟို TI မှာဟိုကဗာတဲ့တရုတ်ကဖိတ်ပြီးအောင်လားပြီးအဲ့ကောင်အိမ်သာသွားချင်တာပြီးမသွားဘူးလေ
Very much so tempo based. Like you have Shaman, you got the Giga Ward, you got the creeps from Chen, you got the heal, you got the laser. Early game. This is the game where I'm feeling more confident. Even if they do go out, I want to see them at least play one.
ဟိုက Clover ကြီးကြောက်လာမသိဘူးကျန်တော့ချန် Clover နဲ့ Clover နဲ့ဟိုဖြစ်တယ် Clover ကို Clover ချန်တိတ်ခွာလို့မရပရိယစောနဲ့တိတ်ထိုက်ချလို့မရချန်ရှိချန် position 5ဆိုရှင်အဲ့တော့
ဆိုပါပေါက်ပြီးလောင်းတော့မှလားမသိဘူး Crick က
ဘာရေးထားလဲ
They had to do some weird lane stuff. This is against Aurora. That's what it was against. And
အဲ့လိုရှမန် position ဖူးမှာပါအဲ့
is to just have a hero like Centaur that cuts creeps, doesn't really mind trading farm. It allows the lion to be freed up.
Shadow V ကခန့်တယ်လို့ Shadow V က Clover နဲ့မတော်ဘူးလားတတင်း
Skeeter's hero, I would love to see something that offers, I was going to say aid when it comes to ganking. So you want to be able to
အဲ့ဒါလေးအကောင်လေးရန်ပေးရိုက်တော့
hero that's going to sit
အဲ့ဒါမဲ့အာမရှိဘူး
farming. So and it's not enough to just have a
မရှိဘူးကိစ္စမရှိ
So I like the CK a lot.
Collapse hasn't played this hero, Dawnbreaker. So far he played every different hero in every single game, so they might be trying to close out the tournament with different heroes. I think that's a good hero to deal with CK and the illusions throughout the whole game. I mean, you can always go for
Underlord?
Yeah, that works. So for now,
Monkey King.
That's probably Laurel's hero.
Yeah.
So we're gonna see what Collapse will play, but yeah, he's got a big hero pool. You definitely want to play one of these like Timber, Underlord type of heroes and make this
Offlane and mid lane.
comfortable. I mean,
you need hero even
Look at them on the stuns they have between the Monkey King, the Clock, and the Lion. I think he has complete freedom on pick, but just this last pick of their draft.
I'm just gonna throw it out there.
Monkey
Something that Ducalis from P-Vision did is he did a very good job dealing with some of these really bad matchups for his mid laner by sending this setter creep to the mid lane, burning the mana.
အဲ့ဒါခန့်မယ်အဆက်မဲ့ဆိုရှင် Monkey ကလိန်ရှုံးရရေးရ
You can burn
ပေါ့ရဲ့ Razor နဲ့
this one boundless strike. And he's always pretty much gonna have mana for that. So I think they're also maybe thinking, seeing how well some of the Chens did play throughout the tournament, knowing that this could potentially happen. But there's also a possibility, seeing that Malrine is level 30 Razor as well, that they could maybe put this Razor in the mid lane.
Yeah, we got the Timber Saw banned out now by Falcons. At the moment, definitely looks like for hero for Collapse. There is some flex potential for Falcons.
Frank က make up တူပါလေမာလင်ကအဲ့ Razor ကလို့လားကန်အောင်တွေ့ဘူးဆိုတော့တွေ့ဘူးပြတယ်အာမပဲကင်မယ်ထင်တယ်ဟာဟမ်ခဏလေးမဆန်ရောက်သေးပတ်ဆန်တော့ဟိုအောင်ပြော
Definitely not the puck.
သူပတ်ဆန်ရောက်ပြီ
I do feel like when I look at this Monkey King, I'm thinking, are we going to see perhaps the Marine Viper or something like this? Because you are getting a lot of... Oh, yeah. I feel like we've always seen Quap on paper favored against Monkey King, and then it never goes.
Discord
potentially is that
Discord ရဲ့ဝင်ပြီးမြင်မြင်အောင်
like they have a lot of lockdown rounds. Majority of their damage is going to come physical from the SF and the Monkey King, so I think that like doesn't really do very well.
I mean, I'd be down from the Razor Viper them in this game. Sure. Why not?
Yeah, that sounds very toxic. I mean, the hero pool for Collapse is pretty massive, and I think he has a lot of options to choose from. You did name the Underlord. I still think Dawnbreaker's pretty good. If he wants to repeat one of the heroes, I think Centaur is really good because you can build into Crimson Guard. Great against CK. Also, you getting your mana burn doesn't really mean that much for you. You also have Lion as well in the lane, so he can replenish some of the mana. And you also have a bit of a save for your Shadow King with the Stampede because you are playing against Razor, you're playing against CK, so you need that extra bit of a help.
မရှမဝိုင်းနဲ့ဘန်းဝိုင်းတော့တတ်ဟန်တာနဲ့
Yeah, against CK you get the extra illusion.
ဘောက mid လို့ပဲ fair 1 mid တဲ့ဟော mid ကိုပတ်ပတ်မပြောင်းပဲ That's what I did.
Pick up that Dawnbreaker.
မနေ့ပြည့် Mangy mid
global protection as well. The way I mentioned it is because it allows you to, like this Chen, I don't think he's going to be having that good of a time. Neither is CK. Dawnbreaker uses a lot of mana, so mana drain is going to be coming in very handy for the Dawnbreaker. As long as you have mana, like especially when you go down to level 3 with this line plus Dawn combo, it makes CK's lane very, very difficult to play.
Yeah, it also allows them to kind of shift their focus to the other two cores. Like, I feel like if you really want to play around the offlane in all this game, you want to play around Monkey King and then the counter initiation if they ever try to gank. Having an offlaner that pressures the tower, those are the offlaners that kind of beckon you to come to their lane. And Dawnbreaker is very content being left alone against a hero like CK. Yeah, I just think it gives Team Spirit the ability to prioritize specific parts of the map according to
Sniper.
Okay, spicy sniper pick.
Spicy.
0-1 record so far here in Riyadh.
I believe it was XM who played it. What a shocker.
I mean, it is good for Smunk in the lane. However, it's awkward. This lineup's very awkward. Razor doesn't initiate very well. CK with items maybe, but having your carries remain initiator makes that mid game very awkward.
Fear, you said if you didn't like their draft, it was a good thing for Falcons.
That is true. This is great for them. Things are going as planned. Meanwhile, very well rounded. If they can get on the sniper with either the Clockwork or the Monkey, they have the Dawn that can jump in. That could be very difficult for them. And of course, yet again, Yator, he's got the lane matchup favor against Amar. And I think that is something that we've seen so far in the series be very detrimental for the side of Falcons.
Yeah, it is physical plus magical damage at that lane. You also have Clockwork, who is definitely willing to sacrifice. He also has Cogs to stop Razor from getting his lung cost. So I don't think Amar is going to be having that good of a time. You also have ability to deal with Shadow Shaman, stop his spells from going off. This is something Shaman doesn't like to play into. A lot of the times you will see Shaman getting picked slightly like later into the draft, where you kind of see what he's going to be playing against. And if you can't interrupt the shackles, this is where he shines the most. But playing against historically really bad
well, we're gonna find out. This could be Team Spirit taking not just the game,
in Riyadh. Masters.
Can Team Spirit be the Esports World Cup? We're gonna find out. First stage where Nomad is standing with Aframush.
ทีพี่หนังอะไรของทีละ
ทีละขนาดยิงเสียงก็ลุ้นอย่างเดียวอย่างนี้เลย
It's not our first time playing grand finals. Like we had bad grand finals
before.
And is this sniper going to give the team some
confidence
back and try to win back the series? I just want to know I want the crowd to know that okay. I don't want them to stop and it's not over yet.
ทองตรงอย่างคนนั้นมึงกับกีบีบอลลูกเลยเด้อก็สั่งถูกแล้วกีบีเนี่ย
โอ้ยสวยเท่าไหร่นะว่า
然后呀，กีบีเนี่ยราคาใหญ่ใส่ยังตัวลูกชิ้นราคาใหญ่ไม่ยาวเลยล่ะกีบีนายจานี่รู้ เขาใช่จริงครับตีเจ้าเราเป็นการที่ใบตัวลูกชิ้นกีบีเนี่ยมันบอยก็ใส่เดียร์ไกล5เดียร์แต่เนี่ย
แต่เนี้ยแล้วก็มากีบีเนี่ยใช่ไหมอย่างนี้มั้ง
โหราคาใหญ่ไปที่คิวใส่เนี่ยกีบีนายจาเนี่ยวะดิโหรู้หายปลาเลี้ยงดิเลยเนี่ยฟังดีเลย Yeah.
That's not maybe. If they win this series, it is the greatest comeback of all time.
ไอ้พวกเนี่ยพวกที่นายโกลูเนี่ยโกท้ายไหววะดิชิ้นเอาเนี่ยนี่ตัวไม่ยาวเลยอ่ะนี่ตัว
To say the least, and that's a tall order. I mean, we're talking 3 games, right? Let's just get 1 win. Let's start there.
Yeah, let's start with the manageable goals.
Yeah, let's get 1 win and then we'll go from there.
นะแต่ว่าเล่นแค่นี้หลุดแต่เนี่ยเกมนี้ที่แต่เป้าเป้าหมายผมตีชนะเท่าเนี่ยเดี๋ยวนะ
Here we've seen first phase ban out from T-Vision how dominant they were with it. This does put a stylistic amount of pressure on Spirit. We're going to group up. We're going to get auras. We're going to be really tanky. We're going to have the ability to push objectives, push the high ground with the sustain. Normally Spirit would adjust their tempo to go to their second TI against
CS กับมันโอ้เราเนี่ยตีไว้ก่อนแพ้
Gladiators, yeah, who they 3-0'd in that fight. Even into that game 1 and they negated their tempo advantage by picking
Lu
really
qua
fast cores.
Lu qua
The
ăn
game
tỉ.
with the Weaver tree and safe lane that just defended the tower.
ဟုတ်တယ်ဟို Valorant ကဟိုဟာချင်းချင်းပြလို့မရအောင်စီးရချင်းချင်းပြလို့ရတယ်
I'd say like mid tempo for Spirit.
အစာပါတွေကနောက်တော့ကောင်းသွားတာအယူဆမင်းကောင်းလာတာပင်ကီဆူကီဝူကီကြီးပဲ
အေးဟုတ်တယ်နမပြီးတာမရှိဘူးနမပြီးတာ
အေးကလစ်ပိတ်နေပဲကော
With the last pick sniper,
ကောင်းတယ်ရတယ်
ဆိုဟာလား
အေးဟုတ်တယ်ဒီလိုရ
I can see this Chen ball getting
ဟုတ်
going.
အဲ့
You have the
ဟုတ်
Ross
ဟုတ်
Award
ဟုတ်
thrown on
ငါကောက်လို့မပြောနဲ့စော်လေးကောက်စော်ကောက်လို့ပြောတယ်
catch Spirit off guard.
Starting before the lanes, we had the bounty rune spawn.
စော်ကောက်လို့ပြောပါရအဲ့ဒါ
Smoke from there.
စော်ကောက်ဆိုစောက်ကို
And they've got one.
ဟင်းအောင်မနေမပဲဖြစ်နေ
Victim of the first blood, who's going to take the last hit?
နော်
It's Toro.
ဂျာတူလို့ပါပဲဟုတ်တယ်လားအမေ
Doesn't feel great
Thank
for
you,
Laurel. He's going to be gifted some tangos over
မန်ကြီးအင်းတွေ့ရ
start his laning phase
ကိုင်းလိုက်
in a Monkey King versus Sniper matchup, and he did not get the first blood gold.
I think they're okay with this. I mean, mid is going to be a tough lane for the monkey no matter what. This at least puts your SF in a really good position. You got the bonus souls as well. You're going into lane with Micro Mastery plus first blood gold. Could be fast boots. Really sways this Razor matchup. I think Amar might have been able to eke this out just because he's such a Razor master.
Yeah.
But now it looks really difficult. You're just not going to You're not going to have the boots first. It's going to be hard to get these links going, particularly against the Clockwork.
Separate 3D down
well.
Yeah, we're going to see that employed right here. Only gets a little bit of a link, and now the attempted Maposhka. Ooh, couldn't
separate the game 3D
there for a cog push.
When you don't have the
no?
Can't get out of the cogs fast enough to hit him back in before someone kills and runs away.
Right.
Still should be eyes on this mid lane. Like, what kind of advantage can Maureen
ညနေ
extract?
မင်းတို့က final ကျမှတစ်ခုပြီးတစ်ခုဖြစ်နေမဟုတ်သေးပါဘူး။ဘာကြောက်အလန့်နဲ့ရှောက်လုံနေရတာ
You
အိမ်
really
ကွေး
need
မှာ
this
စောက်ဖို့ရိုက်ခံ
sniper
ရတယ်ဆို
snowball. This is
ရှာ
not
တူ
a
ရဲ့
hero
တွ
that
စီ
has
ပြော
had
စီ
success at this event. He's not won a game yet. And for good reason. He's
ဘယ်သူအိမ်ပဲဘာပြောရလဲ
his damage isn't
အိမ်ကွင်းအဲ့ Falcon အိမ်ကွင်း
What
နေ
he can do is give you
သူတို့နိုင်ငံမှာလောက်တာလေ
player on
ဟုတ်
the
လား
early game with some good lane
ဟော
advantage.
အဲ့ကြောင့်သူတို့ဟိုဟာတွေတွေ့နေရသူတို့
That's what you're looking for.
Now, I don't want to call you out, Avery, but I'm going to anyway.
Okay. Thanks
You
for the
said
heads
that
up.
you liked Falcons and what they did drafting-wise for Game 2, but when you were talking with Kezu, like you guys were just posing the question, like how do you deal with Spirit when they're in a form like this?
ရှာတူလို့ဒီဘက်ဘယ်လိုဆော့ပြအောင်
What you guys were talking about was actually trying to
လမ်းမကတော့တာမဟုတ်
thin team spirit and like keep that pressure.
လိုက်ကန်လာပြီပါရောပြောတယ်
ရောမရောနောက်တစ်ချက်မရော
Skeeter
စကီတာရောက်မြောက်မြောက်
the kill on Rue collapse
ကိုလက်လုပ်ပေးနော်
တော့ကျင်တော့မနာလိုက်ပဲ
spells being casted. This Dawnbreaker is going to have very limited chances to get kills.
I feel like you missed half that conversation, Austin.
Okay.
I said two things Falcons can do to try and switch this series. Because so far their mid game has been pretty disastrous. They've not been able to make moves on Spirit. Spirit are incredibly disciplined and patient. It's very hard to get aggressive in the mid game. And just try and around that are one. You do have like,
ညပြန်ဆုပ်ပုတ်တယ်အဲ့လိုအဲ့ကောင်ပြန်လို့မဆုပ်ပင်းဆွဲခံရ
strat, you know. Or you just straight out tempo. Crazy pace. You go higher. You never let Yatoro come online. Early. Even if the net worth is even, you have the ability to go high ground. Situations you're not left trying to find these guys around the map, which has so far been incredibly unsuccessful. So I think Chen is a hero that can give you that second style. And can give you the ability to say, yeah, we're worthy, but we can just and now you have to fight us. And now it's like an even game, you know. Okay, you can just out execute. Now, can you out execute the spirit of the team fight? I don't know. I mean, that's you want to be a world champion. That's what you're gonna have to do.
Okay.
But at least you got an even shot, right? Like
Sure. The question comes: how can you? You're finding that all
လိုင်းယုံရလိုင်းယုံမန်နာဘန်ခံရတယ်ကြည့်မကောင်းလိုက်တယ်လိုင်းယုံကမန်နာမရှိဘူး
If you have sustained and objective taking, your smoke moves can be objective focused. Like you're not smoking to go find your Toro Medusa on the map. You're not smoking to go pick off the collapse like in game 1. You're smoking to get vision out to Roche. If you don't find anything, we do Roche in 30 seconds. If we don't find anything around this mid-tier 1, we're taking your mid-tier 1 smoke play. If we don't find anything in your range, we're going to go take tier 2 and hit your high ground and make you these are the plays that are going to get you some net worth, some game progression, no matter what, instead of trying to just catch ghosts around the map. Like, these plays for single kills are not going to win you this series. The team is too good, they're too disciplined, they know how to maneuver around them. You need to have a secondary goal in mind with these plays. That is, again, something that Chen, CK, Sniper,
Puede engagement
on
on dulu dia.
top of it, like, you just drop this ward down, you get an objective.
Anh game buat toy.
Now you did say Bye is going to be on this mid lane. How much of an advantage Malrine can extract out of this mid matchup? So don't lose sight of that. But it doesn't seem like he's got much of an advantage. Laurel's sitting at a very respectable 18 and 4.
နိုင်ပါပြီမဲ့အဲ့လောက်ကြီးမဖေးနေဘူးဘာလို့မတနိုင်တာလဲအပလေးကကောင်လေးဆိုအသေးထိုင်းတနိုင်ပြန်
အေးလေ
ကြည့်မှတနိုင်လေးအောင်နေ
advantage of the 3 points in shrapnel that could give you the big early kill threat on this monkey. Dodges another shrapnel, gets another range creep. I mean, yeah, he's cruising in this lane. Completely even XP net worth.
Oh, sniper, the what damage for sure.
No, တော်တော်ဖြစ်နေကောင်လေးကျုံးပြီးလိုက်ပြီ
This laning phase is not looking good enough for
အာနေမနာလိုက်ပန်းနေ
They're gonna have to step it up.
ဆုပ်ပြီးလိုက်အောင်ကောင်ပြန်ပြီးတော့
strong, but you're just straight losing it.
Mấy cái let's say là một con sniper này mấy cái này được chứ.
Your mid lane's a wash, and Yatoro has the
Sốc
first blood, so the SF is cruising.
Now you got the soul ring
Ôi,
on
không
so
biết sao
the
lại.
mana loss from this constant mana burn in lane, it's not a big deal.
Ủa này mà đâu có nghe đâu mà xong đi rồi. Breezy ấy. Ôi giờ che và hút điểm mana bao.
mana bao lá là bị lá đi lại
gì
lá đi lại nhiều ai tiếp bên đi chơi là nhiều ai
It's Laurel the Monkey King takes your watcher, removes some of your vision. Could go back mid here, could linger around.
đi mà đi bên đi bên đó lại xí ra mà biển lại vậy đó
Of this sniper matchup. Definitely not fun, even though he's done really well.
Cái vợ tế của nghĩa bộ
cảm biến tại stream mà chú này
cái còn với lượng tế bộ này nghĩa bộ này được chưa
Không bố mình nó phải.
nó tí dần rồi
The only reason I had some hope is, I mean, it's Amar, right? Yes. He's done some crazy things with this hero in the laning phase. Can win an unfavorable lane. It's not unheard of. This is just too much of an advantage to overcome. Sliding towards mid.
từ bên đám mì này trời bao đã người bao đứa nào ô
Lùi sau đấy rồi không được đâu.
yo nó sẽ ê mày à mày bùi chào bây giờ lại mày cô nhỏ xôi với nó đá chả nó lâu lại yo nó chơi tại vì này vậy bị để bao con lại mèo vì ra là bị mèo nó thật con lấy quên nó con
goes incredibly well, up to 23 necromastery charges already.
I mean, honestly, I don't know what you're doing about that.
physically là to con này con nó mới hại khu hàng này không mà khu vào
Cái đó khu này mà. Reza là TV ra là cha là TV ra. Mà cha ý 3D.
quay lại biển này con nó mới được về gì
It's 7.5 minutes. You have a level 3 roster.
Cái ý phải là gì mà. Bây giờ nó đang phi này. Tôi đi. Mà lùm nhiều đó.
nó bị á level 7 nó to đi được đâu ama
Phóng nó lùm nhiều sniper đi.
cọ theo ngoài
Ôi đi vào đi mà cọ.
ba mà lùm nhiều đâu mình lấy về gì lại Reza này hoa show phim mà tao làm thì show phim lấy dầu lại là sao vậy lấy về TV biển xem nào
Show phim này mà
TV đã gì đấy phim à giàu mà nó giàu mà ha nó còn create vào sao lấy với vào sao ê show phim mèo rồi nó mà nó còn
show phim biển nha mà tao.
ê mà công ty nó có tay mà quay vào ဟဲ့တော့မမေပိုချရပြီ Razer Shield ရအောင်မရဘူး wipe ပေါက်ပါတယ် for 3 trade ပါ
GG ခေါ်တော့
ပွဲရရန်กว่า
Take it 3
ဟမ်
GG ခေါ်တော့
အဲ့တော့အဲ့ဒီဒီရ
ပြန်သေးဘာမှလည်းပြပါလားနောက်ဝဲဆက်ဆော့လို့မရဘူးအဲ့ရတော့လီယန်တော့စီးလို့မရဘူးတဲ့အဲ့ရ
တိုက်စီလို့စီရရတယ်နော်တိုက်စီပြန်
တက်စီရမနိုင်တော့ရထားတယ်ရတော့
look
He's the you take Valrian out of this game. Your supports are under level.
ကျူပါအဆပ်လည်းမပြတ်စပို့ရောမနေတတ်နေသူတို့ဘွားကြီးကကောင်းပြီးတော့နောက်တစ်ယောက်ထပ်သေးကောင်းပြီးတော့ဒီဘက်ငါတို့ပြင်းပါစုနဲ့တူရဲ့ဒီဘက်ကျမှမြိုင်မြိုင်ဆိုင်လေးဆော့ပြရတယ်တင်းစပရက်က
He's the one suffering the most after everything is said and done.
Gonna keep the pressure on. More down, and now Maboska striking in from behind. Amar he's gone.
Region over လေးထိတာတော့မှာပဲ
That's a level 6.5 clockwork who was trying to gank a level 5 offlane Razor, by the way.
ဒီဘောကမရှိရူဖီတော့ဘောလေ
အေးဆို duration over ထားမှာပဲဒီကောင်တွေကလည်းအသေးကျိတ်နေတာ
You had a plan for this game, you Falcons.
တော့ကြာနေပဲဒီတစ်ခါ
Doesn't matter what that plan was now, because you're in scramble mode.
Yes, that no le shoot.
You have to make some crazy plays. Just find
အာမ Razer ပစ်ပါမလားလို့စဉ်းစားတာတကယ်ပစ်တော့ပစ်ပြပြီးဘာမှမဟုတ်တော့ကြည့်အောင်
If he could get the hammer
Vaya stand up lo era, hombre. Te digo.
he will be able to escape. At that point, we'll call that a Falcons win.
That is a Falcons win. You got spells out of Spirit, nobody died. I mean, I genuinely like the move from Skeeter, because again,
ကြ
you
ည့်
have to
လေ
make
စစ်လည်းမရောက်သေးဟို
you have to make
အာ
some
မရောဟိုရောသုံးကောင်တော့ level စစ်မရောက်သေး off lane
space for your supports to find levels. That's
မစ်နဲ့ carry အခုမှရောက်သွား Razer အမမိပြီဟိုမှာ level စစ်တွေနဲ့နော်တေးပြီတေးပြီစပင်းဆွဲနေအောင်တေးပြီအမစကီတာဘာလို့တာလဲဘာလို့တာအဲ့နောက်ကျဘာသွားလို့တာလဲစပင်းသွားဆွဲရဟာလားတေးတော့မယ်သူကမျက်မျက်ဝဲ
Marine ရှိရ Marine ရှိလို့
Marine တို့နောက်ကနေပတ်လာတာသူကအဲ့ဟိုရစကီတာကြီးကအမဝဲပြီအမဂျာတုံးတို့တေးတန်တယ်နော်အေးတန်သွားပြီရောက် Marine ရောက်သွားတာရောက်ဝါမရဘူးစကီတာမရဘူးကြီးရောအမ Marine ပြစ်စမ်းပြစ်လိုက်စမ်းနော် တော့ကြထူးတယ်ထူးနေတော့ပဲ
are killing every hope of Falcons in this game. You wanted some chaos? Well, Team Spirit are bringing order to this.
Falcon ပရိသတ်တွေဘာဖြစ်သွားလဲငိုနေပြီလားမသိဘူး Champion for Falcon ဆိုတာ
desperation mode for Falcons right now. You're still level 4 on the shot.
Falcon is the champion အဲ့လိုရေးထားကောင်လေးဘယ်ဝိုင်းတော့မသိဘူး
You need him desperately.
He doesn't have a facet because he doesn't have his ultimate. It's 12
I
minutes
honestly
in.
don't think I've ever seen this, but the entirety of Spirit are higher level than Skeeter.
Oh wow.
He's just getting the same level as Support. Like this is what are you supposed to do?
It's not like he's almost 8 or anything.
The XP advantage is absolutely insane for 12 minutes in this game. The gold advantage is going to start to grow. At this point, you just buy Midas or something. I mean, it's going to be an Ags rush from the snipe. Sure, get anything at this point. Get some blade mails. Get something to reflect the net worth. They're making another play on.
Razer ထပ်လုပ်ခံရတယ်။ Razer level ရဟိုဘက်ကပူစင်ဖူးနေ level တူတူပဲတိတ်လိုက်ပါအောင်ထပ်ပြီးတော့မင်းတို့ကလေနော် handicap လေးယူထားလိုက်တာနဲ့ duration လေး over လေးထည့်လိုက်တာမှဖြတ်ကိုသိတေးလိုက်ပါအောင်တော့
Falcons, they can't slow the game down.
No way to stop.
လူစော့ကျင်တဲ့ Falcon
The dream clockwork game, right?
ဟိုနေက CK နဲ့ channel တသိန်းသွားတော့ဟာဘာမှလည်းမဟုတ်
ဟုတ်တယ်လူစော့ကျင်သေးတယ်ဝေါင်းလည်းအပြာကြောင်းစိုက်ပါပြန်ရတယ်ဘာမှလုပ်လို့မရဘူးကွာဟိုတော့မယ် Shelby ဟော cancel လို့ audio ပဲ cancel လို့ဘာမှလုပ်လို့မရဘူး
ဟုတ်တယ်ရတာစားရည်
မြက်လေ
EWC wants to cover this tower.
Confirm on it. Tùy quá cái Sakita Phi lại bà lá Mấy bò đi Phía này tụi đã bị đi dạy mệt thế nào nhá nó phát tay dạy khỉnh bây giờ rồi bị không Tất cả bà phải để teamwork bị mà WEDC EWC bị mà về tất cả nhà đâu mà làm gì vậy thông cả là đấy Duration reason là mình nè
Why? Just have something go for you in this game.
And now the rundown. Omar sitting in the side. Can he fight this? Two of the heroes already been pushed away. The Wukong's came in and was used. This is a fight the Falcons. I think maybe they can actually win it. Teleport away from the clockwork will not quite be fast enough. Tice on the final tick.
They got him. The menace.
He'll die in the fountain as Amar gets him, but still. It's a 1 for 2.
Yeah, he almost got denied that kill off the server tick, so you'll take that. Still lost both supports in that sequence. Used your ward. Laurel still chilling here, looking for anybody. They're just continuing to group up. I mean, perseverance. Not a lot else you can do. You just gotta keep grouping. You can out-execute fights. If you'd had that sniper axe, it would have gone a decent way right here. It really hurts that got denied. You do have the blade mail on the right. Throw some auras on him. He can take a decent amount of damage. Chill a little bit. Let this tower fall without a fight. Get a lot off the map right now.
Falcons.
Sabria ma có ma vụ sâu ở đó thật là chứ cả đó nó mà màu đi dài mà lâu ma lấy vậy là Sabria
Don't do it. Don't do it. It's not worth it. It's not worth the 1 CS. Just stay.
Sneak it up the side, gets a ward down.
You know, tempted is to stop that here.
He sees the black bear.
It's
worth double the gold. You gotta go for it.
Stun wasn't great, but
no.
Matter?
No, it doesn't. Won't get the finger stack. Doesn't care about the finger stack now. You need a couple sister shrouds to get you out of this game.
And the thing is, there's just little downtime from Team Spirit. Like, Lion's got Tranquil Boots, and he can take man off the creeps. The Monkey King is all over the map constantly. The Clockwork is pretty much always ready to go.
Kira, phá luôn nhà này mà.
Okay, another
Ồ, nhỏ lùi vào thì.
Team Spirit just giving little freebies over to Falcons. Saying, you there. Could have got you.
Well, Stinking gets free tower mid.
Oh, he does.
Drum Chen, pushing the building.
Shen army goes to work.
Gets a nice ward out around
EDF,
that as well. Wait out the blade mail, trying to get in. Does get the link.
Phá lúc chuyện. Phá biết chuyện này. Ôi, mà tiêu. Ôi, ok, đám bên tiêu mà vậy. Béo này biết rồi nó là. Lúc mà là tay mà là bấm thu sao vậy trời ạ giờ bắt lại vào đâu quá đi mà đi vào à lên đi mèo này lên đi mà đi này xóa lại pha lại sau này về lúc này mà mấy kia đuổi lại mà ok mấy kia đuổi bị dài mà dài còn gì chung này dài ôi sao chỉ ở phía cổng là đây giống như mấy gì nhỉ mấy cô của mày này nó tì bí nó đỏ nó con luôn đây không để nó đỏ đây này lái ông đi về bi này mấy cái tỷ đèn mấy cái tỷ lại ôi hiểu nó to gì tôi giờ đó là vì chỉ cái cổ lại vào đó sao chứ mình này ôi à yên biết này mà ô bao sinh lý thì ô bao nhỉ nè rồi
You can go into the Roche. You have the Shaman. You have the Chen. Instead, you're going to lose it to the early Vlad.
Greedy.
And the first time all tournament long that the arena grows a little quiet.
There is not much to cheer for. Falcons here scrambling to find scraps around the map. They'll even lose their ward off that play. Have the one ward mid you can still play around. This is your best point to go to. They're going to run it back. Try and find safe.
They got him. They got him. They got him.
Nice pick up already.
Nó xuống nó lái không nhau à?
Here and there, a little silver lining for a very dark cloud on the horizon as Yatoro is ready to go. 4.5
Zero Shaman 082 đấy.
Ê?
Xa lắm bây giờ quá.
Mà sao bùa đâu?
Cái gì vậy?
Mông ngã là cái nó đi tới để
Ya puede pillar y va a un todo allí, ¿no?
Puede pillar y oye, digo lo que
Ủa nó có một toa gì để gì vậy sao nhở?
Ấy.
Ủa có một cái toa gì đấy?
Mấy ông này thì có streamer gì? Có cast gì bro? Có cast gì buổi gì à?
Cái cast là phải là một chồng ngồi bên này à?
Bây giờ演变的
不会cast我 streamer。
你不也演变的吧的？我也
得听了，得听了。
我也要来听，我也 cast 下 DI 嘛啦嘛，啊，嘛 stream 嘛为是的呀，DI 啦嘛 cast 嘛。
DI 你不会地方我streamer。
刚才说嘛。
节目讲的还丢的，丢弃的。
Yumi 啊，丢弃的，然后拉米。
一定还丢弃的表面呢。
誒，我上 Yumi 生活還犀腦。
我拿不上。
我覺得。
你有定啊？
當時你先落單字嚟。
美嚟嚟呀，不是吧？
美嚟嘅，我是your brother 喎，安那樣路啊。
trái số mà là tiền biết mà đừng biết là tiền biết không mà trái lấy vô
yeah wow tiền nhiều à
man I feel like it's too hard for me bro
xem mấy mày con nào so mày luôn kìa mấy mày mấy gì đấy
không phải chuyện
生活
anh
cái này gì vậy
ngã so mày rồi tên là đúng
tên ngọc đi không tên đâu ngọc làm tên ngã sao tên đâu
mấy cái này nó bầu rồi
ai còn tiền ai còn bầu rồi
bầu tiền để cho lui à thì bây giờ ngã tương nhau rồi phá mất tiền đâu đâu vậy thì là cái gì đi thế ngã cô vậy ngã sao mất tiền đâu
chụp cho này tôi bầu đó
sao rồi bà sư phá mất tiền đâu
Ông lại đâu mà lại sao mà
lâu bảo mà ke bảo ke lấy bảo
đấy đấy sao gặp gì đấy
đấy được pi này vì vậy à
tiêu không
ô đi lấy gì đâu bảo
tiêu
nó là fishing đi đá liu fishing đi mình buông ra lấy à hiểu không đấy siêu phi giải tiền nó thôi đây lắm này
về xem vậy rồi
hiểu nhỉ
sáng nào tiền cái này buổi để rồi vậy
nó sẽ cái đầu nó còn xíu đồ gì vậy
không bảo em là không có còn gì à xin là gì vậy không bảo hát cả rồi phải lâu lâu nhiều rồi
bây giờ mà yêu cả ready vậy
ê đi luôn này mà không sắp tới rồi thế này nào mà tiền trả luôn vậy
ngọc rồi thật sự em mà to quá thì là anh nói xem mà tha ra rồi ready vậy cậu to vậy đấy ngã bao nhiêu rồi mà lùi rồi
oh yeah
tiếng ấy mà mày ngã sao đi rồi không chạy
Aura gì đấy Aura gì đâu
tập hồn này Aura
à
bị ông xin tập hồn này nữa
không Discord hoa lâu thà rồi stream mà mũi bụi này nó ấy thoát đầu người này bảo mà chạy à này nó tay OT lấy à đấy nó OT lại lý rất 5 minute OT lại PP số
cái này mà đâu
minute là xây ra hú ra cái này mà đấy
đúng cái này mà đâu nó xem minute rồi thì
10 မိနစ်တော့ကြာအောင်မလားတော့မသိဘူး
မသိဘူးလား
ငါမှက
အော်ဒီပါ
ဟိုကမက်ဂါခရီလေးထည့်လိုက်တော့မှပျော်နေအောင်မယ်ရောဒီပုံစံနဲ့ဆိုကြီးတယ်ခရီးကြီးတာနော်မရဘူးဘလောက်တော့ကြီးပဲခေါ်လိုက်ပါလားဆိုးလဲနားရော
They're certainly winning fights without these impales.
This would be a poor highlight reel in a game they were losing. But
ဒီကောင်နေဘလူးဖြတ်มาလေကွာဒီဘလူးမဖြတ်လို့မရတော့ကွာဒီမင်းကြီးအောင်မင်းဆိုဟိုကြီးက CK ကြီးရတယ် CK တော့9900ရီဇာနဲ့ဟိုတော့မှာရီဇာနဲ့စနိုက်ပါတော့မများသေး9900ရတယ်
ပြောပြနေဟုတ်ပြီကွာ
just shift from one side to the other. So dangerous for Falcons to show anywhere unless they have some vision control. This last tier 1 going down to creeps.
ရှေ့ဘက်တော့ကမ်ဆက်တွေစားပြီးစောက်ခွက်ရိုက်တယ်တော့မနိုင်တဲ့ဟာကြီးဟိုဘာမှလည်းမမျိုးရဘူးမထွတ်နေအောင်
Poshko will fight his way through this creep.
ပြပါလေကလော့ဘာလို့ဟာ
CK illusions out on the map
ချန်ကင်လိုက်တယ်ဆိုပြီးတော့ကလော့ချောက်ရိုက်တာခံရပဲ
Like the CK to be stronger for these, but you gotta take what you can get out here.
အဲ့ဆို
ဂိမ်း1တော့မှနည်းနည်းကြည့်ကောင်းတယ်
အေးလေဒီဘက်ကမြိုင်းနေကွာဒီဒါပေမဲ့တစ်ဖက်သက်ကြီးပဲဟောမြင်လားအေးအဲ့မှာလှုပ်ဟော
He's too far out for Falcons to catch.
ဘာစတန်မှလည်းမပါဘူးနောက်ကနေပြီးတော့
ရှက်မယ်ပဲပါရှက်မယ်တကောင်နှစ်ကောင်ပဲပါရဲ့
Dude, I feel like their smoke percentage this series is it's got to be like 5% or less.
It's single digit percent.
At this point, just don't even smoke.
ဒီဘွဲကြမှာကီးဥပါလိထဲမှာ
Smokes, put them in mid and be like here.
ဥပါမှာပကန်းအောင်လုံနေတယ်
It's just the loss of network.
ဟန်ဒီကလေးသွားထည့်ရအောင်
They group up, they spend the gold on the smoke, then they group up pulling
ကောင်း20ပေးတော့မှမနိုင်
to go make a play.
ဟန်ဒီကတော့မှ
I don't know, just
ဟောရ2000တောင်กว่าနေဟဲ့ကယ်ရီနှစ်ကောင်ရဲ့နော်ဝါ
save them for like the Roche or something.
19000နဲ့ဟိုမှာ9000ရဲ့ရှိ
မရီဇာနဲ့စနိုက်ပါရပြီးဖန်ခုဖန်
You don't have a lot of other options here.
ပြီးဖန်လိုက်ပါဦးစကီတာလေးကိုလက်လီခွဲစိတ်ထားလို့မဟုတ်သူလက်ခွဲစိတ်ထားလို့အဲ့ဒါဟိုမလုပ်တာရမ်းမစော့တာခွဲစိတ်ကကြည်ပေါင်းမှဆိုလို့
You don't want to go on in here, but
စကီတာလက်ခွဲစိတ်တာစကီတာ
ဝိုင်း
ဒီလေ
ဘလို့ကောင်6ပဲ
ညာဘက်ခွဲလိုက်ဘယ်ဘက်ခွဲလိုက်လေဂိမ်းစော့ရည်မစော့
do you smoke again?
အကွမ်းမောင်းလိုက်ပြီးတော့ pressure ကြီးတင်းသွားနေတယ်
ဟောစိုးကခုနကပေါ်နေကြားတယ်ပါလေပြော
ဒီဘာပြောမလဲမြေအော်မဟုတ်ဝိုင်းနေချက်ပဲစော့ပါလို့ဆော့ဖို့ကင်းလည်းမစော့ပါနဲ့
တို့ရမစောပါဘူးလား
ဒူရမ်စော့နေမင်းဘာမှဖြစ်တော့မှလည်းစော့လည်းမကြည့်ဘူးကျွန်တော်တော့ပဲရောက်ပါလိမ့်မယ်ရောက်ကြီးဆော့ရိုက်နေပြီးရောက်ရီဆိုင်တကယ်ရိုက်နေပြီးတော့ဘာတန်းမျိုးမထွက်သေးဘူးဟုတ်တယ်တကောင်ရတကောင်ပဲနော်တိုက်တကောင်ရတကောင်ပဲနော်အေးဟုတ်တယ်ပိုင်နောက်တော့ကိုလက်လေးလို့
ပြေးနေပြီပြောတာ
ရီစာ
တိုက်ရပြေးနေပြီပြော
ဂျီဗီလည်းမရှိတော့နော်တိုက်ကုန်းလာရှိုးဖီရတန်တယ်နော်ရပြီ
စမန်ပိုင်း
ဘာလိုက်တော့လေ
ဆန်လာပြီ
ဘာလိုက်တော့လေဒီပွဲပြီးမှလာလို့ရမှာ
မင်းဘယ်ပွဲလဲ
အခုပွဲလေ
ဘိုင်းလေမစော့နေရမဟုတ်တာလား
ပွဲပြနေရလေပြန်ချက်ရှိပြန်လိုက်တော့ဟေးရရော
ဒါပေမဲ့မင်းလောင်းလာလို့လား
လောင်းတာရေ
ဟောရဆိုပြီး
မင်းကြီးနေပါရမှာအေး body block နေခရကသရိုးနေရောထားခဲ့တယ်အာမယူမကြည့်ဘူးနောက်15မိနစ်20တော့ပြီးတော့တင်မယ်ဟမ်
ကျူရင်းလည်းပွဲပြီးတော့
နောက်တော့ရောင်းမှာဗရဲစရိုက်ပဲဒီမှာစကီတောင်ပြထွက်လာတော့စကီတောင်ထွက်တော့မယ်ကိုလက်လွန်မယ်နော်
အခုကက်စတာတော့နေလားစထရီမာလို့
ကက်စတာလုပ်နေ
ဟုတ်လား
တိုက်လွန်မယ်နော်
ဟုတ်ဟဲ့
ရှိရဟောဖြစ်သွားရနော်
ဘာကြီးတဲ့ဒေါ်မိကဒီရုပ်ဒီကောက်တော့ပဲ
ဟုတ်လေဟိုလိုင်းကိုကေရလီရောအော်ဟိုတစ်ဖက်ကစတန်နဲ့တစ်ဖက်ကကေလိုက်နေဟိုနော်ဟေးပြီးွားကလော့ဝကြီးဟိုဆောင်းရမ်းကောင်းနေဟိုမြေပူရှာကြီးဗရိယအရင်ကြာနေနော်စကီတာတော့ပြန်ရှင်နေရေသာလည်းပြန်ထွက်တော့မှာနော်မင်းတို့မလွန်လုံးလားရှော့အောင်ဟာရှော့ပါအောင်လို့
ရတရရောက်လာပြီရတရရောက်လာပြီမဟုတ်လားမလာဘူးရတရအလဲခိုးပူ
မင်းကြီးတော့ပြန်ရှင်တော့မယ်အေးဟုတ်တယ်အဲ့ကော်လက်လေးကိုလုတ်လိုက်ဆမ်းမှာ80စက္ကန့်80 1000ကျော်နောက်တော့အောင်ရတန်နေနော်
ပြန်ကမ်းဘက်နေပြန်ကမ်းဘ
က
က်
မ်း
နေ
ဘက်လိုက်တော့နော်ကမ်းဘက်လိုက်တော့အမှအရွာလုံးပြီးတော့စကီတာ1000ကျော်ရောက်သွားရောရာတို့ပူသွားရင်ဖင်ရတာ please go တဲ့တက် game please တဲ့ oh game full and full တဲ့တက်game full ထိသွားရင်နာတဲ့ IQ fly နဲ့ awkward thanks
မသိပါဘူးလား
ပြောနေရဲ့ဒီကပြောနေရဲ့ game full သွားခြင်းဟဲ့လားဟုတ်ဒီကောင်နေထိန်းဆော့ရင်ဖြစ်နိုင်တယ်ကွာတိတာဟိုဟာ over ဖြစ်တော့တယ်ကွာ duration ကဘာလို့လဲဆိုတော့မင်း sniper high ground ကွာတိတာมันဖင်မရပဲနေလေးလေးမမလေးဆော့ရင်ဖြစ်တယ်ဟိုဘက်ကတော့ရွာပေါ့ 5% chance at smoke victory a 5% chance to turn this game around မြင်နေပြီနော်ပြတ်တော့တည်ရနော်ပြတ်တော့တည်ရနော်ဟုတ်ပြီအမတေးပြီပကီပြီမရှိဘူးတေးပြီအဲ့ဒါအောင်ဆိုင်ရတယ်လည်း high ground ဖင်ရတက်တာရောအဆောက်မမြင်အောင်တေးပြီးအမကြီးခေါ်လိုက်ပါတော့ကွာပုံစံနဲ့ဆိုမရတော့ဘူးရောစနိုက်ပါလေးပဲကျန်တော့တီးလိုက်ပါတော့လိုက်အောင်မှာဘုံလဲ strike ရိုက်လိုက်တော့အဲ့မှာမြင်သွားပြီဟော nullifier နော်ဘောင်းလဲ strike ဟောအမနော်တင်းဝိုက်သွားပြီ Lucian လေးကိလိုက်အောင်တော့ Lucian လေးတော့ကိလိုက်အောင်ချိန်လေးဆွဲလိုက်အောင်ဒီဆက်2မိနစ်ပဲနောက်တဲ့7မိနစ်ပဲ hey Lucian တော့ကိလိုက်ပါမင်းတို့ကလည်းလော်လေးတော့ယူလိုက်ပါလော်လေးတော့ယူလိုက်ပါ
I mean, we've had some rough 3-0s.
တက်ပါ
This might be the most one-sided.
တက်ပါဒီ view တက်ပါဒီ view
This last game is definitely up there.
တက်ပါ
It's definitely the best of all time, that's for sure.
This is not how Falcons wanted this game to go.
Considering all the momentum they built up.
ဝိုင်းကြီးတယ်တော့ပြီးချိန်ကြရင်ငါပြီးနောက်23ရက်နေ့လောက်ကြာရင်22လောက်ကြာရင်တစီရောက်ပြီ။ကြာ mobile လေးကျ stream မှာကြာလာဆော့
22ဆိုတာတော့22ရက်နေ့
ဒီလ22ရက်ကြာတစီရောက်
ဟိုလည်းငါ epic 5ရောက်ဒါမဲ့0 star ဖြစ်
ဟုတ်ရတယ်တိုင်း
ဟုတ်ငါ flex rank မရတော့
ဘာလို့လဲ
flex rank ကောင်းဝိုင်းရ
ရတယ်ရဘာမှဖြစ်ဘူးလေ
နှစ်ပတ်ဆောင်
ဟုတ်နှစ်ပတ်ဆောင်
တော့နှစ်ပတ်မှာ10ချိန်တော့မသိဘူး10ပွဲပဲဆိုလို့ရ flex rank
ဟုတ်လေရတယ်မင်းဘာမှဖြစ်ဘူးလားမင်းဆော့ဘူးပဲလို့ပါလေရအောင်
classic ဆိုရ
ဟုတ်လေဆော့ရင် run တက်တာပဲရအောင်အဲ့လိုမှမရှိရ fast run က
ကြာတော့မဟုတ်မရအောင်
boost စာပဲ
flex rank ပြရပါအဲ့ဒီ flex rank ဆိုတာကွာအဲ့လိုမျိုးငါက epic 5နဲ့ legend ဘယ်လောက်လဲဆိုဆော့လို့ရတယ်
ဟုတ်ဘူး9ရောက်ပြင်ရတယ်
အေးဟုတ်တယ်အဲ့9ရောက်ပြည့်တဲ့ဟာကို10ဝဲပဲဆော့လို့ရတယ် rank
ဟုတ်ဒါမဲ့ရတယ်ဘာရလဲဆိုတော့ငါ epic ပဲရှိရလေ
အဲ့ဒါဆိုမင်းကလည်း2ယောက်တည်းတူပြီးအောင်ပေါ့
ဒါပေမဲ့ beam legend နဲ့ရတယ်လေ तू က method နဲ့မရလေဟိုက epic နဲ့ဟို grandmaster နဲ့ဟိုနဲ့ဆော့လို့ရတယ်လေ legend နဲ့ဆော့လို့ရတယ်လေ epic က
method နဲ့ဘာလို့ဆိုတော့ဟို grandmaster နဲ့ legend နဲ့ဝေးသွားအဲ့တော့ flex rank ဖြစ်သွားပါတီက
တည်မပြောတည်ငါပြောတာကြတော့မင်းက epic ရောက်နေ legend နဲ့လည်းဆော့လို့ရတယ် grandmaster နဲ့လည်းဆော့လို့အဲ့လိုပြောချင်တာအဲ့လိုဒါပေမဲ့
ခွဲဆော့
ရတယ်ဒါပေမဲ့မင်း legend အများဆုံး legend မဟုတ်ဘူးဘယ်သူပဲပါသေးလို့ method တွေရှိလို့လား
method ကမရှိ method ပနေချင်းတော့တော့မဆော့အဲ့ယူမီက overtime နဲ့ဝင်သွားရတယ်
ရငါလည်းပွင့်ပြီးတော့တော့သိနော်ဘာမှမလုပ်ရှိတိုက်တော့9မိနစ်မဟုတ်ကွာ9မိနစ်7မိနစ်ဒီပဲလို့လားတော့7မိနစ်ဒီပဲတောင်းထားဒီဆိုရင်မနိုင်နဲ့7မိနစ်ဟိုးတော့မင်းတို့နေအောင်
ဟုတ်တယ်7 minutes တွေပါဟုတ်တယ်
7 minutes ဆိုမှနိုင်ပါလေလောင်းလာတာ42 minutes 42 minutes လုပ်ပါနဲ့မလုပ်ပါနဲ့ဖြည်းဖြည်းဟိအောင်နေဖြည်းဟာဖြည်းဘိုင်းဘက်မရှိဘူးဟာ
Lockdown is there with the nullifier.
First one. Begging Team Spirit to go on him while he has this.
အရင်မလုပ်နဲ့ဟာ Neo 7 minutes လို့သေးတယ်
Happy to send you into the fountain.
And Yotaro follow staking.
ဟုတ်တယ်ပြည့်အဲ့ကောင်ရမ်းရွာနေအဲ့ကောင်ပြည့်ထား
He's hoping the shrapnel can finish him off. Somehow he still has another life, but they still haven't gotten the kill.
ဒီဘေးအောင်တော့ပြည့်နေတယ်
Nullifier. Ooh, quick grenade. Push them back just far enough. Team Spirit do not keep the chase up.
not the lane ဖြည်းစောဟာ3 လေးလုံးယူအဲ့ဒါမှမေဂါအေးပါတောင်းထားတဲ့ကောင်နိုင်မှာ
Get a couple more racks. Secure your victory here.
No.
Waiting for anybody to show.
Bra.
Hey.
Bra. Move on. Abra ဘာပြောရလဲ
ဘာမပြောခုနလေးစကားပြောရခုပြင်
Valorant ဆော့ဖို့ဘယ်နေရလဲ
အားရောက်ပြီ
မဟုတ်လေ9 ယောက်ပြည့်တယ်ဆိုတော့ဘယ်လိုလဲဟာအဘရာရဲ့
မင်းငါရဲ့အဘရာရဲ့သူကြီးရဲ့နောက်တစ်ခါ7 minutes
ဘာလဲ
He doesn't know who to hit. And Falcons have left him isolated. They don't keep the chase on the low skater spot.
လူကမနိုင်တော့ရ CK အိုက်တိုင်းနဲ့ကြည့်တယ်ဘယ်လိုတော့
မနိုင်စီချင်ငါ7 minutes ပဲဟိုးစီချင်တာမနိုင်စီချင်ဘူးကြည်ပါငါ7 minutes ပဲဟိုးခိုင်းတာသူ့ကိုနိုင်ခိုင်းဘူး
အော်ရဲ့ချီပါ
တင်းစပရစ်နိုင်ရမယ်ကွာဒါပေမဲ့ဟိုဟာဗာလေတင်းစပရစ်နိုင်ရမယ်ဒါပေမဲ့42 minutes 42 minutes တဲ့အိုပါငါဖင်ရလိုက်တာအန်ဒါဘက်မလို့အော်နေလို့ဆိုပြီးအိုပါတော့ပြောင်းလိုက်တာလက်ကွန်
ဟောလည်းမပေါ်တော့ရပြင်လည်းမပေါ်နေ
3C ပဲ
ဝပြီးသွားလား
ပြီးသွား
ကြံသေးရ
ပြီးသွား
လာလိုက်ခင်းလာလိုက်လောင်းတော့ရှုံးလိုက်တယ်
အေးကော ပတ်စံထုတ်ပြီးပါပါလေတန်ပါရှင်ခုံဟာရှင်းပါပဲနော်တမီးနော်ရှင်းလေးပါပဲ
They're Spider-Man. They've done this to every team they've gone up against. When they are in form, what they feel is the best way to play the game. They have a number of